Hello. Welcome back to Almighty Blues FC, a fan channel for all to see. और हाँ, it is a big day यार. एक और derby day, crazy number of derbies. I don't know, it's one of those seasons यार. Scheduling ऐसे हुई है ना कि यार back to back derbies हुए, big games हुए. कहीं ना कहीं मतलब we are also responsible. That is Chelsea Football Club. Yes, today is a Chelsea match day live. हाँ, हम react करेंगे बाकी lineup भी towards the end of the stream. लेकिन to begin with, it's obviously West Ham versus Chelsea, big game. मस्ट विन सिचुएशन और वो मस्ट विन सिचुएशन में हमने पहुंचा दिया है, इसीलिए एवरी गेम इज अ बिग गेम. एंड ऑफ कोर्स जो फॉलोइंग वीक होने वाला है भाई, दैट इज गोना बी इवन बिगर विद चैंपियंस लीग कमिंग ऑन. तो भाई उसके पहले we need some momentum and of course points on the board in the Premier League. Absolutely दोनों ही चाहिए, because Champions League में भी हमारे जो opponent है they are doing pretty well in their domestic league that is Dortmund. तो हमें बहुत सारे बात करने हैं. Yes, we'll be reacting to the lineup, we'll be reacting to tactics and all that. हमें guests भी जुड़ेंगे, a couple of guests will be joining, if not more, definitely, when it comes to the watch along as well as the pre-match talk. Absolutely. लेकिन भाई सब लोग सबसे पहले फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक्स एज ऑलवेज टू जॉइन अस. लेकिन सबसे पहले लाइक बटन दबा दीजिए. आपका पता नहीं, मुझे आज नोटिफिकेशन नहीं है खुद. ऑलमाइटी स्पोर्ट्स प्लस पर मेरी नोटिफिकेशन नहीं है ऑलमाइटी ब्लूज की. तो लेट मी नो एवरीवन इन द चैट if everyone got the notification of half an hour पहले वाला रिमाइंडर जो होता है ना. I did not get it. I don't know why. YouTube बचा लो भाई मुझे. Anyway, everyone here, much love and thanks for joining on. It's an early kickoff. तो एवरीवन होपफुली आप लोग वीकेंड मूड में थे, लेकिन अभी आ गए हैं प्रॉपर सैटरडे फुटबॉल मूड में. नहीं, हाँ विशाल, नाइस टू सी यू यार, ऑलवेज. भाई मैं अभी बैंगलोर में बेस्ड हूँ विशाल, जस्ट सो यू नो. लेकिन अगेन आई हैव लिव्ड इन पुणे, आई हैव लिव्ड इन टोरंटो एज वेल, लेकिन बैंगलोर में बेस्ड हूँ. दैट्स वेयर आई एम बोर्न ब्रॉट अप. एब्सोल्युटली that's great to see again. मतलब it'll be great to do a meetup. Absolutely. और yes, नरेन, इतने बातें हमने किया यार. कल इतना बड़ा प्रीव्यू स्ट्रीम किया हमने, 45 मिनट्स करीबन बात किया था अबाउट वेस्ट हैम चेल्सी. either of us, which is chat में कोई भी और मैं, I don't think anyone expected Ruben Loftus-Cheek to start. हमने बात किया था मेसन माउंट, हमने बात किया था possibly even Chukwuemeka, I don't know, maybe even going back to Lewis Hall, लेकिन Ruben Loftus-Cheek मैं एक्सपेक्ट नहीं किया था. वन रीजन मुझे लगता है, yes, I know this is breaking news, एब्सोल्यूट चेल्सी का मैंने देखा है, and I know ऑफिशियल न्यूज आने वाली है in just a couple of minutes, लेकिन this is looks very likely. हो सकता है, I'm just guessing, अगर Ruben Loftus-Cheek शुरू कर रहे हैं, does it mean Gallagher does not start? Does it mean we are going with a 3-man midfield? Maybe हम जा रहे हैं Ruben Loftus-Cheek along with maybe Gallagher and Enzo Fernandez, Mason Mount being dropped, लेकिन साथ में maybe we are not playing with Ziyech, maybe we are not playing with the Madueke. I'm just guessing. क्या ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है? क्योंकि हमें मालूम है वेस्ट हैम आर वेरी भाई तगड़ा है इन द मिडफील्ड डिपार्टमेंट, और वही मैं पोल डालो भाई सब लोग. अगेन आई रिक्वेस्ट एवरीवन टू हिट दैट लाइक बटन. हाँ, मैंने साथ में ऑलवेज आई पुट अ कम्युनिटी पोस्ट, so if everyone watching here, it'll take 1 second, go to my community page and come back. Of course भाई उस पर भी लाइक बटन, just a thumbs up you have to give. All that you have to do, and then we'll come back to it. And yes, मैं रिफ्रेश करते जा रहा हूँ on the Chelsea account. यहाँ पर विशाल, दरेन, केशव, प्रकाश, चेल्जर, शाहरुख, ऑफ कोर्स भाई सब लोग को शाउट आउट है. गौरव, सादिक भाई क्या हाल है भाई? सादिक भाई, नाइस टू सी यू भाई. सादिक भाई को शाउट आउट है भाई. सादिक भाई, एंड वी हैव बीन ट्राइंग टू set up a date for the who am I semis. Sadik bhai, it'll be something great. And of course this week to bhai we have to speak about Europa League and Champions League as well. To bhai again I'll message you bro in maybe in a day or so. Hopefully hum confirm kar le bhai. Much love to Bidur as well. Pritam, yes, absolutely bhai. Again notification to kya hi bol sakte yaar. I came from Discord notification. Nice Pritam, thanks for reminding us yaar, क्योंकि yes हम Discord पर भी है हमेशा. The link is below in the description. भाई स्पैमर्स इतने सारे आए. दैट लिवरपूल गाय दर्शन हाउस, उनको शाउट आउट है. और यहाँ पर लाइनअप भाई आजा लाइनअप यार. रिफ्रेश बटन दबा दे. लाइनअप मैं रिफ्रेश दबा रहा हूँ. आ गया भाई. द लाइनअप इज आउट पीपल, एंड हियर इट गोज. जस्ट होल्ड ऑन टू योर ब्रेथ भाई एवरीवन, और साथ में लाइक बटन भी दबा दीजिए, ठीक है. यहाँ पर इंटरेस्टिंग, यू नो दैट भाई जब टूकल वाज थिंकर मैन, यहाँ तो भाई देखते क्या किया है. केपा, जेम्स, थियागो सिल्वा, बारिशिले, कुकुरेया जैसे मैं एक्सपेक्ट किया था, एंजो फर्नांडेस, मडुवेके स्टार्ट्स, फिलिक्स, मुड्रिक, हैवर्ट्स और लॉफ्टस-चीक. एक सेकंड, गैलेगर ड्रॉप. तो सिंपल सा फंडा है आज. आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं रूबन लॉफ्टस-चीक का हाइट ऑफ फिजिकलिटी इज द रीजन, और इट इज सिंपली दैट लॉफ्टस-चीक को मिनट्स नहीं मिले बिल्कुल भी आफ्टर कमिंग बैक फ्रॉम इंजरी. I think it's a risk. It is a risk. Let's be honest. London Stadium है, atmosphere रहेगा. It is a London derby after all. It is an early kickoff as well. And remember, he's coming back from injury. In my personal opinion, Loftus-Cheek quick reaction मैं भी दे रहा हूँ भाई. I feel that it is a risk for sure. But at the end of the day, भाई we have to rotate somewhere क्योंकि अब 30 लोग का स्क्वाड हो गया तो भाई कहीं ना कहीं तो करना ही पड़ेगा. Considering there are multiple what do you say, tournaments that we are in. Absolutely. देखो बहुत लोगों को नोटिफिकेशन नहीं आया भाई. सब लोग इसलिए सब लोग लाइक बटन दबा दीजिए. नोटिफिकेशन यूट्यूब से मेरी दुश्मनी हो गई है, पता नहीं क्या दो तीन दिनों से. लेकिन यहाँ पर हमारे दोस्त आ गए. दैट इज McKyle. McKyle ब्रो, व्हाट्स अप, गुड मॉर्निंग, क्या हाल है?
मॉर्निंग ब्रूज, मॉर्निंग अंकित.
अरे ग्रेट टू सी यू यार. बाय द वे शाउट आउट, बिग शाउट आउट यार McKyle के लिए भाई. McKyle जब भी बुलाते आ जाते. McKyle अभी सुबह कितना बजे? 6 बजे
6 बजे का अलार्म लगाया हुआ था, 5 बजे से उठा वो.
मैं McKyle को पूरा, लेकिन वही नहीं, मैच डे तो हमें होना ही है वो तो.
इतनी एक्साइटमेंट मैंने कभी नहीं देखी पॉटर की गेम देखने के लिए.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. यहाँ पर देखिए लोग ऑलरेडी पन इंटेंडेड करके लोग को पता है मैं बहुत ज्यादा हैवर्ट्स को डिफेंड करता हूँ और कहीं ना कहीं आ गए. लेकिन हैवर्ट्स की जो बात करेंगे, दिस इज अ क्विक लाइन ऑफ McKyle. अब मुझे सिंपल सा फंडा लग रहा है दैट वी हैव ओनली रिप्लेस्ड गैलेगर विद लॉफ्टस-चीक एंड जिएश विद अ Madueke. जहां तक मुझे आइडिया है वही. दीज आर द ओनली 2 चेंजेस दैट वी हैव मेड फ्रॉम फुलहम. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, do you think Loftus-Cheek को शुरू करना मतलब in this particular game after injury when he's not had minutes, what do you think about that?
यार जेम्स को शुरू करना, he doesn't have minutes. Loftus-Cheek तो साइड की बात है. Loftus-Cheek तो मेरे ख्याल में पहले हाफ में बेचारा सब्स्टिट्यूट हो जाएगा. It's a risk. I don't know, like Loftus-Cheek, I don't have a lot of confidence in his fitness. So hopefully he can come in and do a job. अगर ये his last game was how long ago now? Probably
it's been a while यार. It's been a while certainly. मतलब मुझे याद नहीं है, वर्ल्ड कप के बाद तो डेफिनेटली नहीं खेला.
That's what I'm thinking.
हाँ नहीं मतलब वही हम बोल रहे थे ना कि क्रिटिसिज्म यही थी इन द प्रीवियस कपल ऑफ गेम जहां Loftus-Cheek बेंच पर थे बट ही डिडंट गेट हिम ऑन फॉर एग्जांपल, राइट. देयर वाज अ स्लाइट क्रिटिसिज्म अमंग दैट कि यार द चैंपियंस लीग कमिंग ऑन विद मल्टीपल मैचेस कमिंग ऑन, वापस से बिजी पीरियड अभी शुरू होने वाला है तो वी नीडेड सम गेम टाइम.
हाँ, तो वो जो एक तो फिटनेस, फिजिकल फिटनेस वी स्ट्रगल विद, बट फिर एक मैच फिटनेस भी होती है, मैच शार्पनेस कह लो. तो वो मैच शार्पनेस जो है वो अभी एकदम तो नहीं आएगी. सो इट इज गोना बी टच एंड गो. आई विश हिम वेल. आई होप इट्स गोना बी अ गुड टेस्ट.
या एंड इट इज 4-2-3-1 शाहरुख. मैं अभी ग्राफिक भी दिखाने वाला हूं आपको, लेकिन डेफिनेटली जहां तक मुझे दिखता है इट विल बी Loftus-Cheek एंड एंजो फर्नांडिस. आई नो अगर अगेन रिमेंबर यहाँ पर टेक्निकली आप बोल सकते हो जब मेसन माउंट होते हैं तो मेसन माउंट ऑब्वियसली काइंड ऑफ टक्स बैक एंड ही बिकम्स योर 3 इन द मिडफील्ड. जो वी सॉ एंजो फर्नांडिस प्लेइंग द लोन पिवट. बट McKyle, आई थिंक लास्ट मैच के बाद हमारी बात हुई यार. McKyle, व्हाट डू यू ऑल थिंक? एंड एवरीवन इन द चैट भी बोलिए. एंजो फर्नांडिस इन दैट वेरी मैच हमने 2 चीज देखा एंजो फर्नांडिस के. एक, प्लेइंग एज अ लोन पिवट फॉर मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द गेम, बट आल्सो प्लेइंग इन अ डबल पिवट. जो सेकंड हाफ में काइंड ऑफ वो टेपर डाउन हो गए थे इन माय ओपिनियन. बट which एंजो फर्नांडिस हैव यू लाइक्ड? आई नो इट्स टू सून टू जज, बट जस्ट एक फर्स्ट इंप्रेशन.
फर्स्ट इंप्रेशन ये था कि I think it's a little too much to ask, put him in the single pivot. He's a great, I'm hoping he's a great player for Chelsea over the years. But, first game in, playing a single pivot, there has to be some synergies around him. There was a lot of criticism for the 2-8s that they kind of left him isolated. So was it really Enzo's fault, I guess, that he didn't really shine in the single pivot necessarily? Right. Maybe they could have dropped in deeper and supported him a little more, and maybe that's why we've seen Loftus-Cheek in there today. Maybe he'll be able to do that, but I just feel like it's a little too early to throw him in that role, unless the 2, if we're playing like a 3 in the midfield, the other 2
just दिखा रहे हैं footmob.com is saying Madueke has that ability. I don't know, to be honest. जितना मैंने देखा Madueke is a pure winger. So I don't think he'll fit in, honestly speaking. लेकिन again, आपको याद है तो भाई, we have played Maluda in the past, even Ryan Butler in the Champions League final famously in that kind of a role. I don't know, just saying. So we've had a left footer playing in that role previously, लेकिन अभी again by footmob.com again changing it.
ये
Now they've
बेहतर
made
है,
it 4-2-3-1. मेरा
ये
सुनकर
बेहतर है, just tactically speaking ये बेहतर है मुझे. The problem is कि who will have the, so here's the thing, we are all excited about the prospect of Enzo Fernandez linking play up from deep midfield to the attackers, right? So as long as we're able to do that and one of the two can sit back and retain positional awareness, so then it's good. The challenge will be Loftus-Cheek is not known to be disciplined in terms of keeping his position if he's going to be one of the CDMs. So if Loftus-Cheek is disciplined and gives the freedom to Enzo to do what he thinks he needs to do, should be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Bhai,
like this
again,
better. I
thanks.
like this better.
Yeah, absolutely. यहाँ पर क्विक में कमेंट्स लेने वाला हूँ, few comments, and yes, by the way, we'll be joined with Fahim as well as Manan, तो we'll get different opinion for sure. लेकिन आप लोग के opinion में देखता हूँ. Chelsea या बोलते हुए, I already told Cheek in the training looks good. I think this is a good move because it will provide more physicality and width in the midfield. Thoughts? Well, Loftus-Cheek, if I'm not wrong, that there is a point about this, and again, Preetham also is kind of happy. So he has played that wideish role also, but again in this particular match, मुझे लगता है it's clear Declan Rice was Loftus-Cheek. लेकिन again, let's be honest, Declan Rice, I think second highest number of interceptions, McKyle, in the Premier League this season versus Loftus-Cheek. But again, I know we are talking on that aspect, लेकिन Loftus-Cheek का role रहेगा. I think it's more for Declan Rice. Yeah, you think that नहीं? The fact is he's also played wide. जो हमारा fluid football देखते हैं with Potter, you feel that he'll be used. What Loftus-Cheek was known for, if you remember, during his academy days and of course under Sarri.
I guess the thinking is that Loftus-Cheek can maybe help out Reece James, because Reece James coming back, you don't want him to be under pressure the whole game long. So maybe they're thinking that Loftus-Cheek has some awareness to that side of the pitch because he's been injected here and there, playing on the right wing as well over the season. So I'm hoping that I'm looking at the back four. दूसरी side पे Cucurella है. So is Fernandez expected to help him out? I don't know. So it's a little bit of a gamble still with the back line. हमारी अभी back four जो है, it's kind of like a work in progress still. Like we know why we need to try it. So I'm okay with that, but it obviously makes me a little nervous, especially with Loftus-Cheek in the pivot in front of them.
Yeah, and already a lot of questions have come. और यहाँ पे पुडिन बोल रहे Madueke OP. Happy to see him. Like एक aspect ये भी था पुडिन, and I think बाकी लोग भी बोल रहे हैं about say maybe Chilwell, David Datro Fofana as well as Madueke. अब Chilwell का there's no two ways about it. अब जैसे मिकाइल ने बहुत अच्छे से समझाया कि Reece James himself is a risk, considering that he's coming after a long layoff. लेकिन वही है कहीं ना कहीं, like Potter wants them to get match fit proper, before we go to that Champions League, I'm guessing. And again, playing Ben Chilwell and Reece James from the start would have been impossible in my opinion. वो agree करता हूँ मैं. But David Datro Fofana भी I think Champions League squad में नहीं है, just like Madueke. So what do you think about that? The Havertz part of it जो मैं avoid कर रहा था conversation अभी तक.
यार Fofana, Havertz, it's an interesting, like I think when I first heard of Fofana's transfer, I right away also heard that he's going to be loaned out. But then he wasn't.
Exactly. बात भी चल रही थी ना, नीस के साथ बात चल रही थी.
So I don't understand who's signing he is. Basically, it sounds like it was more like a club signing कि भाई ठीक है एक बंदा हमारे payroll पे आ जाएगा and we will loan him out and then see if he's good enough to bring back. But हमारा वो Aubameyang का चल रहा है कुछ चक्कर. We keep hearing, हालांकि Potter denied it in the press conference or did not speak to it, but then he also kind of hinted it कि जब तक वो हमारा player है, he is acting professional. So there is probably a need there. अब Havertz को ठीक है, Havertz is kind of like a good foil there, but Havertz is almost like a false nine क्योंकि वो he's not really delivering. So maybe he's a better fit to help the people around him getting into scoring position. So I don't expect Havertz to go score a hat-trick today. If he does, great. But
or maybe play Felix up front.
But I think Felix is more dangerous if you kind of play him deeper and make him function in like a 10 role. where he has freedom to roam, I think he will be the most dangerous then, because
Yeah.
he is going to be the X factor for us in that area. I ये जो है ना हमारा वो there was this photo where we had 5 people in the front line at the top of the pitch, right? And like हमारे जो eights थे, they had also moved up. The front three had also
Wow,
moved.
basically with all forwards and defenders, that's all,
तो
no
वो
midfielders.
5-1-5 फॉर्मेशन जो है ना, वो नहीं चाहिए मुझे ये नहीं चाहिए कि सारे लाइन बना के खड़े हो जाओ वहां पे मुंह दिखा रहे हैं मुझे कि जनाब बॉल किधर है. So be a part of the build out, right? So drop back in. So I would rather कि Felix जैसा player जो है वो deeper खेले and he gives us something extra in the midfield.
Yeah, exactly. देखो, shout out to United Road, absolutely भाई, अंशुमन in the house as well. भाई बात करनी है अगेन मिडवीक में, याद रखना यार. अपने को there's a lot happening in Champions League and Europa League this week, the lot to be discussed. लेकिन अभी focus back to the game. भाई एक चीज है भाई, बहुत लोग बोल रहे हैं that Potter experimenting too much, at the same time why is he continuing to play कुकुरे etc. भाई याद रखिए, जो हमें बैंटर में रहे ना, अगेन बैंटर, वी आर केयरफ्री, वी नो व्हाट वी आर वाला चीज है. मिकाइल एक चीज मालूम है, टुडे इज द लास्ट डे ब्रो, क्लब वर्ल्ड कप. बाय द वे, जस्ट सो यू नो, मैंने आज सुबह एक ऑर्डर किया भाई, क्लब वर्ल्ड कप वाला जर्सी. फाइनली मैं ऑर्डर
अरे
कर दिया, मैं बोला ये
मैंने
जाने वाली है हमारी.
मैं
मैं
पहनने
ऑर्डर
वाला
कर
था
दिया.
मैं पहनने वाला था क्लब वर्ल्ड कप वाली. मैंने कहा कि ये वाली जरा ज्यादा खुली है, मैं
हाँ,
कहा ये वाली ट्राई कर
आज
लेता
आज फॉर्मली लास्ट डे होने वाला है, बिकॉज रियल मैड्रिड वर्सेस अल हिलाल है आज रात को.
हूं. मैं अभी
लाइक
आया
जस्ट,
पहन के वापस.
हाँ प्लीज प्लीज. बट हाँ, कमिंग टू दिस ना, उसके बाद जो भी हुआ भाई, इतने सारे चेंजेस जो है ना चेल्सी में, अभी भी आई वुड नॉट से पॉटर रियली नोज हिज फर्स्ट 11, इफ आई एम बीइंग वेरी ऑनेस्ट. अभी भी ही इज ट्राइंग, बिकॉज रिमेंबर वी हैव हैड अ क्रेजी ट्रांसफर विंडो, और थिंग्स डोंट सेटल बाय इटसेल्फ. यस, देयर हैज टू बी सम कंटिन्यूटी, और जितने कम चेंजेस, मैंने खुद बोला था मिकाइल, कम चेंजेस करे तो अच्छा है. लेकिन भाई, टू मैनेज दैट 31 मेंबर स्क्वाड, पॉटर्स इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, आई डोंट नो व्हाट इट इज. ओबामिया का अच्छा पॉइंट है, ऑलरेडी हमने डिस्कस कर लिया है. आई स्टिल फील कि प्रीमियर लीग में ही हैज मोर टू गिव, एंड ही कुड हैव फिटेड इन समहाउ इन द चैंपियंस लीग, जस्ट टू काइंड ऑफ कीप हिज मोरल हाई. और उसको डायरेक्टली बोल मत भाई, नहीं तो तू टोटली हटा, बीच वाला नहीं चलेगा. अब देखते हैं, मतलब नाउ दैट टुडे इज केप्ट आउट माउंट, and he has kind of picked Loftus-Cheek etc. तो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है that squad rotation is a thing, or do you think नहीं, Potter is slowly but surely getting his 11? Is it a sign of that, of things to come Premier League में?
यार सर्कस चल रहा है, कोई पता नहीं होता कौन खेलेगा कौन नहीं खेलेगा. इतने
सच्चाई,
सारे लौंडे
मैकाइल से
इकट्ठे कर
सच्चाई
लिए.
आती है बस.
इतने सारे लौंडे इकट्ठे कर लिए, अब क्या करेगा वो. मतलब कि वो नहीं होती वो 11 चेंजेस एट हाफ टाइम. वो वाला स्क्वाड इकट्ठा हुआ है इस वक्त. टू मेनी इंजरीज. गुड अप, बिग अप फहीम.
Pick up.
Big up, bro. Yeah. I think Mikhail is right. Angve has Felix starting. Yes, he is starting. Inevitable cooler again for people out there. Let's welcome CFC Fahim. Of course, do check him out as well, यार. People, by chance, in case आपने content नहीं देखा अभी तक. And यहाँ पर again, I'll put the lineup. I'm sure Fahim, you have seen it as well. And me and Mikhail is just discussing about the squad rotation and the options. One thing that pretty sure we all are pretty 100% sure, nothing, as we all want Chelsea to win, at least the Chelsea supporters out here. Bhai, Fahim, you must be pretty much delighted that the fact is finally at least one of the two Mountain Havertz are not starting.
Yeah, I've been saying that at least one of them needs to be dropped, and Mount has. I think Mount is the right call. Mount should have been dropped. Even though like Havertz has not been in good form, we've got no other option. We've got no other number 9 that Graham Potter trusts other than Aubameyang. I mean, Aubameyang, I would have started, but it is what it is. He wants to be. There's plans for him to be isolated from the squad, so it is what it is. We have to do with Havertz. I mean, a lot of people have been mentioning Fofana, but I think we ease the guy in. We don't rush him into the starting lineup. This is a big game. It's a derby. We have to win this game. There's no excuses. This lineup is absolutely strong. The the only two players is, like you said, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Kai Havertz. But the rest of the team, I'm very, very happy with. We should get the win.
Absolutely. Okay, by the way, everyone watching, I request everyone, like Rishi is putting here, let's like the stream. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing it as well. And again, I would highly recommend CFC Fahim as well. We are being joined with Mikhail already, and of course with Manan as well in a few minutes. But I think one big question here, I think me and Mikhail were discussing, Fahim, about Aubameyang. Now the Aubameyang situation, again, if you look at the bench, again, it's the same thing, right? He's not there. From what I see, he's not there. So Just yesterday, I believe there was a report from was it Matlow who said that he's decided to kind of stick around with Chelsea and he's not going to LAFC. Now, after that, still he's not in the Premier League lineup as well as obviously not in the Champions League lineup in midweek. What's he doing in the squad?
I think from my opinion, I think you know how Tammy Abraham under Tuchel was isolated from the team. I think the owners don't want Aubameyang in the team at all. They want to try get rid of
Wow.
Aubameyang. So I think they're telling Graham Potter, don't include him into the matchday squad. Don't include him to the UCL squad. We want to get rid of this guy this summer, just like the Tammy Abraham situation. I remember when Tammy
Mhm.
Abraham was isolated from the FA Cup final. He wasn't in the squad when Tuchel was around. I think that's the same situation with Aubameyang. I heard reports that nothing even happened behind the scenes with his attitude or behavior.
Okay.
It's been
So it's
normal.
basically just a fitment thing. Like they don't see him as a fit of the project. Simply put.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I think they don't want him involved with the project, but at the same time, we brought him in for a stopgap. We didn't really think, oh, he will
Yeah,
be the striker for
exactly.
2 years' time.
Yeah.
We brought him to
Mhm.
stopgap until we sign someone in the summer. So we might as well use him to his strengths. Might as well use the guy because he still is a good player. He's still got a good finishing ability
Or you
in
challenge him, right? Or you challenge him, boss. As in, after the World Cup, you haven't, pushed yourself. We want to see
yeah.
it. As in, go give it. Let's see what you have, right? As in, even it might help him for a move. Who knows, right? Come the summer, because
Mm,
he claims he has that top level football left in him, which I believe he has. Is his attitude, which has been an issue. I don't think footballing ability, Aubameyang, anyone questioned. I don't think he's become a terrible player overnight, right? He's there,
yeah.
and see, that's the thing with Todd Bowley. As much as I am really excited about the entire thing, that is, he's backed us, and I know again, I saw a couple of tweets on Rory from for him, and I know why you're saying that. I agree with you 100%, bro. That we should be excited about this owner who wants to give it all for us, right? Just what we saw, like those 20 years, of
Mm,
Roman reign, right? But somewhere down the line, as it is a resource. Like, why don't you look at it as a resource? You have a resource. It's like,
yeah.
how do I say it? You know that you're going to get a sale price for, say, something that you see online, and you buy it maybe in a summer sale. Meanwhile,
Mm,
you have your phone, for example, and you're using it, right? Still, as in, you don't
yeah.
chuck it away. Simply put.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
when did we last score a goal in the Premier League? It's been a month, bro. Come
I
on.
don't know, but this is my argument: is that we played Aubameyang with players like Mount, players like Gallagher, players like Havertz. This is a completely different team. Felix, Madueke, Mudryk, completely different. We've actually got creators now. We've got proper wingers. Felix behind, Enzo behind, Mudryk on the left, Madueke on the right. If you play Aubameyang up front, he is definitely going to get service. Before he wasn't getting service, he was getting through balls that were not going to him. He was making good runs, but no one picked him out. Now you've actually got Felix, you've got Enzo, who are two players that will look out for strikers making runs in behind. And I think today that will be the case with Mudryk and Madueke. So it makes sense to try out Aubameyang in this team with Felix and all that and see how he does. If he doesn't do well, that's a different story. That means, yeah, maybe he is not right for us right now,
Yeah.
and might as well stick high Havertz and trust in Fofana. But we haven't even tested that. We haven't tested that out, and I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a case of, yeah, maybe Aubameyang's time at Chelsea is over. It's no
Yeah.
point trying
Maybe.
to involve him anymore. It is what it is.
Yeah, and I know people in the chat, yeah. I know there are some Barca fans in the chat as well. You're like, you didn't like the fact when I called Aubameyang a fraud, because for those couple of matches he did, give me that, as in simply put. But again, can I defend others who are also not putting their
Mm,
effort? So we cannot,
yeah,
right? As in, I cannot be double standards here. And I agree with
yeah,
Fahim here 100%. If they are being at least given a chance, at least of rotation, as Aubameyang also would have, it's about communication. And again, someone of an emotional intelligence degree, as in the way that Potter beholds, I think that he should have handled the situation a little bit better, or like Fahim said, it's coming from Burley and co, quite possibly, or maybe
mm,
Aubameyang himself says that, okay, fine, as in, I don't want to go to LAFC because I don't consider myself, with all due respect to MLS, I'm not that level yet in terms of going down, but I would rather wait in the wings for a summer move. But again, for that, even he has to play some football. So he has to come up and talk to, as in beat Potter and say that, come on, as in what is Havertz doing? And then we've heard those stories for him. Like I remember that back in the day, I think it was Hasselbank. I don't know if anyone remembers that or anyone knows that. So Hasselbank, he was crazily good, right? With Ida Gudjonsson, right? So they were a great strike partnership. And when Ranieri came in, Ranieri had Hasselbank on the bench all of a sudden, right? And then Hasselbank had the guts to just go and tell him, "Come on, boss, just put me on." And in a game, he put him on an early sub than usual. Hasselbank scored like a brace, and then he's like, "Okay," and then he was back. So. As in, that is the attitude that one wants, especially even Hasselbank was coming from a lot of Premiership experience already. Aubameyang also has that. And he was that same. I'm comparing to different people here, but I'm just saying, somewhere down the line, it is basically maybe more modern era where they're not like upfront, like again, characters just go and talk to the manager and tell him, as in, come on, this is not fair, as in just put me in, that kind of thing. So I think it's somewhere down the line ego. I know a lot of people, yes, I know this, and again, I must admit that I have been a little bit too, you can say, biased or maybe protective about Havertz. But again, it's not just because Havertz came and met me, bro. Everyone, trust me, it is only because Havertz, for me, the only saving grace of Havertz, not saving grace, is the fact that for me he is a better number 10 than a number 9. At least when Felix is there, maybe the fact is Felix can become a false 9 sometimes and Havertz can drop off. That kind of thing, which something I want to see in a couple of games and then react. So I hear, and at the same time, it'll be unfair. Okay, yeah. So here is McKyle coming in the change strip, and you all know this why. So this is the reason, by the way, people. Yes, Real Madrid fans. Why? One last time, McKyle. We know what we are. We know what we are. Champions of the world. We know what we are. McKyle, showing it for him. I've just ordered one today, man. I just realized, oh my god, we got to lose it.
I'm wearing a sweater today, so it's a little cold. So I almost put this on before the stream, and then I'm like, it's a little snug. So let me put on something that's a little more roomier. And the first thing that Ankit says when he comes on, he's like, today's the last day the Club World Cup as champions. I'm like, that's it. I have to go back and put it on.
Yeah, and again, a huge day, I think, for future of Chelsea's defense, because Thiago Silva has extended. And that is huge news. Trust me, that is almost like a relief. Okay, fine. At least we have someone to kind of stabilize and a leader, right, McKyle? I know we'll talk about West Ham as well.
He's the rock of Chelsea right now.
Exactly.
We have a huge vacuum in terms of personalities and leadership in the club, and he's the one that's going above and beyond, especially what happened with Tuchel. And I could have understood if he had just left after that, but he's stuck around. There's a lot of question marks over the ability of the new manager, and he's kind of giving his vote of confidence to Potter as well by saying that you can count on me. I'll be around as long as you'll have me. I'm around here. So that was really encouraging and heartening to see. One of the few feel-good stories. Real feel-good stories of this season so far. I mean, it's been a madness in the transfer window, but it's all a question mark madness because it's spending money and we don't know if it's going to come good right now. So this is one thing that actually gives me some confidence that we are headed in the right direction for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, again, fingers crossed. And I know it's a must-win, and we'll talk about the game. But quick question here, McKyle, before I go to Fahim. Where does Thiago Silva rank? I put a shots earlier today, but where does he rank for you? Like, firstly, for Chelsea and generally in central defense, like
right up there with John Terry. And I cannot say that about many people. Maybe Carvalho is maybe Carvalho, if I would pick up top three, it would be John Terry, Carvalho, Ricardo Carvalho, and now Thiago Silva.
And that's huge. I know, as in, it's kind of a statement on his counterpart, which is obviously compatriot, that is David Luiz, who has won Premier League as well as Champions League with Chelsea, as well as Gary Cahill to some extent, maybe even Gallus, one would say, maybe in Desai. But I don't know, as in, I did a 11. I don't know, Michael, if you checked it out.
Yeah, modern era, or Abramovich era and beyond. Desai is definitely up there as well. We've been blessed as a club to have had many awesome players play play for the shirt. But in recent times, I was just contemplating after I heard this news about Thiago Silva. I'm like, this guy is right up there. This guy is right up there. And you can't even say he hasn't won anything. He's won trophies that those guys did not win. So So he's got his name in the legacy of our club for all times.
Yeah. By the way, Anshul, I see your message. I think there might be a renewal period. Maybe I'm guessing, Anshul, but you may have to check it out. But again, Anshul, welcome again, bro. I don't think anyone removed it. Trust me on that membership. And McKyle is a member of the channel. Absolutely, he would confirm that. But yeah, definitely, I think there may need to be a renewal thing that be needed, Anshul. So check kariye aap definitely. Lekin Fahim, same question to you. I know Ivanovic too played a centre back. Yeah, absolutely. I remember. Was it? I think against Swansea, we had those two-legged affair where Eden Hazard kicked the ball boy. I think in that particular I remember that was the last time with Ivanovic was centre back and he moved to right back. But coming back to the same question, Fahim, like Thiago Silva in Chelsea and general, like again, for me, he's one of the underrated defenders of all time.
I have the exact same thoughts as McKyle. I think he cemented his status at Chelsea. Definitely Chelsea legend, no matter what. He's a Chelsea legend in my books. I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, but we had other centre backs." But for me, what he's done at his age, 3 years consistent in the league, he's been the best centre back in the league, no doubt. Best centre back in the league over the age of 35. Brought him in a free transfer. I did not expect him to do this for 3 years straight. I only expected him to be here for 1 year and maybe 2 years max. But the fact that he's extended and he can continue as well at this level, it's absolutely amazing. So he's had a fabulous career, absolutely fantastic career, and I think he's definitely up there as one of the best centre backs of all time for sure, 100%. So I'm just happy that he's extended. Now we've got a lot of young centre back upcoming, like you've got Fofana, Colwell, you've got Badia Shield, all these centre backs that need to be coached by one of the best. So I think Thiago Silva extending, it's a very, very good thing for us.
And I think you just hit it on the head, Fahim. There is nobody in that back four or back five that knows what they're doing necessarily. Like exceptions to Chilwell and James, they're hardly around, right? Too many injuries. And this guy stood in the middle of that chaos and provided that stability, right? It could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse if this guy not been around. Because look at who you have in your back line. Like Koulibaly's misfiring. Chalobah, arguably is not a specialist, but we've kind of grooming him to become a specialist in these roles. Aspi on the wane. Cucurella has been hot and cold. It's just a disaster. Like we've had Loftus-Cheek playing right back or wing back for us, right?
Yeah.
Pulisic
almost Zakaria as well, huh? I remember.
Yeah, exactly. and Frankie De Jong as well. So in all of this, it's kind of almost not given the due that this guy's been sitting in the middle of all this chaos. And he's been providing, that stability that nobody's panicking. Everybody's like, yeah, we got this still. Like as long as we have Silva on the team sheet, we're not worried. We're going to figure it out. Hats off to the guy, man.
Absolutely. It's absolute profession. The way he takes care of his body, it just shows his sort of professionalism. It's a good sign towards the young players. This is how you do it. This is how you can stay at the top level for this long. So hats off to Thiago Silva.
I'm just maybe someone who's like hoping and praying that sometimes it comes true. I know McKyle might. We've discussed on this, and this is about John Terry coming back to Chelsea in some way or the other in terms of the main team. And then I wouldn't be surprised in the future we see like an assistant group comprised of maybe John Terry, Thiago Silva, Didier Drogba of the world. Man, it'll be crazy, man. Petr coming back, like it'll be absolutely fantastic. Michael Ballack maybe in the director's space. I know it's too good to be true. It doesn't work that way. But again, Anshul, welcome to the fam, bro. Much love to you. Like in McKyle, I don't agree with that. You're like let the legends be legends, huh?
Sequels are usually not worth. So everybody has their legacy. Let's not spoil it. Lampard ka dekh lo kya hua. Lampard coming back as a manager, theek hai. fine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the best way to round off Lampard's legacy at Chelsea. The way his managerial stint went. Okay, there were some positives that came out of it too. But I think his name was bigger before than after, for some reason. But
Yeah.
that aside, what about the new winning mentality coach from New Zealand? Are we going to see the
Oh
chanting
yeah, as in
at the start of the match?
we need that. Come on, we need that. We need it big time. Shashank, welcome to the stream, bro. Long time no see. But like that is something great for him. Like, is it like that winning mentality, as in that simple thing that is needed? That is the difference maker, maybe. But I don't know, Fahim. Are you a believer in these things? I know for me that it's almost like modern football. Has these things a lot more than earlier. A little bit old school, but somewhere down the line, I think these guys are so much involved in social media, and a lot of us we kind of criticize them as well. And then what do you think is the reason for this, and how do you think it'll really affect the team? Will it, or you're saying it's too many people now?
I think, well, I heard that he's only here for a few weeks. Like
Yeah.
that, I think that's the contract. So I think, in my opinion, he's only here because since our squad size is like one of the biggest in Europe. We've got too many players. I think he's been brought in to finish the job, finish this season off strongly. That's it. I think afterwards we'll obviously trim down the squad, and I think maybe then we'll see what happens. But I think he's only here temporarily to just help the squad be focused to finish the season strong, because we still need top four. Top four is still it's still possible. It is still possible, even though we are I think 10 points behind or something like that. But we can't have that sort of mentality. Oh, we've given up. No, we can still get to that point. We can still get the bare minimum top four. So I think that's why he's been brought in, to help Graham Potter, help the coaching staff, because it is not an easy thing to do. Manage so many egos, manage so many players. It's hard to actually. You only got 11 players to field, not 32 or anything like that. So I think he's come in to help Graham Potter. I think it's a good move, quite a smart move. I just have to see how it actually pans out
Right.
this season.
Okay. I try to bring the table on the screen on the right hand side, and imagine we don't even fit in there. Kind of bantering my own club. What's wrong with me anyway? Especially the day when we are having a last day to celebrate the club World Cup success. But Pudin, yes, I've put that comment on the screen because this is someone I know. We are a 30-man member squad. But still, Andre Santos, I think, is a no-brainer that he'll come in. Somewhere down the line, I don't know. McKyle, would you have seen a Chukwuemeka, for instance, in a normal season? And when I say normal season, never a normal season in Chelsea, but Chukwuemeka of the likes, as in where will they fit in the squad? Like, would you have seen them kind of going on loan, or you're like, no, as in anyway, it's not like our midfield has done great and we're missing a lot of players. How will Potter manage? Yeah? I'm just wondering. Andre Santos also work permit is almost through, I believe.
Some people will have to leave. There's no two ways about it. I would rather, give the likes of Chukwuemeka some time to be the squad players, like we have persisted with Loftus-Cheek. Think about Loftus-Cheek, man. He's been our players, 7, 8 years now, and we're still trying to persist with him. At some point, the persistence needs to stop, and he needs to just, deliver. Because I think the club has done right by Loftus-Cheek. We have stood by him in thick and thin, but he's just not able to consistently be the person, be the solution for managers to trust him for whatever reason. I'm not going to blame him necessarily, because it's almost like if he plays 5 games in a season, they're all in different roles. So he's never gotten a run in any position, and we all know that his strongest position is more of a forward playing 8 on the left side, right? And there's too much competition in that part of the field at our club. So he's never going to get that opportunity for any run of games unless there's a whole. I'm not even going to go there. But so in this context, Chukwuemeka, I think from what I've seen, he's been decent. Why not give him a run out? Probably just because he's a little green. Loftus-Cheek, even for his lack of game time, does have a lot of experience, right? So from positional, tactical, strategy wise, maybe it's an easier conversation for Graham Potter to talk to Ruben than Chukwuemeka right now, who's kind of still learning all these things. He is very young.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, I'm just addressing a couple of comments in the chat here. People, again, everyone यहाँ पर जो भी है भाई सब लोग like button दबा दीजिए and again give a follow to all my panel members as well. Manan, welcome to the stream again. Blue Ultra here. Manan, we were celebrating Thiago Silva moments and stuff like that. You missed it, bro. I don't know. Really wanted to hear from Manan
I
as well. But Manan, quickly before we go, take the comments, as in one Thiago Silva moment that you remember, like you can never forget.
that goal line clearance. I can't remember which opposition it was. What was it?
Juventus, right? It was against Juventus.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
sure it was
yes, yes,
Juventus.
yes.
Yeah.
Juventus, yes, Juventus in the Champions League. Yes, I mean
Hmm.
that personifies the man and the defender that he's been over the years, right? What a world class act, and it just shows that you don't need physicality, you don't need all the skills in the world to be a wonderful defender. It's all about how you use your brains, how you show your awareness, how you lead from the back, right? So I think that is something that he personifies. He has personified in his wonderful career, and I think he's been one of the best ever free transfers that any team has ever pulled off, not just Chelsea. So I think
Wow.
definitely one
Wow.
of my
That's actually,
all-time,
yeah, it's probably a good call in my opinion, because again, a lot of we have been talking about, and we've been kind of say that we're ruining football and stuff like that. I know there's a lot of Man City fans also kind of relate to that, of late PSG fans. Newcastle will be in the future, but for me, as in some of our best signings, as in ironically, have been actually the ones which have Michael Ballack remembers was one, as in a crazily good transfer. Thiago Silva, Aspilicueta, again, not now, but over the years, 10 years, man. As in, that's a huge period, long period for sure. But again, this question, okay, question of McKyle, who do you see sitting deep off Enzo and RLC? I don't trust RLC bombing forward his pathetic last passes. I think, I don't know, McKyle, was it Tottenham game last year where I remember Ruben Loftus did play as like the single pivot in one of the games to under Tuchel? Do you see him doing that? Maybe Enzo, because Crespo has apparently said, and huge words. I don't know, Fahim, I'll come to you as well. But for Mikhail, Crespo has said that Enzo Fernandez actually is a Makelele plus Lampard.
Let's not put too much pressure on Enzo. Enzo will do good regardless. In terms of who's going to sit back, I think they're going to just kind of look at each other and figure out, one go forward, one sit back, because Loftus-Cheek has the ability to kind of, step into the pocket as well. What he does with it afterwards, is debatable. But I don't see Loftus-Cheek having that much discipline to just be the person to sit back the whole game long. So I think it'll have to be a little bit of, one stay back, one go forward, and they'll have to kind of bounce off each other to figure out that kind of chemistry. It's going to be back and forth.
Yeah. Talk about ex-Chelsea players in Hernan Crespo. Come on, Fahim, Emerson, as in my opinion, Emerson wasn't too bad. Always kind of, was very, very professional. Now he's playing for West Ham. I know if everyone was fit, probably, arguably, even might not have started. But Emerson playing like in a back five, kind of. What I saw, if Emerson, he was more of a back four full back. But what do you think about that, Fahim? About the Emerson, battle that he'll have against Reece James?
It's going to be an interesting battle. Not just Reece James, but you also got Madueke on that side as well. So let's see how he does against Emerson. Emerson's a good player. It's not nothing special, nothing bad. I think when he was at Chelsea, he was just a good option to have at left back. So it'll be interesting. In the back five, I think he played left wing back for Lyon when he was on loan there when he was at Chelsea on loan to Lyon. So I think he can do that role in terms of playing a bit more forward. And yeah, Reece James just has to do his job in terms of defending well against Emerson. So I think Reece James will do the job well.
Reece James will do it, okay. But Manan, big question here. A lot of questions here. Someone was asking me about, are we like really going for Jude Bellingham big? Of course, the talk of the town is Declan Rice, bro. Come on, Declan Rice. Like again, a lot of Manan is a Twitter guru for everyone out there, and that's how I got to know Manan. But Manan, Declan Rice splits opinion now that Mount is not really favored by many Chelsea fans as well. You think this might be a moment where Declan Rice kind of says that okay, fine, let me see other options, and where do you see him moving eventually? As in, again, it's a gut feel, but again, David Moyes saying he should break the transfer record. As in, would you do that for Declan Rice?
Break the transfer record, maybe not, but he is a quality player. I have seen him play a lot. People think that he's a holding midfielder, but I think he's much more than that. I think he has the ability to, play line breaking passes into the forwards, into the wingers. So I think he has much more attributes than people realize. Maybe I wouldn't break the transfer record for him, but yeah, if there is a possibility we can bring him to the bridge, I would certainly want to explore it. Not just because of him being best pals with Mount, but also because he's a very very good player.
Yeah.
He's got the experience, he's got the leadership skills, and obviously not mentioning the fact that he and his family have been Chelsea supporters forever.
Yeah, forever.
But I think from his professional point of view, I know we've made a ton of signings. We have a very exciting squad. But right now, if you ask me, because I've also seen Arsenal rumors also coming into the picture, would he rather play for Arteta or Potter? I would probably, go for the former. He may want to play for Arteta. That being the only negative from a Chelsea perspective. But like I said, if there's a possibility of us bringing him to the bridge, I would certainly explore that, and especially
Yeah.
when I'm seeing numbers like 70-80 million being floated around. Maybe obviously not, maybe late in the window if we don't get any other business done, because even though we have signed Enzo, I think midfield is still a weak point for us, especially now that you're seeing that Ruben Loftus-Cheek is starting in the central midfield role, which I don't really trust him with. So I think midfield is still an area we can look to upgrade. So if Rice is available for that amount, 70 million, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. As in, again, we are talking about midfield again with the entire window gone for him. But the fact is, now Gallagher and Mount, there was a suggestion in the chat that maybe we are resting for the battle against, Jude Bellingham in midweek. Again, rotation is a thing, remember. And again, it might be a case that today, either of them kind of comes off the bench and maybe, proves themselves, simply put. As in that's quite a possibility. But again, that ideal midfielder that you want for him, as in who's that like in the summer? I know it's we are kind of jumping the gun, but now that you've seen brief look at what Chelsea squad looks like, and again, kind of evident that Loftus-Cheek is not a starter. We all know that. And Kante, again, there are a lot of question marks. But who's your ideal starting partner next to Enzo Fernandez going forward in the summer?
In the summer, I think we will be back for Caicedo. I think that's another option Chelsea will probably go for and spend money. But Declan Rice is another option. But like I said, I don't think Declan Rice is suited as a single pivot player. I think he's more of a double pivot player. But it could work in this system in a 4-2-3-1 with Enzo. Actually, would work well, to be honest. But I wouldn't break more than 70 million for Declan Rice, especially when his contract is expiring. Why would we spend so much on Declan Rice? You might as well try find an alternative. That alternative could be Caicedo, or it could be someone else that we don't know. There's definitely DMs in the market. It's not just fixated with those two players. We've got definitely more targets that we can definitely go for. So I think if we sort out the DM position and not let Enzo be the DM, then I think our midfield will be getting strong, because the game against Fulham, we saw Enzo playing too deep, way too deep. I think we're limiting Enzo if we play him in the DM position. He should be playing the number 8, because the guy can shoot, the guy can pass, the guy's very well-rounded. Why should we play him at DM? So I think if we get that DM sorted, we can play Enzo number 8, and then we play someone else in number 8, and that'll be a very good midfield.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. Again, I think that's the thing that I know I'm kind of comparing two different things, but when we try and say that Havertz is the number 9, it doesn't make sense to me. And that's the whole point I'm trying to make from so many weeks. As in the guy, as in just give him a break. He's not a number 9. But again, for now we are here to stay. And again, 15 minutes left for the game. We'll come back to it. And again, Onana, Lavia, I think we have tried for that. I think Lavia looks a great prospect for me. But again, the injury record is not something that I would be really excited about. That's something that will be, especially Chelsea, as in we know that injuries in Chelsea kind of go hand in hand these days. So we have to be a little
We
bit
hired
careful.
physios. We hired physios. I heard that we hired physios yesterday.
Yeah, but the physio will get injured, bro. That's how bad luck has gone. But again, let's go back to McKyle. The Havertz situation, I know we already spoke about, and David Atro Fofana, like he probably eventually come in, maybe he's a bit too raw. But again, a lot of transfer talk there also. And McKyle was, I must say, one of the first people, at least I know of, who was like Vlahovic in. And that was like back what? 18 months ago, McKyle, was it? We had like so many
During the
conversations, me,
Euros.
you, and Coachella.
During the Euros.
Exactly, and that's one thing. But Mikhail, as in, do you see a striker out there who's like fits the Potter system now that you're seeing? I know that we are still wondering what's the Potter ball system exactly, but Mikhail, do you have a name in mind now? The scout
Yes.
and Mikhail.
Yes, I do. His name is Erling Haaland.
Yes, of course, Man City. But bad news, Mikhail, Man City. The case is going to go on for 4 years, I believe, potentially. So I don't think you're getting him anytime soon. But yeah, I think that is something that we all knew as well.
Hurricane Harry obviously will do as well.
Yeah.
But anybody that can put the ball in the back of the net, even if it's Datro Fofana, I don't really care. I just want somebody putting the ball in the back of the net. It's at that point where we bought all these new attacking players, and the expectation is again the same: put the ball in the back of the net, because whoever we have right now cannot seem to do it. So they've gone and bought a whole new front line, almost. Well, if you can argue that Aubameyang's decent too, but I mean it's already on the way out. But we were still not getting past that mental block that the ball doesn't get past the goalie. We just seem to hit all our shots straight at the goalie, and that's a mental mental problem more than a skill problem. But whoever the coaches are, whatever the coaching philosophies are, when it comes to professional players, like, do you actually tell them to go practice shooting at the top corner or bottom corner, or are they too good to be spoken to like that? Because that's what's missing. If you look at Messi scoring goals game in, game out, he's not shooting at the goalie. He's shooting at the top corner, bottom corner constantly. Look at all the great players of yesteryear, same thing. When you look at our players shooting, everything's straight at the goalie. It's basics.
Okay, so guys, you heard it here. Basically, Mikhail is saying, go get Messi. That's what I understand from all this.
Mbappe.
जगह है, bench पे अभी भी जगह है, I'm sure. उस bench को extend कर रहे हैं हम straight out of the stadium.
Matchlock का था ना tweet किया basically 33 में हमने भी I don't think we have included I think Lewis Hall in the website because we still have a couple of places left, technically speaking. That's for the Premier League. But Manan, before we kind of head to the predictions and stuff like that, and again the last bit of tactics. Again, Kepa, Manan and me, I remember, again, we discussed, I think, when Kepa was bought almost, Manan, I remember having a discussion with you, and we had, like, me and Akash, was it? Three of us had, like, a proper discussion over transfer window, and Kepa was the topic of the town that time. Now, are you convinced with Kepa now? Come on.
I mean, I wouldn't say convinced because he still has mistakes in him. If I have to just, give one example, is the Man City game, right? Oh, I mean, it was ridiculously bad. Yeah, it was ridiculously bad. So I'm still not convinced. Goalkeeping should be a priority in the summer as well. I don't know if Slonina is ready for the big time. I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything of him, so I can't make that.
I doubt it. I think he's a bit too raw, I believe.
Right. So I am personally not convinced with Kepa to be a number one starter if you want to challenge for all the major trophies. I don't think he has that in him, even though his form is very good, to be fair to him, but I still don't think he's the keeper that we need, or rather we need to challenge for the league, to be very honest, week in, week out. I don't think that is the case. So I think goalkeeping has to be a priority position as well in the market in the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. You won't get anyone who will be massive upgrade over Kepa in the market. Maybe signing Courtois back again. No, that's not happening, Anup. That's not happening. Let's be honest. By the way, Courtois also, I must say, he's become a little bit injury prone. I don't know what's happened to him all of a sudden. Just pun intended to a Real Madrid fan, Anup, because you all know why. You guys are possibly going to be taking the Club World Cup from us today. But who knows? Al Hilal, they might have something to say. We'll talk about that later. But coming to the game again,
Sorry, there is Diogo Costa as well. I mean, definitely an improvement
Diogo
in
Costa, yeah,
Barcelona.
he's been linked as well, and again, Pickford has also been linked.
No, that won't be an upgrade.
That won't be. Okay, good one. West Ham goal from set piece. By the way, see, the reason I was asking about goalkeeper coming closer to the kickoff, I think for him, was it not the West Ham game where Mendy had that howler?
Yeah.
I remember, yeah, that kind of a cross come shot, or rather, it was actually a cross which he kind of, just palmed it to the into the goal almost. So, as in, so that is something that, and again, Antonio, the guy actually always turns up, and there was a reason why Chelsea were going for Antonio. I know it was kind of funny, but at the same time, he always, and we know that we go for players that play against us well, and that's Antonio. Benrahma, we were linked in the past. Bowen has been in form. Paqueta playing as a midfield again next to Rice is interesting, that Brazil used him for as well. But what do you think is the main, as in the main weapon for West Ham today, as in considering our forward line and our midfield?
You said Antonio. I agree. I think Antonio is the big threat for us because the guy physically he just bullies defenders. I think in the last game, was at the Bridge. I think at the Bridge. No, was it this season? No, a few seasons ago. Yeah, under Lampard. I think it was under Lampard where he was bullying Christensen on doing lockdown. He was bullying Christensen, and we lost that game.
Oh yes.
From a Yarmolenko goal. So I remember that game specifically. Antonio was bullying Christensen with his body strength. So I think with Badiashile, I think he will be able to cope with Antonio. I think we all know that Badiashile is a solid centre back already. So strong, physical, quick. Thiago Silva as well with his defending abilities as well. So, but I still think when it comes to set pieces, Antonio will be there in terms of winning headers, winning aerial duels, something that we need to be careful of. So yeah, I think that's their biggest threat.
Interesting. Manan, Souček not being there and Paqueta being used. Interesting call, right? From David Moyes. The fact is they're playing at home, you think, and relegation battle, but at the same time they need 3 points against Chelsea at home, is what I'm assuming.
So Paqueta is definitely more of a creative player than Souček. Obviously, Souček offers different attributes in terms of his height, his physicality, his eye for goal. I think it's very underrated how many goals he scores from deep in the midfield, especially from set pieces. So I think that is something that they will miss. But I think Moyes is sort of going for Paqueta to create more chances. He knows we are playing a back four. We have Thiago Silva, who's not the paciest of players rather. So he can have Bowen and Benrahma running behind our defense with Paqueta, orchestrating things from the middle. So I think that is an interesting call for sure. And later on in the game, if they are chasing or if the scores are level, he can always bring on Souček to add that extra bit of threat from set pieces. So it's a wise call. It's a smart call from Moyes. And yeah, I would certainly expect us to, or rather expect them to give a very tough fight to us.
Interesting. Okay, by the way, Fahim has to go. I know there are a few minutes left for the game. By Sablog, again, I request everyone to hit that like button. I know so few people might have dropped off because of the kickoff. But again, remember, we'll be discussing lots. And Fahim, please check him out as well. Absolutely brilliant channel, brilliant content, be it on Twitter or be it on YouTube. Fahim, big up, bro, up the Chelsea. Prediction before you go. Come on. Positive one.
2-0 Chelsea. 2-0 Chelsea.
Come on, Fahim. Upgrading his prediction for us. But yeah, absolutely great to have Fahim always. See you soon, bro.
Big up.
Big up. Chalo, McKyle, time आ गया आपका भी. I think prediction and the goal scorers. Come on, go for it. Everyone in the chat.
यार prediction कोई नहीं की, बेइज्जती ना करवाना, बस बाकी सब खैर है. As far as the top four, fight for top four, road to top four or Europe goes, we have to take one game at a time. So every game we have to put 3 points together. So by hook or crook, I want to see us win.
Okay, so basically McKyle is like, I don't care about the score. I just want to see a win. And again, it's required. अगर मैंने table दिखाया था, yes, of course, we can say that it's better not to have like a Europa Conference League and just kind of go there, build our system, get an identity back. But at the same time, I still personally believe, Manan, that कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है पॉटर को टॉप 6 तो चाहिए होगा यार. I think top 6, top 4 ideally, which is also very difficult, but top 6, I personally feel it is needed. What do you think in that regard?
We need top 4 with the amount of money spent, but that's definitely not happening. But I think, yeah, any sort of European competition is a must because we can't let go of any revenue, very honestly. And not especially with the amount that you spent. I'm sure we'll be under scrutiny with, UEFA and the leagues and stuff, especially now that the Man City thing is boiling up. But yeah, I think this season is a write-off. I don't expect much. I don't expect us to maybe even beat Dortmund. Maybe I'm just being overly negative, but this is just about getting the team together, getting the team into shape, building some sort of chemistry between the players, getting some sort of system in place for Potter. And next season is a huge test for Potter. I think if he doesn't deliver, then I don't have much hopes from him in the managerial position. I'm sure we'll have an eye out for other managers as well across Europe, or maybe across even South America for all we know.
Oh wow,
But yeah,
that's a big call,
Marcelo
but let's
Gallardo,
see.
Marcelo
अच्छा
Gallardo would say.
having मतलब I know that literally couple of minutes are left भाई. केशव बोल रहे 1-0, Tiger Beast बोल रहे 3-1 Mudryk by Tiger Beast and me are definitely huge Mudryk fans अभी तक. I know just by one appearance,
Yeah.
second appearance I know a lot of people said other way. Yes,
It's going
McKyle.
to be Mudryk versus Emerson Palmieri, so it's going to be interesting.
Okay, yeah, it depends on which side he's on, but I think it
Oh, sorry,
might
no,
actually be
Madueke versus
Madueke. Yeah,
yeah.
but again, knowing Madueke, he has a tendency to kind of swap as well. So who knows? With
Yeah.
Potter being at the helm, there might be some rotation. लेकिन यार साउथ अमेरिकन से याद आया मुझे यार कार्लो एंचेलोटी ब्रो ब्राजील का मैनेजर यार हमने बात नहीं की उसके बारे में. Kyle, quick thoughts on that यार if he's going there then Tuchel to Real Madrid.
Possible, but he's denying it too. So I don't know. He's saying that maybe he's just playing. Not doesn't want to talk about it. But I can see Tuchel playing anywhere, managing anywhere or any big club. So I wouldn't be surprised. And Real Madrid would be smart if they can land him.
Yeah. Again, it'll be interesting. Whatever happens, but again, भाई सब लोग I go for a draw. अनूप बोल रहे हैं भाई अनूप आपका भी बहुत important match है. Talk about Real Madrid tonight. But I don't know, मतलब draw Manan. We got too many draws. मतलब I'll be okay with something like a 4-all draw. I don't mind. So for instance, अगर वो जो McKyle बोला ना passion दिखे, way of football दिखे, something goes right, then I don't mind it for once. But come on, man. As in, come on, West Ham. Do you want to see West Ham relegated? Let's be real.
I honestly don't care about them. I care about Chelsea. But
So like I am
I
with
must.
directly that I want to see Leeds getting relegated because of the
That's
history of
fine.
Leeds and all that.
Makes sense. But yeah, I think I'm with Anup. I'm not very optimistic. I'm by nature when it comes to Chelsea, I'm a pessimist. But I don't. I mean, I'm not having any that feeling internally that we are going to pull off a result. And if we are going to, then maybe a 1-0 shithousing win. Maybe some controversies here and there. But I think it's. I think if we do win, it will be a 1-0 win. Maybe through a set piece goal, because I don't think they're creating enough chances at the moment to post a very good scoreline. And especially West Ham have got a good defense as well with Ogbonna, Kerrer and Zuma. So I think they do have a very good defense. So I don't expect us to create a plethora of
आज
chances.
तो
I
Zuma
just
खैर
hope.
वही तो injured है लेकिन I hear you like
Oh,
Ogbonna and Kerr etc. I know Kerr has a mistake in him लेकिन physicality definitely I hear you what you're
right.
saying.
Yeah.
लेकिन again I'm going for a Chelsea win. मुझे लगता है आज goals होंगे. I know हमने goals मारा नहीं है बहुत समय से especially in the Premier League, but I think कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है with Kerr and Paqueta being there and Mudryk not having a good game last time around, maybe he's just hopeful of me with blue tinted glasses. मुझे लगता है मिस्टेक्स होंगे दोनों साइड से और गोल्स होंगे. तो आई वेंट फॉर अ 2-0 कल प्रीवियस शो में, लेकिन अभी मैं लाइनअप देख रहा हूँ रूबन लॉफ्टस-चीक बीइंग देयर, यहाँ पे पकेटा प्लेइंग एज वेल. मुझे लगता है इट माइट एक्चुअली बी अ 2-1 और वेरी स्ट्रेंजली आई कैन सी समवन फ्रॉम द बेंच कमिंग एंड डूइंग इट फॉर अस. अब देखते हैं कौन है. मे बी दाविद आतो फोफाना, मे बी हकीम जिएश. मतलब हकीम जिएश आल्सो आई थिंक ही हैज गॉट समथिंग टू प्रूव, अनलाइक इन ओबामियांग यू कैन आर्ग्यू. तो आई थिंक वन ऑफ देम माइट मेक द डिफरेंस. पता नहीं मिकाइल, who do you see coming on? Like in case I know it depends on the game scenario. With 1 minute left to the kickoff, you think Hakim Ziyech probably will come on earlier, or you see Fofana coming in with maybe Havertz dropping back, considering Felix के 90 minutes नहीं हुए ज़्यादा.
Good question. I think Gallagher will come on. I guess maybe Chukwuemeka might come on, or you might see Ziyech coming on just to kind of give Madueke some rest. But the feeling I'm getting is that if we're going to get a goal, it's going to be from the starting lineup. I don't see enough impact off the bench. Probably Ziyech aside.
Okay. Interesting. चलो भाई, Manan has to go with kickoff now taking place. मैं यहाँ बोल रहा हूँ, मैं ऑनलाइन देख रहा हूँ, तो मेरा अभी लैग होने वाला है. With McKyle is very happy about, I know that. ठीक है, तो मैं और McKyle शायद साथ में देखेंगे. Manan, of the Chelsea यार, मतलब always great to have you, but
Thank
let's
you.
hope all your positive thoughts come to fruition and we talk positively the next time around even more. चलो भाई, सी यू मनन भाई. मनन ओपी हो जाए इन द चैट, एवरीवन इन द चैट. भाई सीएफसी वुमेन, यस भाई, कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है दैट दे विल डू बेटर देन द सीएफसी मेन यार. दैट्स द रियलिटी. और नॉट जस्ट फ्रॉम नाउ यार, फ्रॉम अ व्हाइल दे हैव बीन डूइंग वेरी वेल. इन फैक्ट मेंटालिटी मॉन्स्टर्स है, मतलब दैट इज समथिंग दैट मे बी दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव हायर्ड दैट कोच. लेट मी एक्चुअली ट्यून इन. तो मैं क्या करने वाला हूं ना मिकाइल, मैं थोड़ा चैट लेट लूंगा, लेकिन आई एम ट्राइंग टू पुट द स्ट्रीम ऑन माय फोन एंड ऑन माय लैपटॉप. आई एम पुटिंग द मैच. ठीक है, तो मैं मैच तो लगा दिया हूं ऑलरेडी. मेरा तो किक ऑफ शुरू नहीं हुआ भाई. सब लोगों का किक ऑफ शुरू हो गया क्या ऑलरेडी? लेट मी एक्चुअली ट्राई एंड
लाइनअप दिखा रहे हैं. आई थिंक इट शुड बी स्टार्टिंग सून.
चलो मैं एक काम करो, विंडोज कम कर लिया एंड होपफुली वी विल हैव दैट. एक बार रिफ्रेश कर लेते हैं.
I'm super excited, by the way, if anybody's watching, because for the first time in history, my stream might be tied in to the same timestamp as Ankit. So for this reason alone, I got up an hour early before my alarm. Even
I might be behind you,
there was so much
Mikhail. That's how bad it is, though.
London Derby भाड़ में गई, नए player भाड़ में गए. My stream's gonna be caught up with Ankit.
Yeah, by bubbles all over the stadium. London Derby early kickoff है, तो it's a thing that we have seen a lot of times. I remember there was this match. Was it Liverpool का एक match? Liverpool versus Sunderland था back in the day when there was this huge balloon on the pitch and the ball hit the balloon and वो goal allow किया गया था. I think who was that? It was a talk sport guy, as in Darren Bent scoring that goal against Liverpool. मुझे याद है, मतलब ये प्रॉपर हुआ था. if I'm not wrong, Sunderland के लिए खेलता था उस समय. स्पॉइलर नहीं यार, पुतिन स्पॉइलर वाला मत देना. देखते हैं भाई, मेरा टाइम स्टैम्प जब शुरू हो जाएगा तो बता देंगे. तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ ना,
किक ऑफ होने वाला है. They're taking a knee.
हाँ मेरा नी अभी तक शुरू नहीं हुआ है.
मैं आ गया.
नहीं तो जस्ट अ फ्यू सेकंड्स आई थिंक.
किक ऑफ हो गया.
चलो भाई. ओ माय गॉड, मेरा तो भाई बहुत ही स्लो है लगता है. चलो कोई नहीं. I think McKyle will be giving a few spoilers today. Looks like to me. I'm Putin as well. भाई कोई भी देख रहा है टाटा प्ले में ऑनलाइन यहाँ पर? सब्सक्राइब में बोलिए.
Chelsea have the ball. Enzo on the ball. Cucurella. Back pass. Batshuayi. Batshuayi, sorry. Oh. Nice moves, guys. Foul. Okay, so we have a free kick. What? We have a free kick from 20 yards.
मैं क्या करने वाला हूँ, मेरे फोन में लगाने वाला हूँ. अभी मेरा किक ऑफ अभी 5 सेकंड पहले शुरू हुआ है.
Baijan, Joao, Felix and Mudryk powering through the press, earning a free kick. It's about 25 yards. I don't think it's 20 yards. 25 yards. Maybe 30 yards. कौन लेगा? Who do you think will take a free kick?
I think the fact is Mount not being there, Gallagher not being there, it's got to be maybe Kukurea.
जाने दे यार. Oh, Reece James.
Oh, Reece James, I भूल गया यार. Obviously, Reece James, he's good at it as well.
अरे भाई, fingers crossed.
लेकिन Felix and Mudryk gives us those good vibes,
Yes. देखा कि किस तरह how they drove?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, straight to the goalie. Easy.
People, I'm just trying to put it on the mobile phone as well. जो भी जल्दी है ना, उसमें रिएक्ट करूंगा. ठीक है, मेरे को थोड़ा इंफीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स हो रहा है अभी. मिकाइल आगे आ जाए, ये क्या हो गया? बट कोई नहीं, होता है. Big up to Mikhail.
Okay.
So Mikhail will be leading the reactions today. ठीक है.
Oh man, that was.
हाँ ये भाई, ये मुझे मिल गया, शॉर्टकट मिल गया. तो मेरा क्या है ना, फोन में मेरा जल्दी आ रहा है, लैपटॉप में धीरे आ रहा है. चलो तो मेरा फोन में देखना पड़ेगा मुझे, कोई नहीं, फोन में देख लेंगे आज।
Baduashile,
मेरा
Kepa,
245 है मिकाइल, 246, 247।
तू तो आगे निकल गया मेरे से फिर से यार।
अरे भाई साहब रेस चल रही है तो। एनीवे
I'm
मडुएके
236, 237.
हाँ ऑलमोस्ट, मतलब
So
जस्ट अबाउट 5-6
20 back, ladies and gentlemen, regular service resumes. Ankit again with the direct
भाई
feed from the
ये पता
studio.
नहीं टेक्नोलॉजी के क्या है, तो सेम ऐप सेम है, ठीक है, वेब में धीरे आ रहा है, मोबाइल में फास्ट आ रहा है। अरे नाइस रन ब्रो, लॉफ्टस चीक ब्रिलियंट, क्रॉस कर मेरे भाई, क्रॉस क्यों नहीं करता यार लॉफ्टस चीक, बट व्हाट अ नाइस रन यार बाय लॉफ्टस चीक, आई मस्ट से। मैं क्या अंदर ही अंदर गाली देते हुए मुझे
हाँ, मैं वापस मैं अपने जगह पे आ गया हूँ। इंतजार कर रहा हूँ कि कौन सी रन कब हुई, कहाँ हुई।
इतना ही कौन, अभी तो हो गई होगी।
चलो यार, एटलीस्ट 15 सेकंड के लिए आई वाज अहेड।
अरे मेरे को बीच का चाहिए, बीच का मिल नहीं रहा स्ट्रीम में, क्या करूं मैं, या तो बहुत ही पीछे हो रहा है या तो आगे हो रहा है। भाई चैट के साथ हो क्या भाई, सब लोग चैट में लाइक बटन दबा दीजिए यार, क्या होगा, सब लोग लाइक बटन दबा दीजिए, शेयर करिए। टाइगर बीच,
भाई घोड़े
गौरव,
उड़ा रहे हैं दोनों, देखते हैं किसकी स्ट्रीम आगे निकलती है।
हाँ नहीं, मैं मेजोरिटी विंस वाला लेता हूँ, मेरे पास दोनों ऑप्शन है, या तो ज्यादा स्लो हो सकता हूँ या तो ज्यादा फास्ट हो सकता हूँ। मेरा है 420 पीपल भाई, 420 करेक्ट टाइमिंग में बोला है।
ओके,
चैट
बाद
में
में मैं
क्या
5 बजे का उठाऊं।
चलो मैं कैल का थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा ब्राउनी पॉइंट्स मिलते हैं उसके लिए। मडुएके विद नाइस रन मीनवाइल। ओके सो मुझे लग रहा है फिलिक्स माइट एक्चुअली बी प्लेइंग अप फ्रंट यार, नहीं Felix, Havertz is dropping more than Felix. So is it a sign of things to come?
दोनों ही पीछे हैं, दोनों बोथ आर डीप। आई
अच्छा
थिंक
तो
थोड़ी सी
बेसिकली
कॉन्वर्सेशन हुई
फॉल्स
है
नाइन है।
द गोली। ओए यार, दैट्स नॉट गुड।
Come on Madueke, yes bro, as in
Enzo,
Madueke was a Paqueta,
I
मतलब
like
दो,
I liked Madueke's physicality there. That was
या
good.
एग्जैक्टली।
But Enzo, but वो फोर्स हो गया था क्योंकि Enzo got beaten.
कोई नहीं, मैच शुरू हुआ अभी तो। भाई सीइंग लॉफ्टस-चीक, आई रियली थिंक द मेंटालिटी कोच हैज हिज वर्क कट आउट। अजिंक्य बोल रहे हैं भाई, लेकिन द फैक्ट इज रन वाज फ्रॉम हिम ब्रो, कम ऑन, आई नो दैट कहीं ना कहीं ही हैज टू हैव दैट किलर इंस्टिंक्ट, वो मिसिंग है लॉफ्टस-चीक में। बट भाई जहां तक मुझे याद है अजिंक्य एंड इवन मिकाइल यार, लॉफ्टस-चीक इवन ड्यूरिंग हिज एकेडमी डेज ही वाज नेवर नोन फॉर गोल स्कोरिंग, लाइक आई डोंट रिमेंबर लॉफ्टस-चीक बीइंग नोन फॉर इट। ही वाज ऑलमोस्ट लाइक, क्या बोलते हैं, मतलब poor man's Michael Ballack हम बुलाते थे, you know, he was like a potential that kind of a player who's more like, you know, with his drives, one of those players, लेकिन goal scoring सारी के अंदर किया था, but I don't remember other than that many seasons that Loftus-Cheek had a lot of goals for us. So I think somewhere down the line
यार ये Madueke मुझे पसंद आ रहा है, ये द काइंड ऑफ फिजिकल। एक टैकल मारा है उसने और वो बंदा लेट गया वेस्ट हैम का, वो
लेट
उठा ही
गया
नहीं।
बिल्कुल। और भाई इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग पकेटा है क्या, पकेटा इज फिजिकली स्ट्रांग, ऐसा
Yeah,
नहीं है कि
Paqueta, he bullied Paqueta off the ball. Paqueta fell on his, वो उड़ता हुआ गया, he fell on his shoulder.
Foreman Michael Ballack. I would have been a clear goal if RLC had released the ball. It would have been a clear. वही है प्रीतम, उसने क्रॉस करना था, उसको अर्ली क्रॉस करना था. By the time he decided to do that, he had to kind of loop that ball because of a defender or a midfielder coming back. लेकिन I must say Felix का बॉल था यार,
अब
credit to
ये
Joao
आप
Felix.
just to draw a quick comparison, not that I'm talking down to anybody, but Ziyech playing on the right wouldn't have been able to put this kind of challenge in. So थोड़ी physicality coming into you know, some of the attacking play is a welcome sight.
करेक्ट, बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट। और इनफैक्ट हाँ, इवन अदर वे अराउंड वो भी सही है ना। देखिए मडुएके इज मोर डायरेक्ट इवन ऑन विद बॉल इन द ग्राउंड। जियेक कर सकता है वो, लेकिन जियेक का है कि फर्स्ट थॉट इज लाइक लेट मी एक्चुअली यू नो टेक अ कट इन एंड देन मेक अ क्रॉस एट द फार पोस्ट। उसका पहला चीज वो है, मडुएके का पहला चीज है भाई लेट मी रन एट द डिफेंडर।
I've been waiting for that since Salah days, man. So I'm excited.
McKyle, you know it, bro. मैं तो रॉबिन स्टैन हूँ यार, मैं तो भाई I can't believe wait for it, bro. लेकिन anyway, let me not over expect from his.
हाँ नहीं, कोई थोड़ा बहुत ही दे दे यार, that's all we ask. क्योंकि बीच में 5 साल 6 साल विलियन को देखना पड़ा।
विलियन का भी फैन था मैं by the way, but हाँ, I hear you.
मैं भी था, but for other reasons, not for the
Other
his wing
reasons,
play
yeah.
necessarily, but he was a bit of a stable guy playing out from under pressure. मुझे उसलिए वो अच्छा पसंद
Actually,
है.
Willian was, let's be honest, and we cannot be unfair to him. लेकिन I think except for the 2015-16 season, I think वो ज्यादा right wing back ही खेलता था. हम बोलते थे he's playing like a right winger.
He used to do a
But
job. He used to do a job.
correct.
He used to always track back and be protecting the right side, being kind of like a extra body in midfield on that side.
Yeah, absolutely, I hear you. अच्छा, by the way, बहुत ही playing out from the back शुरू हो गया है. मतलब वापस से केपा से ना ये चीज लगता है when he is confident ना, the playing out from the back kind of starts from him. अब the same thing when he's not confident can go wrong. मतलब hopefully it stays. Badiashile यार, मतलब again मतलब calmness personified है Badiashile तो.
He's
अरे
also
भाई क्या
physically be. I think he's pretty tall player. He
अरे
looks
भाई
like
साहब स्पॉइलर आ गया ऑलरेडी चैट में. अरे भाई पहले मिस किया, लेकिन इज इट ऑफसाइड? ऑफसाइड है. अरे यार कम ऑन मैन. पुदिन पुदिन नॉटी बॉय यार. पुदिन आप पहले बोले फिलिक्स गोल, ये फिर यार आप पहले तो बोले फिलिक्स गोल, तो मैं बोला गोल हो गया. बट
नहीं, ऑफसाइड था, बहुत ज्यादा
जस्ट
ऑफसाइड.
ऑफसाइड था यार, जस्ट टू सून यार. भाई नो स्पॉयलर्स इन द चैट. पुदिन अभी भी आ गए भाई, सब लोग इन द चैट.
पता था
आई एम
ऑफसाइड
एट
है.
9-9
तो
9-10
एक्चुअली जब उसने
9-11.
पहली रन मारी ना, तो वो पास ही नहीं आया, दूसरी रन पे पास आया.
पास किसका? तियागो सिल्वा, आई थिंक सो.
नहीं, पास कौन था? ये लॉफ्टस चीक था शायद.
अच्छा, लॉफ्टस चीक भाई इंप्रूव्ड
नहीं,
ऑलरेडी.
रीस जेम्स था.
हाँ, रीस जेम्स होगा वही. आई थिंक दे नो द थ्रू पासेस टू पुट थ्रू. भाई सब लोग क्या बोल रहे हो? दिस इज मतलब फिलिक्स गिविंग अ पास टू लॉफ्टस चीक, रीस जेम्स गिविंग टू फिलिक्स. लुक्स लाइक, तो हम जो बोल रहे थे ना डायरेक्टनेस थ्रू बॉल्स, ये एक चीज पॉटर ने कॉन्शियसली डाली है. अर्ली ऑब्जर्वेशन. वेरी
करना
फ्यू
चाहिए. विद
टाइम्स.
द पेस वी हैव टू ट्राई टू गेट इन बिहाइंड, मैन.
करेक्ट. पहले 10 मिनट में 2 चांसेस मिकाइल हुआ नहीं है, मतलब बहुत बार रन
यार लेकिन वही बात है कि गोल स्टैंड होना चाहिए ना, वो स्कोर शीट नहीं बदलती.
that's the
एनीवेज
difference.
वो उसने उसको कहा है कि थोड़ा सा अपना पास जो है, वो ओवरहेड पास जो है, वो टाइम बेहतर कर. Felix
It'll
signal
come, it'll come, eventually it'll come. It's just that
Felix did the signal कि भाई इसको थोड़ा सा जल्दी.
if I'm not wrong, रीस जेम्स तो पहली बार खेल रहा होगा फिलिक्स के साथ में. हाँ, I think he was injured right when Felix made his debut for Chelsea.
यार मेरे ख्याल में काफी सारे पहली बार खेल रहे हैं इन लोगों के साथ. कि नहीं, मडुएके की एक गेम हो गई है ऑलरेडी, राइट?
हाँ, मडुएके का हो गया, लेकिन वो ये विद फिलिक्स वाज इंजर्ड. अब वो साथ में नहीं खेले. लॉफ्टस चीक, रीस जेम्स themselves coming from injury, और मडुएके और फिलिक्स नए हैं, तो I can understand.
अच्छा, it looks like almost looks like Enzo is playing further up than Loftus-Cheek sometimes.
हाँ एग्जैक्टली. तो लॉफ्टस चीक इज द होल्डिंग मैन मोर और लेस. अच्छा,
Okay.
एक गलती मैं ऑलरेडी नोटिस कर लिया मिकाइल, आई डोंट नो आपने किया है कि नहीं. व्हाइल मडुएके हैज बीन वेरी इंप्रेसिव, पीपल इन द चैट एज वेल, हम वापस सेम ही चीज कर रहे हैं. वी आर ऑल आवर अटैक्स आर गोइंग एट द रीस जेम्स साइड. मतलब वी हैव फॉरगॉटन वी हैव समवन कॉल्ड मुड्रिक. व्हाई डोंट यू यूज हिम? इट्स बीन 11 मिनट्स आफ्टर द फर्स्ट चांस, जो पहला बिटवीन फिलिक्स एंड मुड्रिक था. आई हैव नॉट सीन मुड्रिक बीइंग इन द गेम.
हाँ, वो लेफ्ट साइड से अभी कम प्ले हो रहा है. क्या करें, अब वो पीछे से कुकुरेला है उसके पीछे, तो आई डोंट एक्सपेक्ट टू मच.
Madueke, again, he tries to take on, लेकिन आई फील कि कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है जो जियेश का एक फैक्टर था, मे बी मैं थोड़ा बायस भी हो रहा हूँ जियेश के साथ, लेकिन जियेश जो स्विच ऑफ प्ले करता था ना, वो एक चीज दिखती है जियेश में ज्यादा. लेकिन अगेन वी कैन नॉट हैव एवरीथिंग राइट. सो
द आइडियल इज कि दोनों साइड से थ्रेट होना चाहिए अटैकिंग हमारा, जो कि नहीं होता आमतौर पे. चेल्सी का यूजुअली इट्स वन साइडेड threat. So now with these new players, I'm hoping at least we'll have a threat. We'll spread teams out horizontally and have a threat on both sides.
या
तो
बिल्कुल.
overload करना मुश्किल हो जाएगा against us.
अच्छा, उससे क्या होता है ना, मुड्रिक बाय द वे इज बेसिकली ऑटोमेटिकली वो थोड़ा इंटरनल रन मारता है, और फिर हमारे बंदे देखते नहीं वो रन.
नहीं,
तो
पहला
वो
रन
चीज,
तो अच्छा मारा था फिलिक्स और उसने.
हाँ लेकिन वो ये ना फिलिक्स था, तो हमारे जो पुराने बंदे थे वो लोग तो देखेंगे नहीं. अरे नाइस ट्राई यार एंजो का. एंजो हैज वन थिंग यार, ही हैज अ अटेम्प्ट ऑन गोल. वो ऐसा नहीं है कि यार ही काइंड ऑफ डज द इजी थिंग्स, व्हिच इज गुड टू सी. अगेन वाइड था, डिफिकल्ट था, आई मस्ट से. एक सेकंड, मेरा ऐप ने धोखा दे दिया भाई साहब, ये क्या हो गया? एक सेकंड, मैं यहाँ पर मिकाइल खुशी मनाते हुए, जैसे ही वो हो गया है, क्योंकि आगे था मिकाइल, मेरी बंद होगी स्ट्रीम एक सेकंड के लिए, अब वापस आता हूँ, आई विल रिफ्रेश इट, डोंट वरी, आई थिंक
नहीं
इट्स
हाँ नहीं अच्छी खेती, तो you're a good 20 seconds ahead as usual.
12:48, 12:49,
मैं फॉरवर्ड का बटन
12:50,
दबा रहा हूँ, कुछ नहीं कर रहा हूँ.
रिफ्रेश कर दोगे मिकाइल, हो जाएगा.
12:38.
हाँ हाँ, तो इट्स जस्ट अबाउट व्हाट 15 सेकंड्स अहेड.
नहीं भाई, मान गए भाई, मान गए.
नहीं, एक काम करेंगे नेक्स्ट टाइम से, एक हाफ मिकाइल से करेंगे, एक हाफ मेरे से, क्या बोलते हैं?
हाँ बिल्कुल.
मुड्रिक
जो
स्टेज टू वाइड.
जो देगा हम खुश है.
अरे भाई कम ऑन, मिकाइल बाय द वे ही इज नोजी ऑफ द चैनल ब्रो, कम ऑन. थॉमस सुचेक, ओके, सो पैकेटा गोइंग ऑफ. आई डोंट थिंक वो सस्टेन कर पा रहे हैं, इंजरी जो है, हैंड इंजरी लग रही है यार. हैंड इंजरी की क्या अब्डोमन इंजरी है? पकड़ तो अब्डोमन रहा है,
बेटा शोल्डर.
शोल्डर, ओके.
मैं बता रहा
सुचेक
हूँ.
भाई, मोर फिजिकलिटी कमिंग.
दैट्स ओ कौन आ रहा है?
थॉमस सुचेक,
हाँ
सेट पीसेस
उसका
एक्सपर्ट.
शोल्डर गया भाई, इस तरह वो बाहर गया.
I think probably there might be a dislocation. Who knows? Chest ribs, I guess. Okay, there, let's see. I'm on 13:30. Okay, Tiger Beast. I'm not too far off actually. That's great. At least subscribers साथ में यार. मैं कायल गाली देते हो, बट कोई नहीं.
14-10.
भाई वेस्ट हैम अभी तक they haven't gotten into the game. Just it's good for Chelsea, I know.
यार
But
हैवर्ट्स का बड़ा जबरदस्त इम्पैक्ट है सो फार इन द गेम. क्या ख्याल है अंकित?
अरे कम ऑन मिकाइल. लेकिन द फैक्ट इज, हमें एक्चुअली जो मडुएके ट्राई कर रहा है ना, फॉर मी एज मच एज ही इज ट्राइंग, व्हिच इज ग्रेट, ही हैज नॉट बीन एबल टू गेट थ्रू दैट डिफेंडर दैट ही हैज बीन ट्राइंग. तो आई फील दैट कहीं ना कहीं, यू नो, say Felix or Havertz should get in the box and Madueke should try to cross, or it's too early.
मेरे हिसाब से Felix will unlock them. That we have to go through Felix somehow.
अच्छा,
क्योंकि वो मैन टू मैन मार्किंग काफी चल रही है. मिडफील्ड इज crowded, so we have to play through the middle somehow, get past, step into a pocket
But-
somewhere. So Enzo is pressuring, but there are a lot of bodies in the middle.
okay, now Kukurea को बॉल मिलती है ना, Kukurea now see Mudryk is ready to make that run.
Progressing the ball. No, now he does. Okay, but he goes back again.
Goes back, exactly. Mudryk तैयार है कि भाई मैं अपने जेट स्पीड में तैयार हूँ भाई, मुझे बॉल दीजिए, but he's not giving. That's why he's not getting the ball.
तो उसको मुड्रिक ने गाली
Fabrizio
दी है,
meanwhile
तो उसने आगे
doing
से
naughty things, releasing videos during the match. By Mudryk losing the ball. अच्छा, almost Enzo got it back. Don't worry. भाई एक और इंजरी वेस्ट हैम की लग रहा है. Enzo shot. Felix, come on, nice goal, come on, get in, man. Woohoo! It is Chelsea 1, Enzo Fernandez 2, Joao Felix. We are ruining football. Bring it on, bro. Enzo Fernandez, a beautiful pass to Joao Felix in the box. I am hoping it's a goal this time. Definitely Chelsea 1, West Ham 0 away है, याद रखिए भाई. Enzo assist. Oh, Enzo Fernandez and Felix combining. Michael goosebumps
यार
already.
मैं वो रिप्ले देखने के चक्कर में हूँ कि ऑफसाइड तो नहीं था. मैं भी सेलिब्रेट नहीं कर सकता पहले यार ऑफसाइड देखना.
हाँ वो ये कुकुरिया टू
अब
एंजो.
वो बिल्डअप पे एक फाउल भी हुआ था.
Get in, man. Yes. It is basically Todd Muller has actually started tonight. वो फील हो रही है भाई मुझे तो. I know. मतलब याद है मिकाइल जो
not to toot my own horn, but अभी मैंने क्या बोला था, फिलिक्स के थ्रू कुछ होना चाहिए.
हाँ exactly, man. Michael OP in the chat, everyone भाई. Michael OP हो जाए in the chat. And Mudryk, याद देखिए, as much as he's not been in the game, Mudryk actually did not give away in that ball.
Great positioning because he ghosted in. So it wasn't Havertz up there, it was him. So they're kind of interchanging, like you said.
Yeah, what a ball in goal. बिल्कुल. Again credit to Kukurea भी, क्योंकि Kukurea kind of
भाई बोली भी खुश है.
Yeah. और यहाँ पर पता नहीं, मुझे तो ये फीलिंग आ रही है, मे बी आई एम काइंड ऑफ जस्ट बीइंग टू बायस्ड, और मे बी एक होता है ना टू पैशनेट दिस मोमेंट. मुझे लगता है जो जोसे मोरिनो के अंडर हुआ था ना, दैट ब्यूटीफुल गोल, फैब्रिगास शर्ले गोल अगेंस्ट बर्नली, I know that was a far better goal, no two ways about it. लेकिन वो एक feeling वैसे आ रही है कि कहीं ना कहीं is it the tuning of the new people which has come again?
I like where you're going, taking that. So I'm all for
I
it.
hope so.
I'm,
I hope so. It goes that way because
I'm,
it's no
I'm,
coincidence.
I'm,
Mikhail, four new signings. Mudryk, Kukurea, I know new नहीं बोलेंगे. Kukurea, Enzo or Felix. They were all involved in this goal.
nice.
हाँ
मुद्रिक का
बिल्कुल.
भी अच्छा वो effort था to recover the ball or try to recover the ball.
Yeah, he didn't give up. That's the important part. He had a bad touch though, बोलना पड़ेगा.
हाँ.
Bowen was down. Maybe West Ham की गलती थी. Bowen shouldn't have been down. He had almost like a Christensen moment. I know Barca fans, you might not relate to that. Christensen का वही क्वेश्चन था, जब थोड़ा सा हो जाता ना, उया वाला बंदा था थोड़ा बहुत कभी-कभी.
Nice pass, man. I like this Madueke under pressure found a pass still going forward. But ठीक है,
Cretin, man. Yes,
we lost
absolutely.
it in midfield again.
बिल्कुल भाई, मडुएके ने, हाँ बिल्कुल भाई, दोनों साइड से वी हैव थ्रेट. दैट्स द बेस्ट पार्ट. कहीं ना कहीं जियेश भी बोल रहा होगा, भाई टूकल के अंदर तो ये सिस्टम खिलाते नहीं थे, आप खिला रहे तो मुझे नहीं खिला रहे. बट कोई नहीं, लेट्स सी. मुद्रिक को दो भाई बॉल अभी. यस एब्सोल्युटली. कुकुरेया लुक्स गुड भाई. टचवुड पुदिन, मैं इतना नहीं बोलूंगा लुक्स गुड, लेकिन इज डूइंग हिज जॉब. सेफ खेल रहा है बंदा मिकाइल, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं कि मिस्टेक्स किया, यू नो, विद क्रेडिट टू हिम.
नहीं, आई थिंक कुकुरेला में जो गलती है वो यही है कि थोड़ा सा ओवर कमिट कर जाता है. थोड़ा सा ओवर कमिट कर जाता है इन वन ऑन वंस, इन 50-50s, इन पोजीशनिंग. थोड़ा सा ओवर कमिट कर जाता है. थोड़ा सा अगर स्लो डाउन कर ले तो आई थिंक he'll be a better player.
Enzo losing the ball, by the way. Oh, what a tackle, bro! Enzo Fernandez understands what's a derby game, bro. What a tackle!
Nice tackle. क्या क्लॉक क्या जा रही है?
मेरी है 1947, 1948.
I'm within 3 seconds of you now. So refresh helped.
I just did a refresh now.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, you don't just get awesome content, you also get technical advice. Ankit with the refresh, helping everybody catch up.
भाई लेकिन अभी यार वही है, दिस इज आवर मोमेंट जब हमने कंसीड नहीं करना है. अभी वेस्ट हैम आर सडन से अटैकिंग एंड वी आर गोइंग ऑन द बैक फुट. जस्ट वी नीड टू हैव काम पोजीशन.
क्या कर रहा है? निकाल बॉल, लॉफ्टस चीक, निकाल बॉल, निकाल. अरे यार.
Yeah, Enzo definitely brings a lot of positivity to that midfield.
What I want to see is us progressing through the middle of the park, because we have the players now to try that. वो फिर भी थोड़ा सा ना वो है, मसल मेमोरी है कि everything must
मडुएके भाई रॉबिन की याद दिला रहा है यार. I should not say this, but भाई the guy has it in him, man. He gives me those vibes.
So ये Madueke type energy चाहिए मुझे चेल्सी में. अगर if we're signing players, this is what I want to see. Like थोड़ा सा ना, ये Madueke is not a prototypical signing in terms of how he's playing, but this is always something I wanted to see him. You talk about McKyle Antonio, वो भी इसी तरह खेलता है. He's a physical player that just bursts.
Yeah, very good point.
Burst the pace.
याद है जब विक्टर मोजेस लोन पर था वेस्ट हैम में, तो एंटोनियो और विक्टर मोजेस यूज्ड टू बी द विंग्स ऑफ वेस्ट हैम एक्चुअली.
विक्टर मोजेस भी यार.
They were actually wingers both, proper. Thanks to Scaloni. Yeah, बोलना पड़ेगा यार. मतलब the fact is maybe Todd Boehly देखता नहीं वो final, and maybe he wouldn't have got Enzo Fernandez. I have to say, I know it's just one assist right now, लेकिन generally the fact is वो roam कर रहा है और Ruben Loftus-Cheek, you know, holding खेल रहा है. वो देखते हैं in the long run will it works. ये जरूर बोलना चाहूंगा, credit to Potter as well. McKyle कहीं ना कहीं that Gallagher, I wouldn't have seen him doing a holding role. You know, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is better. Wait, once again, Felix. Havertz goal, bro! We have ruined football, people. We have... Oh no, offside.
नहीं यार.
अरे भाई साहब, मुड्रिक bro, मुड्रिक. Havertz भाई नहीं होना चाहिए ऑफसाइड यार. उसका हाथ और नी शायद ऑफसाइड था. No. We have not yet ruined football. आज का कोई नहीं. Potter dancing like Arteta. Oof, offside. Oh man, this is भाई एक बार बताना चाहूंगा यार. एड्रियन रश ना बहुत दिनों बाद हुआ है. मिकाइल, agreed?
हाँ, ये बात की ना कि ये ऑनेस्टली ये सीइंग चेल्सी प्ले लाइक दिस, आई गो बैक टू जोजे 1.0 एरा,
हाँ एग्जैक्टली
रॉबिन का एरा, और डफ एंड
हाँ
गुड जॉनसन, मुझे वो वाली जो कोल, मुझे वो याद आ रहा है।
बिल्कुल, वो बारसा चेल्सी वाली 4-2 वाली मैच याद दिला दिया मतलब ऑलमोस्ट। हाँ बिल्कुल, इंटेंट, उत्कर्ष हैज अ ब्रिलियंट पॉइंट, इट्स अबाउट न्यू प्लेयर जेलिंग, यस दे विल टेक टाइम, लेकिन बी दे ब्रिंग न्यू आइडियाज, और एक इंटेंट दिखता है, एक जील दिखता है क्लियरली, और एक चांस मतलब लेना जो होता है ना, दैट आई थिंक व्हेन यू आर फ्रेश ब्लड, व्हेन यू आर यंग, यू काइंड ऑफ डू इट मोर,
बस
दैट्स
वी
वेयर
जस्ट हैव टू
Madueke,
बी
Enzo, what a ball, what a ball, what a ball, that is from, लेकिन हैवर्ट्स हक दिया है,
कुकुरेला,
ऑफसाइड है
हैवर्ट्स
पड़ेगा
अगेन ऑफसाइड, यार क्या बंदा है यार,
यार, हैवर्ट्स मैन
ऑफसाइड था
भाई,
वैसे भी आई थिंक, वो देखो ऑफसाइड का फ्लैग अप, यार you gotta
what
play,
a celebration.
भाई सीधा हो जा, जागा, इसको कोई डोज
Hey,
लगाए।
wait, was it offside? Was it not
It
right
wasn't
back keeping
offside.
him
It
on?
wasn't offside. Bowen is
Man,
playing it on.
तब तो हैवर्ट्स को और भी गाली मिलेगा, क्योंकि he should have done better with that, to be honest.
He couldn't control the ball.
Hmm. Oh,
It wasn't
but कोई
offside.
नहीं,
It wasn't
blue man.
offside. It looked
Yeah,
offside, but it wasn't offside when I see the
wasn't
replay.
off. Yeah, even I thought so. It wasn't off. But anyway, yeah, I know it's still 1-0, so we have to keep in check, especially हमारी defense
Actually
as much
होता
as
ये है
बारिश.
कि जब when we watch the live feed, right, तो वो पूरा पूरा pitch नजर नहीं आ रहा होता, so you don't necessarily see all the players.
Hmm. Okay,
I like
बहुत ही अच्छा लग रहा
Felix drops deep.
है. McKyle Felix, bro, he's giving me vibes.
This is what
Felix,
I'm talking
man.
about, right? Oi, oi, oi.
Oh, brilliant
Ooh.
stuff, man. मतलब वो चीज जो चेल्सी में एकदम मिसिंग थी ना, थ्रू द मिडल, Felix gets
Through
it.
the middle, buddy, through the middle. They have been dying through. सीधे इसको sign करो भाई.
100%. कितना 150 मिलियन खाली, come
दे
on,
दो.
get in,
दे
man.
दो. Sign the check. Sign
एक
the
सेकंड,
check.
we might concede. Bowen on the right wing. अरे भाई, केपा बचा लिया, just about बचा लिया केपा. Oh my god, this is what we do, bad
हाँ, मैं
in
actually
games.
ये कहने लगा था a few sentences ago. Okay, we are looking dangerous on the attack, but we should not concede now.
Hmm.
थोड़ा सा momentum बन रहा है, इसको we need to carry it through. थोड़ा calm down होने की जरूरत है.
राइट एंड जस्ट डेफिनेटली टाइगर बीस्ट एंड पुदिन, मैं देख रहा हूँ आप लोग के कमेंट्स, भाई पॉटर को क्रेडिट देना पड़ेगा, दैट द फैक्ट इज ही हैड द गट फाइनली टू काइंड ऑफ, एज मच एज वी माइट डिसएग्री दैट ओबामेयांग को नहीं रखा है आज स्क्वाड में, प्लस माउंट को नहीं रखा है इन द 11, गैलेगर की जगह लॉफ्टस चीक लाया है, आई थिंक दैट इज समथिंग दैट आई थिंक वी नीड टू गिव क्रेडिट टू हिम एज वेल, एज मच एज जूरी स्टिल आउट and was just not even 1.5 of a game, लेकिन I believe so. Felix एक ऐसा बंदा है ना जो ओपन अप करेगा डिफेंसेस, एंड दैट्स समथिंग दैट वी हैव बीन मिसिंग थ्रू द मिडल. ओके, सूचेक ऑन द रन.
Mudryk वापस आया है just to see the ball back, like defensively. He's also participating.
But we are still not using Mudryk, or am I being too critical? We are not using Mudryk to his
Yeah, the problem is we're not using Mudryk. Who's going to feed him the ball? Cucurella has to feed him the ball, right? Or Enzo
he's not
has
confident to do that right
तो
now.
वो Cucurella थोड़ा सा अभी hesitate कर रहा है on the turn.
Yeah.
Almost वो वाली बात है कि एक तो बाल बहुत ज्यादा है उसके, तो उसको
मैं तो भाई बोल भी दिया था, हेडलेस चिकन जैसे भागते रहता है.
वो साइड में मिरर, रेड में मिरर लगाने पड़ेंगे उसको, तो सी के पीछे क्या हो रहा है.
People imagine Kukurea with the mirror. Oh my god, why you can only get on Almighty Blues this week, bro. We are bantering our players, but having a laugh.
I'm trying to give solutions. वो कहता है मैं बाल नहीं बांधता, तो मैं क्या करूं फिर.
भाई हैवर्ट्स का हाथ ऑफसाइड था यार, कम ऑन. दिखा रहे वापस जो गोल मारा कुकुरिया का, वो एक पास बहुत अच्छा था भाई, वो कुकुरिया का मस्त है, जो हैवर्ट्स का गोल था जो ऑफसाइड करार दिया गया. भाई हाथ ऑफसाइड.
That was a good pass, but वो पास जो है वो मुड्रिक को किस तरह जाएगा, मुझे ये नहीं समझ आ रही.
Pritam is like he cannot believe it. What's he watching? I can't trust Kepa with life right now. अरे कोई नहीं यार, करेगा देखते हैं. अभी तो क्लीन शीट ही है
यार. कुकुरेला को बॉडी ब्लॉक किया, ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन, और हॉकी में देते हैं ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन.
ओह मैं हो गया. चलो भाई, घन. As much as we were celebrating, we concede. And Emerson scores 1-1. Kukurea letting the cross in, और एमरसन एट द फार पोस्ट, नॉट सेलिब्रेटिंग फर्स्ट, लेकिन बाद में इतने सारे वेस्ट हैम वाले कंग्रेचुलेशन बोले तो स्माइल आ गई चेहरे पर. भाई मिकाइल यहाँ पर बोलते हुए भाई ये क्या हो गया
भाई बोला था आपको कि कंसीड नहीं करना चाहिए, लेकिन कर दिया, वही वाली बात।
भाई कुकुरेया व्हाट वाज ही डूइंग इन दैट मोमेंट आई डोंट नो सच में बोलूं तो अच्छा मे बी
नहीं
मुड्रिक
वो
मे बी
फार साइड।
मुड्रिक आल्सो
हाँ,
मुड्रिक कुकुरेया बार्डिशेल तीनों के मिस्टेक्स थे ऑल द थ्री
the
लॉस्ट देयर
mistake
मैन
mistake was I would say the only person that could have done anything was
रीस जेम्स
नहीं नहीं, even not even Reece James. वो पीछे Madueke should have watched his run.
या नहीं एक्चुअली मेरा ये है ना देखिए वी
वो
हगेड
देखो कहाँ से
क्रॉसेस
आ रहा है, वो कोई है ही नहीं वहां पे उस साइड पे, so
नो
somebody needs to track that run.
my thing is that we suck at crosses anyway why when Mudryk
ये
and Kukurea are
बैक
there their
फोर में ये
job is to
प्रॉब्लम
not
है,
allow that
बैक फोर में दिस इज आवर प्रॉब्लम, दिस एग्जैक्ट सिचुएशन इज आवर प्रॉब्लम कि वो जो लोन मैन रन होती है ना, गोस्ट इन बिहाइंड, वो नोबडी का बैक फोर में हमारा nobody is there to check it. Unfortunately, yeah, over and over, you can go back over the years. This is how we concede.
एंड व्हाट ये क्या हो रहा है यार विलियन स्कोर कर रहा है चेल्सी का अगेंस्ट एमरसन स्कोर कर रहा है भाई ऐसे मत करिए यूज्ड टू बी
But
आर
this was, in my mind, this is a tactical problem. Okay, there was just like, okay, fine. I would argue Madueke should have tracked that run, but it's not easy to say that because ball दूसरी side से आ रहा है, so everybody's
नहीं
looking at the ball.
मैं तो यार बोल रहा हूँ देखो क्या हो ना कुकुरेया काइंड ऑफ गॉट सक्ड इन तो कुकुरेया वेंट डीप and that moment it was Mudryk's job in my personal opinion to kind of cover that man क्योंकि क्रॉस वहां से आने वाला है अगर वापस बैक पास करता तो it wouldn't have been bad लेकिन Mudryk and Kukurea both I think lost their men and I think it was easier for the cross to come in and बाद में I agree with you लेकिन anyway it is what it is now
Short corner, chipped into the box, clear.
मैन अब लग रहा है वो हाथ वाला ऑफ साइड भाई कमिंग टू द हैंड ऑफ साइड पीपल व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट दैट हैवर्ड्स गिवन ऑफ साइड बिकॉज ऑफ हिज राइट एल्बो
The elbow is part of the score. अच्छा, वो रूल चेंज हो गया आपके, it any part of the body.
पता नहीं एज इन व्हाट आई
एल्बो से
अंडरस्टैंड
गोल होता
अगर
है, एल्बो से गोल करता है कोई
एग्जैक्टली नहीं ना
मैराडोना के अलावा?
ओ एक सेकंड हो भाई ओ मैन डोंट टेल मी लॉफ्टस चीक रियली प्लेइंग इट वेरी वेरी रिस्की फुटबॉल लेकिन समहाउ वी गेट आउट ऑफ जेल भाई रीस जेम्स का पास कर मेरे भाई क्या कर रहा है एनीवे वी विनिंग अ फ्री किक रीस जेम्स विनिंग अ फ्री किक भाई लॉफ्टस चीक हार्ट वाज इन माय माउथ कर
Yeah,
क्या रहा था वो बंदा
Loftus Cheek भी नहीं था. It was Loftus Cheek had his back to the
केपा
people. तो Kepa should have cleared the ball. अब वो प्रॉब्लम ये है कि ये जो सिचुएशन होती है जहां पे दे वांट द गोलकीपर टू प्ले आउट फ्रॉम अंडर प्रेशर, ये मुझे कभी समझ नहीं आई कि भाई व्हाट आर यू वेटिंग फॉर, जस्ट क्लियर द बॉल. यू प्ले आउट फ्रॉम अंडर प्रेशर. अगर थोड़ा सा आपके पास टाइम हो सोचने का, अगर टाइम ही नहीं है सोचने का, जस्ट क्लियर.
वहीं पर मुझे जूमा की याद आती जूमा होता ना क्लियर कर देता बस एक सेकंड में
Like there is a balance somewhere in there. You cannot. Oh
फिलिक्स मैन
my God.
भाई हैवर्ट्स को कॉम्प्लेक्स नहीं हो रहा क्या फिलिक्स इतना अच्छा खेल रहा है हैवर्ट्स तू भी अपना गेम अप कर यार कम ऑन
ठीक है, क्या कर रहे हो भाई? गोल दूसरी तरफ है, उस साइड पे पास करो.
क्लीन स्ट्रीट हाँ यार कहीं ना कहीं होना ही था पुदिन इट वाज टू गुड टू बी ट्रू दैट दिस चेल्सी इज कीपिंग यू नो क्लीन शीट्स जो फॉर्म में रही है लास्ट फ्यू मंथ्स में बट नाइस रन लॉफ्टस चीक भाई थियागो सिल्वा लॉफ्टस चीक हैविंग अ मोमेंट लेकिन लॉफ्टस चीक हकते हुए उसके बाद में बट अगेन विनिंग द बॉल भाई लॉफ्टस चीक ने मेरा सुन लिया है लगता है बट अगेन गिविंग द बॉल अवे भाई लॉफ्टस चीक ये वाइब्स तो हमेशा रहेंगे यार लॉफ्टस चीक के जो भी बोलो लेकिन वाइब्स के अलावा फिनिशिंग भी कर ले कभी कभी आई थिंक वेस्ट हैम इज ऑन फ्रंट फुट गौरव एंड एवरीवन इन द हाउस जो भी बोल रहे हैं ना कि व्हेन वी वेंट ऑन बैक
playing on the break on the counter, so we have to be careful. ओवर कमिट कर रहे थे हम थ्रू आउट, क्योंकि एंजो भी बहुत ऊपर आगे निकल जाता है. सो वी आर ओवर कमिटिंग. इसीलिए मैंने उस वक्त भी कहा था कि वी हैव टू बी केयरफुल नॉट टू कंसीड, क्योंकि एंजो इज जस्ट बॉम्बिंग फॉरवर्ड. तो पीछे रह कौन गया फिर? दो सेंटर बैक्स एंड मे बी लॉफ्टस चीक. So we have to be
अच्छा
careful.
विशाल by the way just to correct भाई 70 million plus 30 है but I hear you first touch is not the best in the world but nowhere near that यार in fact वो गोल जो हुआ है उसमें he was involved and it doesn't matter he is
Instead
still
of
an electric forward
instead of Osimhen, I would want us to go in for Joao Felix.
लेकिन जाओ फिलिक्स अगेन ही is so involved कि मैं देखता हूँ इज अ कैम यार That's the main thing. Nkunku forward and Cam Joao Felix. Maybe that's what the solution is. Anyway, Osimhen तो आने नहीं वाला है. Napoli कहाँ तो करेगी वापस business हमारे साथ. What is Kepa doing? Yeah, that's also one. Chelsea lacks positioning. यार देखिए, the fact is, I think we are in that situation जहाँ पर opposition attacks us ना, we kind of go into a shell. वो दिख रहा है. लेकिन Madueke को for example अभी last few minutes में ball नहीं मिली है. I don't even remember how Madueke getting the ball. Havertz is better, लेकिन again, I want him to do.
मुझे फीलिंग ये हो रही है कि हम एक और गोल खाएंगे इस वक्त अगर इसी तरह खेलते रहे, because we haven't adjusted our positioning necessarily. हम उसी तरह सारे forward पहुंचे हुए.
Do you see an extra midfielder coming in?
I think the game needs it because we need somebody to protect the break. या क्या है, इसको किसी को कहो कि डीप जरा थोड़ा.
Madueke! Oh, what a shot, man! No, nice save, यार, nice save भाई. Mudryk, कर भाई कुछ. Mudryk कर कुछ. अच्छा, जाओ फिलिक्स करेगा कुछ. जाओ फिलिक्स. Oh, nice cross, लेकिन too high for Madueke. Yes, absolutely. Graham Potter in the house, people. Come on, उस बात पर सब लोग लाइक बटन दबा दीजिए. भाई चेक इंस्टा में करता हूँ यार. अभी मैच चल रहा है, करेंगे हाफ टाइम में. डेली सीएफसी फोकस. नाइस टू सी यू. Don't forget to like the stream as well as subscribe if you have not subscribed to both the channels.
Good shot, man. Left-footed, far post, full stretch पे गोली ने रोकी है. थोड़ा सा ऊपर मारता ना तो गोल था. थोड़ा सा अगर it would have gone higher. यही मैं कह रहा हूँ ना, ये टॉप कॉर्नर वाली जो शूटिंग होती है ना, this.
Oh man, एक second, we are gone. Thiago Silva got beaten, but just about getting a challenge in. Whew. This is difficult, bro, to watch.
रिकवरी की उसने फिर भी.
हाँ, रिकवरी की है लेकिन काउंटर में, you know,
corrected the error and was able to get in a last ditch tackle. Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Huge save.
I'll come back to you, daily CFC focus. Maybe
huge save
later on. Thanks for that.
Ui.
नहीं, इम्प्रूवमेंट तो हुआ यार. कैसे नहीं हुआ अर्पिता? कम ऑन.
Mudryk with the ball breaking.
Mudryk, come on. Mudryk, ball there. Come on, Enzo.
Take it all the way.
यार, Enzo should have gotten shot.
अरे यार, शूट क्यों किया?
Wrong pass, you think, or too late? Nice break था लेकिन. Mudryk will help us in these European matches. I can see him doing very well.
This is how we need to play, Ankit Bhaiya, on the break. With this pace, if we can break, we can hurt them.
Yeah.
हम थोड़ा सा overcommit कर रहे हैं. I think that's the wrong play. बहुत आगे निकल जा रहे हैं. We're losing our shape. I think we need to sit a little deeper, let them come at us, and let's hit them on the break.
Yeah, and Enzo can sit and pass, यार. मतलब वो ability
Enzo overcommit कर रहा है. It's making me nervous. थोड़ा सा we need to positionally just be a little compact. थोड़ा सा पीछे होके खेलें. Let them come at us, and then overhead pass, break through the lines.
I think he needs to realize that it's Loftus-Cheek next to him and not N'Golo Kante. भाई McKyle है, Graham Potter. It's strange that you don't know till now. Graham Potter तो regularly आते हैं. Come on, McKyle. उनका always रहता है. Every description in Almighty Blues FC has McKyle, mentioned in the description because he's also an Almighty coach, OG member of the channel. Coachella also भाई shout out है उनको भी. Couple of founding members मैं तो बोलता हूँ almost.
कोचेला की स्ट्रीम चल रही होगी दूसरी साइड पे.
हाँ, कोचेला की स्ट्रीम भी चल रही होगी.
वो बड़ी गालियां देगा. मैं कभी नहीं जाता उसकी स्ट्रीम पे.
भाई Felix, man. it's almost like Felix अकेला भाई बोल रहा है भाई कोई ना कोई मुझे रन दो, कोई मुझे क्वालिटी दो, मैं कर दूंगा, बस मुझे सपोर्ट चाहिए आसपास. चलो जी, रेफरी ने ऑफसाइड दे दिया. किसको बायर्न म्यूनिख चैंप ना प्रेडिक्शन देते हैं भाई. व्हाट हैज हैपेंड?
Who was offside? When was offside? Who was offside? कुछ समझ नहीं आया.
Maybe Felix himself. पता नहीं, थोड़ा सरप्राइजिंग लगा मुझे भी डिसीजन, बट एनीवे रिप्ले देखेंगे तो पता लगेगा. I feel that maybe Felix he picked up the ball from an offside position and then he kind of came inside. But everyone, I wouldn't say it's been a Declan Rice show. मतलब ये भी नहीं बोल सकता. मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि यार उन्होंने एक डोमिनेट किया. Just the transition में we have got beaten, right, McKyle?
हाँ, I think थोड़ा सा एडजस्ट करने की जरूरत है अपना टीम शेप को.
तो कैसे
We have the
4-3-3
pace
what
now.
you're saying?
For the first time in a long time, we have the pace to run 30-40 yards and still get a shot on goal. थोड़ा सा अपनी pace, थोड़ा सा compact हो जाए, थोड़ा सा deep हो जाए, and then bomb forward then.
सूफाल विद भाई सेट पीस होते ही मुझे डर लगता है यार ऑपोजिशन का.
खास तौर पे वेस्ट हैम.
हाँ, they are pretty good at it. In fact, that's the main
गोल
weapon.
ही इस तरह करते हैं आमतौर पे वेस्ट हैम वाले.
एंजो, हैवर्ट्स, भाई कुछ करना इस बार, कुछ करना. हैवर्ट्स नाइस पास यहाँ पे. फिलिक्स नहीं यार, अच्छा टैकल यार, लेकिन फाउल है. सूचक फाउलिंग. फिलिक्स मेरे ख्याल से थोड़ा सॉफ्ट बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन फिलिक्स यूजिंग एक्सपीरियंस एट द यूरोपियन लेवल यहाँ
I
पर.
think Felix should take the free kick this time.
He has you have a great point. Felix actually has a good free kick on him. Ayush, if you know. I know this, what you're saying. Nice comment, yaar. Nice comment. नहीं, McKyle अपने साइड से यार, he's just that he lives abroad, लेकिन again McKyle can converse in Hindi, Urdu, English, whatever you want. That's what McKyle.
Englishman in New York. नहीं भाई. अपना
Felix तो चाहिए यार.
representing the club World Cup champions all over the world.
बिल्कुल. Let's say as much as we can right now. भाई मैं थोड़ा सा लेट ऑर्डर कर दिया, नहीं तो आज दोनों साथ में पहनते.
Big up to the chat, by the way.
ग्रैम पॉटर मांग रहे कि ग्रैम पॉटर बेचारे के पास नहीं है ना वो.
अरे पॉटर के पास नहीं है तो फिर किसके पास है?
हाँ.
We have to fix this. We have to fix this. अरे एक लेट गया. कौन लेट गया भाई?
मुड्रिक पता नहीं. I don't know if he has free kick. Felix is taking. भाई आज McKyle बन रहे हैं अपने कोच. ग्रैम पॉटर बाय बाय. McKyle, come on. नाइस. नाइस सेव यार. एक तो वेस्ट हैम का कीपर बहुत सही लगता है मुझे. कॉर्नर है. नाइस अटेम्प्ट.
कॉर्नर. फैबियांस्की है, वो बदमाश है. वो पूरा साल कुछ नहीं करेगा चेल्सी के खिलाफ. ही टर्न इनटू प्राइम.
वो उसका है लंदन डार्बीज में ही स्टैंड्स अप, बिकॉज़ ही वाज एन एक्स आर्सेनल प्लेयर ना, तो स्टैंड्स अप वो रहता है उसका हमेशा.
शॉर्ट कॉर्नर लेंगे हमारी
तो कॉर्नर में. हाँ, बाडियाशेल
पीसेस में से वी हैव टू स्टार्ट स्कोरिंग मैन. ये गैप.
बाडियाशेल इज अ वेपन. हां, बाडियाशेल अब देखो, ही हैज बीन प्रीटी. अरे यार, ही शुड हैव डन बेटर यहां पर. ही शुड हैव एटलीस्ट.
दैट वाज द क्लियर हेडर मैन. बाडियाशेल
he has बाडियाशेल का है प्रेजेंस है, ये तो बोलना पड़ेगा. he has a presence for sure.
नहीं, he definitely I like his physicality as well. तो लंबा है, तगड़ा है.
Come on people, we need a win.
अंकित क्या लगता है कुलिबाली का क्या फ्यूचर है?
कुलिबाली तो आज तो स्क्वाड में ही नहीं है. हो सकता है चैंपियंस लीग में स्क्वाड में है. मे बी he'll play in the midweek. हो सकता है.
अच्छा हाँ, Madueke is not in Champions League.
करेक्ट. लेकिन आई वाज सरप्राइज्ड दैट आप स्क्वाड में क्यों नहीं डालोगे यार. गिव हिम सम मिनट्स. अगर हम लीड कर रहे हैं, वी नीड एन एक्स्ट्रा डिफेंडर. लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं वही बड़ी स्क्वाड हो जाती है, डिफिकल्ट होता है. हैवर्ट्स इज अ नाइस रन. रीस जेम्स एंड हैवर्ट्स हैविंग अ स्लाइट मोमेंट. कुकुरिया को दिया है भाई. कुकुरिया वापस से पीछे खेलेंगे. हाँ, वही हो गया एज एक्सपेक्टेड. Kukurea has had a mixed bag. I must say Kukurea is
to be fair, वो जिस सिचुएशन में बैक पास कर रहा है कॉन्स्टेंटली, वो सिचुएशन में मुड्रिक इज मार्क्ड. तो मुड्रिक को चाहिए थोड़ा सा ड्रॉप बैक करे टू एक्सेप्ट द बॉल एंड देन take it forward, take on the defender.
Absolutely.
He's waiting at the front instead of actually coming back towards Cucurella.
Main चीज क्या हो रही है ना, प्रॉब्लम उन दोनों में. Both should be overlapping each other.
Come on, referee. Oh, come on. That's a foul.
Anyway, play
उसको पीछे से टैकल किया, अगले ने रेफरी ने फाउल नहीं दिया यार. कम ऑन. क्या उसको वो he is playing advantage?
Yeah, I think it's playing advantage, but yeah, it's not a card maybe, so I don't think it's going to call back.
Felix पीछे से टैकल क्या होता है? कार्ड होना चाहिए.
देखते हैं if he calls back for a card later. भाई कुकुरेया अगेन यार गोइंग टू हिज नॉर्मल स्टेप्स, मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, वो ये जैसे मिकाइल ने बोला, मे बी ही नीड्स मोर प्रोटेक्शन, बी इट फ्रॉम मिडफील्ड और बी फ्रॉम मुड्रिक. मुड्रिक डेफिनेटली कार्ड है यार भाई, कम ऑन
Come
Come
on, man.
on.
That's a yellow at least.
It's crazily bad यार, that tackle was really late. भाई रेड कार्ड तो नहीं था पुदिन, लेकिन डेफिनेटली येलो, येलो तो शू इन येलो, येलो कार्ड भी नहीं दिया. शॉकिंग, कांट
कुछ भी नहीं
बिलीव इट.
दिया. रेफरी जो है बदमाश निकल रहा है.
और ये पहली बार नहीं हो रहा, लास्ट
Same old,
तीनों मैच में देखो चेल्सी के.
same old यार. वो चेल्सी के खिलाफ सब चलता है.
चलो कोई नहीं, 2 मिनट बाकी है भाई हाफ टाइम के लिए. एवरीवन इन द चैट.
यार ये this Mudryk will have to get used to. आपको पता ही है ईडन हैजार्ड के साथ क्या करते थे
Oh yes.
पूरी लीग. So Mudryk will also have to learn to take the hits.
But I cannot wait for Ben Chilwell to come back. With all due respect to Kukurea यार, I think
Cucurella is underwhelmed. I expect more from him. वो कह रहे हैं कि कुछ पर्सनल लाइफ में कुछ चल रहा है चक्कर. I don't know क्या
हाँ
चल रहा है.
हाँ चल रहा तो है, लेकिन अगेन यार मतलब
डिस्ट्रैक्टेड
I
है,
still-
फोकस नहीं है. फर्क तो पड़ता है. केपा इज द बिगेस्ट एग्जांपल. फर्क तो पड़ता है. बट मैं सिर्फ इतना कहूंगा कि अगर बाल ही बांध ले तो थोड़ा फर्क पड़ जाएगा.
आई थिंक डेविड लुइस ने एक सीजन में किया था हेयर कट ना, मुझे याद है.
बाल नहीं, मैं
Maybe-
काटने को नहीं कह रहा, सिर्फ बांधने को कह रहा हूँ. बांध ले. सब लंबे बाल सबके होते हैं. मुड्रिक के भी लंबे बाल हैं. वो थोड़ा सा बांध ले उनको यार. कुछ आगे लेफ्ट राइट पे नजर आना शुरू हो जाए.
हाँ
क्योंकि वो जो आपका ग्लांस
मुद्रिक है,
बैक होता है ना,
मडुएके.
दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड.
एक सेकंड भाई, ये जो बंदा है ना, कौन है राइट बैक, सुफाल. हाउ हैज ही नॉट गॉट अ येलो कार्ड स्टिल? पीपल प्लीज हेल्प मी आउट, यूट्यूब
कुकरेला
फैंस
को
इन द
foul.
चैट. आई कांट बिलीव इट भाई, इसको येलो कार्ड अभी तक मिला नहीं. सीरियसली
Stamp on the foot.
अगेन द सेम प्लेयर नॉट गेटिंग येलो कार्ड, और इज ही इज नॉट गॉट अ येलो कार्ड. मिकाइल क्या हो रहा है?
Oh, referee
भाई
is
मेरा
smiling,
टाइम
man. Referee is trying to keep a straight face. उसको हंसी आ रही है.
4450 अर्पिता, 4451, 4452, 4453. मैं डाल नहीं रहा स्क्रीन पर क्योंकि अगेन
हाँ नहीं,
वर्ल्ड कप के
डाली,
दौरान.
लेकिन बोलते रहेंगे. लेकिन हम 44-57. तो मैं I'm about 3-4 seconds behind you.
चलो नाइस. तो द टेक इन मिकाइल हैज कम बैक. सुफल इतना फाउल्स कर रहा है, नो वार्निंग नो कार्ड. वाओ, देखते हैं अगर हो सकता है अक्यूमुलेशन ऑफ फाउल्स वाला कार्ड मिले उसको, लेकिन मेरे ख्याल से दो फाउल्स ऑफ आई थिंक ईच ऑफ देम मिकाइल आर्गुएबली दोनों ही येलो कार्ड होने चाहिए.
अगर ये चेल्सी वाले कर रहे होते ना, तो अब तक कार्ड पे कार्ड निकल आए होते. वो होम टीम को थोड़ा सा प्रीमियर लीग में ना, वो एक कल्चर है, एडवांटेज देते हैं. होम टीम कैन प्ले अ लिटिल रफर.
नॉट श्योर यार, मतलब आई रिमेंबर इवन इन द फुलहम गेम वी वर नॉट गिवन एडवांटेज. मे बी इट्स
नहीं, हमें तो कोई एडवांटेज नहीं देता पूरी लीग में. वैसे बात कर रहा हूँ, जनरली कल्चर होता है कि आप जब होम क्राउड में जाते हो तो होम क्राउड की टीम के अगेंस्ट आप ज्यादा कॉल्स नहीं करते एज रेफरी.
Agreed. Okay, Bardeshil clearing the ball. By second half of the first half, we have done more defensive work than attack. वो हुआ है, but again West Ham को भी देना पड़ेगा क्रेडिट कि कहीं ना कहीं they have come back in the game. Physicality दिखाई उन्होंने, थोड़ा सा shit housery भी किया है with the referee helping. I know that, but somewhere down the line it comes back to that moment जहाँ पर कुकुरेया ने ही डाला था वो बॉल, हावर्ट्स को ऑफसाइड करार दिया गया था. In my opinion, knee wasn't offside, it was just his elbow. Maybe you can say shoulder, but I don't think it was a shoulder. It was just above the elbow, which is not considered as the portion you score a goal with.
कुकरेला बीट हो गया.
और फिर कुकुरिया and Mudryk got beaten, where we got beaten on the far post with Reece James and Madueke not going enough.
ये एम्पायर की हवा खराब है. ये कौन है?
पता नहीं यार, मतलब सब एक जैसी है, एक ही थाली के चिट्टे पिट्टे. भाई एंजो फर्नांडिस क्या हुआ, क्या लूजिंग द बॉल?
Enzo is from what I'm seeing today, Enzo is playing with his head down. ऊपर नहीं देख रहा कि कौन है उसके to spot the pass. लेकिन अच्छा चैलेंज किया, रिकवर किया बॉल, रिकवर किया, कुकरेला को दिया, कुकरेला clears it. Good. चलो, at least he's getting stuck in.
Yeah. नहीं एग्जैक्टली पुतिन, दैट्स व्हाट ही सेड कि यार चेल्सी का तो डिसएडवांटेज मोर और लेस रहता ही है, लेकिन बाकी टीम्स के लिए बोल रहे थे मिकाइल ऑब्वियसली. रेटिंग ऑफ एंजो अंटिल नाउ, विल कम टू द प्लेयर रेटिंग्स. अर्पिता, जस्ट होल्ड ऑन टिल हाफ टाइम टॉक्स. अगेन रीस जेम्स, आई मस्ट से वो दिख रहा है कि इज कमिंग बैक फ्रॉम इंजरी.
The only way Chelsea can get favorable decisions consistently is कि हम पेप को हैक कर लें. उसके अलावा कुछ आ रहा नहीं.
You heard it there, people.
ओए, oh nice dummy.
मैंने तो ऑलरेडी मना कर दिया कि भाई मुझे नहीं चाहिए मैनेजर जो चेल्सी को देखता है बैकअप अगर उसकी क्लब होती है इन्वॉल्व.
वैसे बात कर रहा हूँ कि जो वो पेप जहाँ जाता है उसके रेफरी उसको फेवर करते हैं.
Decisions wise. Like, let's be honest, as much as I know that he was one of the GOATs, like in Sir Alex Scanner, we all know that. that it was all by Joe added time, Fergie time.
Yeah.
कुछ तो गड़बड़ वाला मामला
But
था वहाँ.
there is something to be said for that, Ankit. If you think back to Jose in his element, so Jose used to manage the 90 minutes of the game. कि वो पहले 80 minutes he would try to just keep a even score line, and then the last 10 minutes he would just say, okay, now go all out and try to score me one goal and let's close the match.
Yeah. Or if you're leading, the other way around. Exactly.
When we go and score one goal in the first half, there is too much left on the clock now. So are we going to now sit back and try to defend that lead? Are we going to keep attacking and risk getting scored on? तो थोड़ा सा ये गेम मैनेजमेंट इन गेम मैनेजमेंट जो है ना ये मैनेजर की टैक्टिक्स होती हैं थोड़ी सी कि भाई आर वी गोना अटैक फ्रॉम द गेट गो एंड इफ वी आर then what how are we going to deal with the counters?
I hope this corner referee लेने दे यार भाई. रेफरी टाइम अप हो गया लेकिन लेने दे कॉर्नर. फुल टाइम हाफ टाइम का मत देना विसल. कॉर्नर जीता है भाई मडुएके ने अगेंस्ट एमरसन. Let's see, Pepper. Then I think it's kahin na kahin Potter also is learning. Hopefully, he's learning the in-game management, tactics.
No pressure, but you have to announce the goal. Jaldi se batao.
Felix checking the corner by the way, not Madueke. Nice body shell again on the ball, lekin nahi. First half is ended, and yes, people, by it has ended first half 1-1. जो शुरुआत हुई थी बोलना चाहूंगा डेफिनेटली बहुत दिनों के बाद में एक्साइटमेंट दिखा. आई नो लिवरपूल के साथ भी दिखा था थोड़ा मुड्रिक का, but as a team I must say that there was excitement. I cannot deny. Again, जो भी लोग जुड़े हैं, first of all, भाई McKyle OP in the chat हो जाए सबसे पहले, ठीक है. Secondly, लाइक कर दीजिए स्ट्रीम. Thirdly, अगर हो सके तो मेरा कम्युनिटी पोस्ट लाइक करिए, आप शेयर कर सकते हो. That is always an option. I would like to have opinion of everyone here. And McKyle, starting from you again, I know that early signs lag rahe the going through the middle. We created two big chances in the first 10 minutes. I think एक offside करार दिया गया था. Again, Felix with his run. McKyle ने बोल दिया था. Again, McKyle obviously बोला है भाई. McKyle ने बोल दिया था Felix is the guy who will probably get that one. Havertz not really great, but I think Loftus-Cheek का पहले रन था जहां तक Felix ने उसको थ्रू बॉल दिया था. फिर रीस जेम्स ने दिया था Felix के लिए. That we missed. But at the end of the day, Mudryk, जिसको नहीं खेला गया इतना, in the game, he kept the ball. Kukurea giving it back here, and then that Enzo Fernandez ball, यार मतलब किसकी याद दिलाता वो Enzo Fernandez ball. I know it's maybe too romantic to put it that way, but remember I gave एक relation दिया जो Fabregas की ball थी वो Shirley ना, वो वाला चीज moment about Fabregas being a new player, Shirley was newish. यहाँ पर kind of a moment था with these people involved. What do you think?
Sometimes you have to do the basics, right? So there was a pass to be made. He made it. Somebody got to the end of it. Felix got to the end of it. There was no drill. It was just putting the ball in a dangerous area, right? And sometimes that works. And I hope that we keep asking those kind of questions. I think for me, the player of the first half for us has been Felix. He has been the difference. He has been in part of every good move that we have made. I think इस बंदे को खरीदना बहुत जरूरी है. इतने पैसे फेंक रहे हैं मार्केट में लेफ्ट राइट एंड सेंटर. We have to lock this guy down somehow in summer because he is going to give us that next dimension. Otherwise we are not playing through the middle at all. The way he is just dribbling through the press. He's dribbling through bodies, and that creates the danger then for everybody else to come in and ghost in and give supporting runs.
Anshul is already in tears seeing that we are playing from the middle. See, that is the thing. Potter का ये again, I know that we'll be talking about every game, every tactic हम बात करेंगे. Again, उसके लिए आप लोगों को like button भी दबाना भाई. सब come on, let's get in with more likes. Let's stamp that button.
Made it look easy.
What Chelsea could have done.
Made it look easy. What a pass by the number 5, Enzo, and nice tuck in by Felix.
बिल्कुल
But this team is starting to give me vibes, but yeah, defensively we're still a question mark. जो कि when we play back four, I say it again, we are always we are always vulnerable. वो जो far side switch of flank होता है या वो ghost in होता है player, वो हमेशा से back four में हमारा problem रहा है. If you can go back 20 years, it's always been our downfall. That player ghosting in on the far side. So we have to learn
वो
to track
बैलेंस
that
होना
run.
जरूरी ना. आई थिंक जेम्स और कुकुरेया नो हैवंट गॉट दैट ट्यूनिंग गोइंग. एक होता ना विद चिल्वेन एंड जेम्स, दे हैड दैट. उनको पता था. आई नो बैक फोर में इतना खिला नहीं उन लोग ने, बट समहाउ आई गेट दैट फीलिंग दैट दे नो व्हेन जेम्स इज अप, Chilwell drops back, he becomes that extra, central man as well sometimes.
Like
Which
if
is
you look at,
something which,
I'm just looking at that replay, and Madueke is just standing there ball watching, right? So that's where we have
that's
to put in
correct.
that. We have to throw that run off somehow. Somebody has to track that run. You can say James could have been that guy, but James is a little out of position to track that run. So the only person that had a chance was Madueke, and he's just
Madueke.
ball watching. So I would question, from a coaching perspective, we have to have that talk as a team. We have to have the awareness to see who's not marked, who's ghosting, and whether the ball's not there or not. Somebody has to track that run.
या एग्जैक्टली भाई. देखिए शाहरुख, यही आप बहुत लोग बोल रहे कुकुरेया पे बहुत गाली पड़ रही है उस पर. एक मैं अगेन विल कम टू द नेगेटिव पार्ट ऑफ इट. उसके पहले एक मोमेंट था, एंड आई वांट एवरीवन इन द चैट टू गेट इन्वॉल्वड. यहाँ पर मैं छोटा स्क्रीन पे देख रहा था, सो दैट इट बेसिकली डज नॉट लैग फ्रॉम द चैट, अनलाइक मिखाइल जो कुछ नहीं थे उसके बारे में. लेकिन यहाँ पर कुकुरेया ने एक बहुत ही बढ़िया, फॉर अ चेंज, एज मच एज कुकुरेया शुड गेट, इन माय ओपिनियन he should have blocked that cross first of all. नहीं तो अगर वो बाकी वो बैक ऑफ किए तो भाई मुड्रिक को करना चाहिए था रन इवन बिफोर Madueke कैन रीच हिम. लेकिन बिफोर दैट कुकुरेया ने एक बहुत अच्छा बॉल दिया था, ब्यूटीफुल, वर्ल्ड क्लास, मैं तो बोलता हूँ बहुत ही रेयर मोमेंट, जहां पर कुकुरेया ने दिया था टू हैवर्ट्स. हैवर्ट्स वाज ऑफसाइड एटलीस्ट 3-4 टाइम्स इन द फर्स्ट 20 मिनट्स. लेकिन उस मोमेंट में आप लोग बोलिए, फॉर मी आज तक मुझे रूल समझ में नहीं आया. नो लाइन दिखता है तो आप डिबेट नहीं कर सकते हो, लेकिन रूल इज इट नॉट डिबेटेबल. हाउ इज the portion, the elbow region on the offside, it was not his knee. Correct me if I'm wrong, everyone in the chat. Havertz ने किया था, that goal was ruled out, and I'm pretty sure यहाँ पर Premier League, I don't know if you guys are listening at home, ये 100% शुरू वो लोग वो उसको दिखाएंगे, मेरी बात भी नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन हम तो बात करेंगे उसके बारे में. I feel that rule कहीं ना कहीं जो वही होता है ना, जो 19-20 वाला मामला होता है, it we feel at least it goes against Chelsea. But Havertz in general, Mikhail, assessment of Havertz as well. I know Kukurea पर तो हम बात कर ही रहे, लेकिन Havertz generally and that goal as well that got disallowed.
पहले तो I'll go. I don't want to say too much, but I think there is a betting industry around the sport, and ये जो आपकी जो calls होती हैं, or marginal calls and questionable calls, we all know kind of know what's going on. But apart from that, I think Havertz is playing the dummy role, and Felix is ghosting into dangerous areas. So I think in that sense, Havertz is okay. But like as long as one of them is creating dangerous danger on the ball, then I'm okay with that, because whoever you put in that position, somebody has to draw people away for somebody else to get in behind. So फिलहाल चल रहा है. Would I put Fofana up there in the second half at some point? Probably, just to see if he offers something different, right? Because we have the option right now. We have all these players. Why not try him out? Get him a few minutes. Let's see if we can do something different.
बिल्कुल. I think a lot of people are still speaking about a fullbacks here. Again, बोलना चाहूंगा that James is back from injury. It's clear that when James is in form, he kind of runs the team. वही कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है with our maybe Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Thiago Silva being there in defense and midfield, कहीं ना कहीं in the first 25 minutes to half an hour at least लग रहा था when we were attacking that we were not attacking too much on the left hand side, or maybe Kukurea wasn't that confident. At the same time, maybe we are reading too much. हो सकता है that Potter ने बोला है that come on, do the simple things right first and then we'll see what goes beyond. तो maybe वही है कुकुरेया का, you can kind of say that yes vertical passing नहीं कर रहा, लेकिन ऋषभ, remember Kukurea has not been confident player, और एक दफा जब किया था भाई Havertz को ऑफसाइड दिया गया. I don't know, कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है that we need to do it more. But right side में do you see like two changes coming in? I know James hasn't looked as bit, but would you kind of will go to a back three and maybe get even Ziyech on? Madueke has done well, attackingly, but maybe Ziyech brings a different element. We'll get Mudryk more on the ball because Ziyech, switch करता है play.
किसको उतारोगे? Mudryk को?
तो रीस जेम्स को उतारो, आप जिएश को डालो, और यू प्ले बैक 5 एंड हैव वन ऑफ द पर्सन्स काइंड ऑफ ड्रॉप बैक इन द बैक 3.
No, I don't disagree because I'm just telling you, okay, in a back four we are vulnerable. We will always be vulnerable to the change of play to the far side because वो उस side पे, like historically nobody tracks, like we have a gap historically there क्योंकि आपको overload करना पड़ता है on one side wherever the ball is. The minute you switch flanks, it becomes a panic stations for me, at least personally. I spot that trend over the years. So it makes me nervous. So that's why I've always been partial to playing a back three off the ball, at least, right? But it's hard to do that. You have to play a formation based on.
तो Ziyech kind of offers that role ना, क्योंकि Ziyech मुझे लगता है that he can become like a wing back and auxiliary wing back बन सकता है वो.
If you're saying so, I'm struggling
like
to
for Morocco, how he did, for example, he has done that role in the past.
The thing is कि आप बोल रहे हो कि रीस जेम्स को उतार के Ziyech को wing back खिलाओ, तो I'm kind of questioning.
And of course you need to obviously drop
it will not help. Offensively it might work, but defensively I don't know if it will help the situation. But आप ये कह रहे हो कि because we'll have 3 center backs, so we'll have some better positioning regardless around the box. So I think I can agree to that. Yeah, that might work. तो किसको लेके आओगे then?
एक और मैं I'll put a spanner in the works here यहाँ पर. तो get Chalobah and Ziyech on, ठीक है. What that will give is Chalobah is someone who can he's good on the ball, he can step into midfield if need be, and you can go attack. हम change कर सकते what you wanted, but while in defense he kind of drops back in the back.
Havertz उतारना पड़ेगा just to get that extra man.
हाँ, Havertz को उतारना नहीं तो आप you go light on midfield, which is again a risk with Loftus Cheek again. मतलब भाई हम प्रीव्यू में प्री मैच में हमने ऑलमोस्ट 10 मिनट बात की थी. आई नो एंजो का क्वेश्चन है, यतिन पूछ रहे, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं Loftus Cheek he had some okay wow moments, he had some iffy moments. How would you rate him? Also वो भी he's coming back from injury, so what do you think about Loftus Cheek? यार मुझे लगता है कहीं ना कहीं we need to replace him with someone ना, because midfield यार we are getting transitioned easily again.
I think he had some good moments moving forward. Was he able to give us the anchor in the sitting pivot? I don't know, because Enzo is also moving far up the field in moments. तो मुझे तो लगता है कि दोनों को थोड़ा सा restrain करना पड़ेगा, पीछे लेके आना पड़ेगा, because we're open for the break, we're open for the counter. In many situations. So I think I wouldn't call out names at this point. I think this is more for a manager to kind of talk to the whole team about their shape in the defensive phase, or when we're exposed to a counter. We should avoid that scenario where we're overcommitting. I think abhi tak in going in the second half, I will say the same thing. We have the speed to hit them on the counter. So why are we going overcommitting then? Midfield mein thoda sa restraint dikhana hoga. Maybe an extra body in midfield. Maybe a Gallagher, maybe a Mount, somebody in there just to kind of help one of them sit back at least.
So then Madueke or Mudryk needs to come off. That's the only option I see.
Well, I would take off Havertz. That's it.
हाँ, मतलब you kind of are just going with that, floating attack. Simply put, basically.
I think between if a front three is Felix, Madueke, and Mudryk, I think we still have enough threat.
Yeah, 4-3-3, got it. Mudryk needs to improve his hold-up play, then he can be truly unleashed. I think Rishabh, he's not a guy who's a guy with his back to goal. I think ये एक बंदा है who will get in behind. हम वो same problem यार, Timo Werner didn't have the confidence, in basically the second season that he had. But सच में बोले तो टीमो वर्नर का गेम भी वही था, running in behind. There was a lot of criticism. कहीं ना कहीं balls in behind were not giving in. So I think it's a bit of both. I feel kahin na kahin we have to also understand what Mudryk is as a player.
I kind of agree with Rishabh. Mudryk needs to drop in a little bit to help Cucurella get that forward pass going, and then play a 1-2, because the minute Cucurella gives that pass to Mudryk, when Mudryk drops back to get it, then Cucurella can make that run to draw a person with him, to give Mudryk the time to turn on the ball and run forward with the ball, and then that Cucurella has to have the positioning awareness to drop back into position again. So ये वो 1-2 जो है Chilwell के साथ भी इसी तरह खेला जाता है. Chilwell and whoever's on the left flank kind of do those 1-2 passes and runs to kind of get the forward movement going. Abhi kya ho raha hai ki Mudryk just goes and stretches the pitch, but he's being marked. So there is no pass necessarily to give, aside from maybe an overhead or a through pass in behind. जो
तो
कि
ओवरलैप
becomes
नहीं
a
आ रहा
little
ना
risky.
कुकुरेया का
Huh?
कुकुरेया का ओवरलैप भी नहीं आ रहा it's the other way around as well.
That's what I'm saying. कि वो Mudryk has to give him the ability to overlap. Mudryk is not dropping back to get the ball. He's just saying कि नहीं मैं तो भाग रहा हूँ तू ball दे दे मुझे किसी तरह. So that I think Mudryk can help Cucurella do a little better by just dropping in to get that first pass, and then Cucurella does an overlap, and then Mudryk has the ability to turn on the ball and dribble if he needs to get past the first challenge, and then you're open. So वो थोड़ा सा वहाँ पे मुझे opportunity नजर आ रही है for them to work better together. Not necessarily just Cucurella's fault.
अच्छा यहाँ पर ना मैं कुछ कमेंट्स लेने वाला हूँ भाई सब लोग अगेन डू नॉट फॉरगेट टू हिट दैट लाइक बटन अपना एक लाइक टारगेट है सब्सक्राइब टारगेट है लेट्स रीच एज सून एज पॉसिबल देयर बट यहाँ पर मैं अंश का एक कमेंट लेना चाह रहा हूँ अंश आई थिंक प्रॉब्ली मिस द फर्स्ट गोल वेल लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट दैट वाज अ मोमेंट जहां पर इट गेव मी गूज बम्प्स यस आई थॉट कि हमने गोल पहले ही कर लिया उससे भी पहले लेकिन वो ऑफसाइड करा दिया गया था बट बिफोर दिस मोमेंट जो हमने बात किया था अबाउट मुड्रिक इन दैट वेरी मोमेंट मुड्रिक हैड अ बैड टच बोलना पड़ेगा बट ही डिडंट गिव अप तो बैड टच हुआ ही केम बैक ही वन द बॉल बोवन thought that he was injured or Mudryk ने foul किया लेकिन for once in the entire match for a very strange reason I don't know why लेकिन good for Chelsea referee played on ठीक है in Chelsea's favor Cucurella got the ball तो उस मोमेंट में एक चीज हो सकता था Mudryk having won that ball he went on his run but Cucurella on this time क्या किया he played safe and he went to Enzo लेकिन Enzo was in his forward run already in the midfield Enzo gave a pass a crossfield pass to a Havertz to a Felix which was making that run right behind the defense of West Ham center backs in the middle. वो कितने दफा हुआ है यार मतलब इसलिए हम बात करते हैं फैब्रिगोस और चले वाला मोमेंट वेरी वेरी डिफरेंट in terms of quality but in terms of जो एक situation of the match था and the way that new players connected I think वो एक था तो I think Felix finished off well and yes बहुत लोग elbow thing McKyle I think it was shoulder in the offside region I believe बहुत लोग बोल रहे हैं मे बी द फैक्ट मैं मोबाइल में देख रहा था मे बी मुझे
दिखाया नहीं ना ज्यादा उन्होंने दिखाया नहीं वो वाला मोमेंट बट आई थिंक यू राइट इनिशियली मुझे लगा था कि शोल्डर भी ऑफसाइड है बट वो डिपेंड्स ऑन वेयर यू फ्रीज फ्रेम राइट द टीम इज बैक ऑन द पिच नो चेंजेस सो फार
या ओके एसपी एंड चिली इनकमिंग भाई एक सेकंड मैच शुरू हो गया क्या
नहीं टीम इज कमिंग बैक ऑल द सेम प्लेयर्स हैव कम बैक आउट
ऐप ओपन करना है मैं भूल जाता हूँ टीवी में नहीं देख रहा ना आज भाई सब लोग एवरीवन इन द हाउस डू लेट मी नो योर कमेंट्स अबाउट योर प्रेडिक्शंस अबाउट द सेकंड हाफ एंड यस चेंजेस भी बोलिएगा आप क्या चेंजेस देखना चाहते हो प्रीटी श्योर यहाँ लॉफ्टर-चीक 90 मिनट नहीं खेलेंगे वो तो पक्की बात है अब देखते हैं कौन लाते हैं भाई पॉटर इट कुड बी चालोबा इट कुड बी गैलेगर इट कुड बी बेसिकली इवन Mount, who knows, right? Someone needs to come on eventually. And Datro Fofana for Havertz, जैसे हम बात ही कर रहे थे, that might be one of the changes. लेकिन McKyle क्या बोल रहे हो? Goal coming? One more.
I think we have another goal in us, but I also think we have another goal against us coming. So we have to find a way to not concede and still get our goal. थोड़ा सा वो trick है. I think it's how you manage the game. So अगर थोड़ा सा we control करें और match के towards the end of the game we attack. And try to get one goal and run off the clock. अभी foreign goal कर लिया, they'll have enough time to come back, right? So थोड़ा सा game management के tactics हैं, I think.
ये देखो अंश जो बोल रहे हैं something like this also I don't think पहले few minutes में लगा था अंश I think मैंने बोला भी था McKyle को कि यार Felix लग रहा है कि Havertz is dropping back but both are playing kind of a false floating position.
Interchanging. I think they're interchanging and they're asking. I think as long as they keep doing that, I don't really necessarily. I like Felix deeper as well because he's finding ways to get through the middle of the park. I don't think Havertz has that in him. Havertz cannot drive through the middle. इतना वो उसका center of gravity is not that low to jink and drop a shoulder and get past multiple players. So उस लिहाज से I like Felix playing a little deeper in the 10 role, but also ghosting in to the box then and kind of offsetting with Havertz.
But मैं देखना चाहूंगा यार as much as Madueke is very direct. The overlapping has not happened from either flanks. तो कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है that before James, let's see if he can finish 90 minutes. लेकिन I hope that James puts his trademark crosses यार. कहीं ना कहीं Felix getting in and Havertz getting in, will help certainly. I would like to see a directness. यार यातिन मैं देख रहा हूँ काफी चीज आया भाई. Cucurella is not a Chilwell. I think Cucurella defensively we thought he's better, but going by his confidence, I have doubts there also. But anyway,
I think the primary concern for me was bring in somebody that's not injury prone. So he checks that box for me. So I'm not
Yeah, he actually
panicking
does.
necessarily, but we just have to train him to play a little more defensively aware football, but at the same time learn to keep your head up and spot the forward pass. I think he's a work in progress. He's not the final form. Thoda sa, he needs a little bit of polishing in terms of his in-game decisioning. But he should be fine. I think there's enough there to work on with for him to be an adequate cover for Chilwell. The hope is that Chilwell gets games, but if game shuru ho gaya, वैसे second half
गेम
shuru
शुरू
ho
हो
gaya.
गया.
But what I'm trying to say is that how many games a season do we expect Chilwell to play? To be honest, like realistically, given his fitness issues, I would say not the whole 38 games. It'll be somewhere in the region of 2/3 of the games. Hopefully, he'll play.
And I know Ian Martin is भाई मतलब uprooting trees यार. तो
अच्छा,
देखते क्या होता है.
कहाँ पे खेल रहा है वो?
वो बर्नली में अंडर कंपनी. He's playing pretty well. Week in week out, his name is in the loan army doing well.
Nice. चलो, that's an option maybe down the line.
हाँ मतलब वो डच प्लेयर वापस आने में चेल्सी में तो वेट करते ही रह गया. He is one of them who kind of
अच्छा, डच
fit that
कनेक्शन
box.
भी है.
अरे यार पैट्रिक वैन हॉलॉल्ड की याद मत दिला देना बस.
पुडीन क्या कह रहा है भाई? ये 4-2 के किसके चक्कर में है?
ये Putin is giving 4-2 as a prediction. Bubbles are back. Yep, 3-2 यतिन बोल रहे हैं. We need one midfielder cause our flanks are not doing great. हाँ वही है. McKyle ने बोला 4-3-3 might be a possibility with Felix, Madueke and Mudryk. लेकिन अभी के लिए भाई भाई this was a late challenge यार. एक सेकंड भाई. केरर का I think it was pretty naughty यार. The guy went down.
उसने उसको सिजर किया अपने टांगों में, उसको कार्ड नहीं दिया उन्होंने.
हाँ यार मतलब इट वाज ऑन पर्पस. ऐसा मुझे पहले लगा कि गिरते हुए दफा हो जाता है ना कि यार चलो लग गया.
नहीं, उसने ऑन पर्पस सिजर किया उसकी टांगों को और उसको कार्ड नहीं मिला.
मतलब दिस ऑन पर्पस वाले फॉल्स आर येलो कार्ड्स विदाउट अ शेडो ऑफ अ डाउट. ये कब से चेंज हो गया रूल यार?
चेंज नहीं हुआ, वो रेफरी तुम्हें पता है प्रीमियर लीग की रेफरी है.
हाँ अनिकेत, लेकिन देखिए हमें लगा था कि राइस वर्सेस एंजो होने वाला है, लेकिन डायरेक्ट बैटल हुआ नहीं है क्योंकि एंजो और लॉफ्टर-चीक बहुत ही फ्लोट की है. ऐसा नहीं कि दे हैव जस्ट स्टैट बैक. और कहीं ना कहीं दैट इज आल्सो आवर फॉल्ट दैट एंजो इज
I think
व्हाइल ही हैज दैट गेम.
the biggest change is Felix dropping deep. I love it because that's mixing it up, right? So वो 4-3-3 create हो जाता है because Felix is roaming and helping them out. तो उसकी वजह से भी Rice is neutralized a little bit क्योंकि it's not a direct one-on-one right now because we have more bodies by Felix dropping in.
अच्छा मुझे याद है रीस जेम्स कैन आल्सो ड्रॉप इन मिडफील्ड. हो सकता है जो मैं बैक थ्री वाला बोला था ना, हु नोस, पॉटर अनलीशेस द विगन. रीस जेम्स वापस. पॉटर टूकल ने ट्राई किया था एक मैच के लिए, याद है तो बीच में. यहाँ पर एक सेकंड. Madueke on the wing getting ball from Loftus-Cheek. अरे नहीं यार भाई. ऋषभ पूछ रहा है 100 million on Rice or putting Ampadu in team. यार there should be a middle ground यार. Come on. Ampadu, I know interceptions in terms of tackles he's right up there in Europe, लेकिन बंदे में कार्ड है almost in every game. Gallagher और Ampadu is not your 90-minute players, you know what I mean, not starters. तो I don't mind.
I think Ampadu and Loftus-Cheek are almost the same bucket, right? कि वो 7-8 साल हो गए on the Chelsea पे, अभी तक they haven't broken through. तो क्या करें, मतलब कि कब तक.
Ampadu का ये defense I would like to say that वो कहीं ना कहीं managers have kind of switched his positions bit too often. Not that Loftus-Cheek का नहीं हुआ है, लेकिन Ampadu
मैं
का
वैसे बात कर रहा हूँ कि if a player actually you have to make an impact too, right, to break through. अगर वो impact ही नहीं आ रहा over 7-8 years तो कब आएगा? I know कि आपने so what I'm trying to say is कि sometimes maybe the package of the player is not what the team is looking for necessarily. Not saying that the player cannot do the job well, right. But Ampadu has been around and about the first team for so many years now. But when will he break through and make a name for himself? I don't know.
He reminds me of a young Nathan Ake who started in midfield and then became a defender.
हाँ, Nathan Ake obviously physicality ज़्यादा है उसमें. Nathan Ake was a little injury prone जब हम उसको खिला रहे थे तो hamstring हो जाती थी उसको every whatever.
लेकिन मतलब decision making is better of Nathan Ake. That is what Ampadu lacks big time.
But वो यही होता है कि जिस तरह हम Chalobah को खिलाते हैं कि he does a job, right? So उस type के players नहीं है कि they can do a job. I don't think necessarily कि They are the full package, but they can do the job.
McKyle, we are playing with 10 men, bro. I'm sorry to say, but Kukurea, bro, I'm sorry. His confidence is shattered.
अच्छा मेरी जान निकल गई क्योंकि रेड कार्ड हो गया कहीं कितना आगे निकल गया
नहीं अच्छा Levi Colwill Aniket unfortunately is injured right now. He had a very good beginning part of the season. Levi Colwill, I think the news is that he's coming back to Chelsea. इसलिए ऑन लोन ही गए थे. आई नो गिलमोर का बहुत गंदा सीजन गया है कहीं ना कहीं. आई थिंक इट्स नॉट टू बैड कंसिडरिंग जो lot of us thought he would be the Scottish Paul Scholes, लेकिन नहीं. But Levi Colwill I think might come back. Left-footed centre half, the backup to Badiashile. इसलिए Koulibaly का we don't see a future, honestly speaking. Let's see. I wish Kante was back. He is coming back by March 1st as per the news. Again, touch wood. हाँ गौरव
कांटे का इंजरी हुई है या सर्जरी हुई है क्या चक्कर है
वो एक्चुअली री इंजरी हुई थी ना उसकी. तो बेसिकली व्हेन ही वाज कमिंग बैक सेम थिंग हैपेंड इन स्टर्लिंग, सेम थिंग हैपेंड इन रीस जेम्स. वो री इंजरी वाला चीज हुआ है चेल्सी में 3 दफा. तो वी मेडिकल टीम स्पेशल.
आई थिंक थोड़ा सा हमारा
मेडिकल क्रॉस कर भाई. रीस जेम्स क्रॉस. ओहो जस्ट अबाउट बचा लिया रॉकबना ने. भाई लेकिन मुड्रिक चांसेस भाई मिकाइल ने बहुत अच्छे तरह समझाया था. गौरव आप हाफ टाइम टॉक मिस कर दिए थे शायद. So one thing is, yes, as we said in the beginning, that we didn't play enough on that side. But when we did play, he was just making his runs forward. He was not looking to kind of drop back enough. So kahin na kahin, he also has to learn that trick.
If you think about Gaurav, if you think about Eden Hazard playing in that role, he would always first drop back, help the fullback get an overlap going, and then build with the ball, turn on the ball and drive forward. तो मुड्रिक जो है वो he's not dropping back right now. He's just saying कि नहीं मुझे बॉल आगे दे दो. तो वो I think there is room there to help Cucurella out a little bit.
और वो कर सकता है बंदा डायरेक्ट है. मतलब we have seen it in Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League. I think 6 matches ही है लेकिन 6 matches are enough for me to say ये बंदे में है डायरेक्टनेस. So I think he can do that. It's just that he needs to be told.
क्या कर रहा है यार पीछे.
कॉर्नर जीता भाई कुकुरेया ने. कुकुरेया सुन लिया मेरा यार गाली. चलो बवन कंसीडिंग अ कॉर्नर एंड
पर क्रॉस कॉर्नर लगा वो बैक पास कर रहा था जिस पे कॉर्नर मिला. अच्छा आई थिंक ही ट्राइड फॉर द कॉर्नर बाय गेटिंग
लेट्स गिव हिम क्रेडिट समवेयर एटलीस्ट मिकाइल. बट कोई नहीं कुकुरेया भाई आई मस्ट से लेकिन आई एम वेरी अंडरवेल्म्ड विद हिम. सच्चाई बोल रहा हूं. कुकुरेया
तो किसको खिलाएगा फिर.
हाँ मतलब वही है.
तो उसको लेके आएगा लुइस हॉल को फिर से.
यार नॉट अ गुड कॉर्नर. डायरेक्टली गोज दिस टाइम to Fabianski. नहीं चेंज नहीं हुआ यार. Oh, Mudryk man doing his job. Nice, I like that. Mudryk on counter, defending and keeping the ball. Nice one. लेकिन अरे यार एक सेकेंड. Why are we giving away the ball? Enzo Fernandez is losing the ball.
Enzo is finding ways to lose the ball. मुझे नहीं समझ आ रही Enzo को क्या प्रॉब्लम हुआ.
I don't think he'll be और भाई राइस का शॉट मैन. भाई राइस का पहला रियल मोमेंट था गेम में सच में बोलूं तो. लेकिन जस्ट वाइड.
गोली वाज इन पोजीशन.
we'll get to know tactics अभी क्या होने वाला है मुड्रिक के साथ में. चिलवेल लाओ मुड्रिक बचाओ. ये अच्छा लगा मुझे. टाइगर विश नाइस स्टार्ट दिस कमेंट एंड कीप. भाई ये तो भाई वो होता है ना नारा, पॉलिटिकल नारा. चिलवेल लाओ मुड्रिक बचाओ. ये अपना बच्ची बचाओ वाला स्कीम हो गया यार. अच्छा वाला. चलो नाइस वन. नॉट लुकिंग गुड सो फार. देखते यार मतलब अगेन इट्स जस्ट 8 minutes into the half. Enzo losing the ball I know, but Todd Boehly again sad. ओबा तो भाई खत्म ऑनेस्टली. वी डोंट अग्री विद इट. कहीं ना कहीं यूज करना चाहिए था बट एटलीस्ट कहीं ना कहीं वी कैन नॉट बी टू थिंग्स ना. पॉटर एटलीस्ट ने क्लियर कर दिया वहां पर क्लियर लग रहा है.
उसने कोई हिंट तो दे दिया कि बात हो. उसने हालांकि ही डिडंट एडमिट कि कोई डीलिंग चल रही है लेकिन
नाइस बॉल एंजो भाई. एंजो व्हाट भाई उसका जो डिलीवरी है ना एंजो ही हैज दैट इन हिम यार. फैब्रिगास का हाथ तो दिला रहा है. आई नो बिग वर्ड.
दैट वाज अ नाइस पास मैन.
दैट वाज अ फैब्रिगास कोस्टा मोमेंट ऑलमोस्ट ब्रो.
आई लाइक इट नहीं ठीक है ये. दिस इज व्हाट वी नीड टू कीप डूइंग. थोड़ा सा वो उसके जो his passes get intercepted because he's trying high risk passes.
Oh, Mudryk. Nice one, man. Finally, we see a Mudryk directness. दैट इज व्हाट हम बोल रहे थे मिकाइल भाई, टाइगर बीच इन द चैट, जीके यस मुड्रिक ट्रैक बैक कर रहे, प्लस अभी डायरेक्टनेस दिखाया। सूफाल बाय द वे, शॉकिंग न्यूज, ब्रेकिंग न्यूज है कि सूफाल इज स्टिल नॉट ऑन अ येलो कार्ड।
But somebody
Please
got a
tell me
card.
how.
Somebody got a card. ये भी एक shocking news है.
शॉकिंग यही है कि भाई कार्ड नहीं मिला स्टिल। अरे मिल गया
मिल गया,
अरे
मिल
भाई
गया.
साहब, सूफाल
मिले.
गेट्स अ येलो कार्ड।
Yeah.
ब्रेकिंग न्यूज, सूफाल गेट्स अ येलो कार्ड फाइनली कार्ड। हाँ
वो भी
नहीं गौरव
accumulation
गो
of fouls पे कार्ड मिला है. वो basically वो इतना कोई बुरा फाउल नहीं था.
हाँ वो तो एक्सपेक्टेड था यार। विंगर्स एंड चेल्सी, वी नो दैट व्हाट इज रॉबिन हजार्ड, टू एग्जांपल्स। आपको पता ही है हाउ मच दे वर फाउल्ड ऑल द टाइम, लिटरली ऑल द टाइम। चेल्सी लुक्स लाइक दे आर प्लेइंग अराउंड कुकरेया, इवन जोकोल बाय द वे। He should have got red. Yeah, Sufal probably should have got red by now. Exactly. अगर 2 yellows, मतलब 3 fouls थे proper. All the 3 were yellow cards. But
नहीं,
anyway,
होम टीम एडवांटेज दे रहे हैं उनको. That's all it
by
is.
Reece James on the ball this time. Free kick. देखते हैं, someone in the box can get in.
Ankit, then announce the goal, man. Come on, do it.
Oh man!
नहीं यार.
Just wide यार, just wide. एक टच मेरे ख्याल से एंटोनियो का था क्या, कि थियागो सिल्वा? भाई एंटोनियो का टच मैन, just about
That's a corner.
saved
That's
West
corner.
Ham.
That's a corner.
Yeah, that's a corner. I want to see Bufal Sufal playing together just for fun. Nice one. Yep. भाई अब देखो कुकुरेया मैन, आई नो सेफ खेलना बेटर होता, आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट, बट more confident player might have taken a chance. Anyway, Reece James in the ball. You know what, मुझे लग रहा है मडुएके सब होगा, मिकाइल।
करना
Madueke
पड़ेगा,
has
I
not.
guess, because you know you have to take somebody off. Jim, bring somebody on. तो क्या करें?
अरे कुकरिया विद रन यार, 1-2 विद मुड्रिक। भाई मुड्रिक कम ऑन मार रहे, अरे नहीं यार मुड्रिक यार एंटीसिपेट किया था, लेकिन कोई नहीं भाई। मुड्रिक एंड कुकरिया हैड वन मोमेंट, मिकाइल फाइनली ओवरलैपिंग हुई यार।
Wow, that was a better move. That's what we need to see.
भाई कुकरिया सुन रहे क्या हमारे, इज दैट
हाँ,
ईयरफोन
ये
कनेक्टेड टू
चाहिए, ये
कुकरिया
चाहिए,
बाल
ये
के अंदर?
चाहिए, ये चाहिए. See how we create danger? There was no risk taken there. It was just basic football.
हाँ बिल्कुल भाई, सब लोग कुकरिया को और थोड़ा सा गाली दीजिए, मे बी लिस्टिंग टू अस अंडर द
मुझे
हेयर।
लगता है कि स्टेडियम में जा रही है आवाज.
लग रहा है मुझे। ये वाला, हाँ एग्जैक्टली, माने सेन केन काने।
अरे कोई वार्म अप भी नहीं
नहीं
कर रहा है,
यार,
अभी कोई
ग्लोरी
चेंजेस भी
अंकल
नहीं
भाई,
आ रहे.
हम वी आर ऑलवेज दैट, वी नो व्हाट वी आर।
चार्ल्स डिकेंस 1, चेल्सी 1.
आर्सेनल, टेल ऑफ टू सिटीज। अच्छा, टेल ऑफ सिटीज था ना चार्ल्स डिकेंस का,
जी.
क्या था उसका बुक? यार लिटरेचर वाला बंदा नहीं हूँ यार मैं। गौरव कम ऑन। हाउ इज हैवर्ट्स परफॉर्मेंस? बेटर बट इफी रहा है, आई वुड नॉट से it's terrible, but it's been bad, but definitely not what I expect from a center forward of Chelsea.
एंटोनियो बड़ा बदमाश है वैसे.
ओके, रूमन लॉफ्टस-चीक विद द रन। अब देखते हैं, होपफुली एंजो स्टेइंग बैक यार, ट्रांजिशन में हम बीट हो सकते हैं। मडुएके विद द रन, आई फील, गट फील है ये उसका लास्ट रन होगा। भाई मडुएके पता नहीं एनर्जी में कम लग रहा है कि सेफ खेल रहा है जानबूझ के।
Where is Ziyech? Is he warming up?
नो नॉट येट, आई
तो
थिंक वो आने
किसको
वाला है। मुड्रिक
उसको उतार के
मैन, मुड्रिक
उसको उतार के
भाई,
किसको
मुड्रिक
लेके आ रहे हो?
या प्रॉब्ली जीएस शुड बी द वन होपफुली,
ओए,
बट माउंट माइट कम ना, क्योंकि मिडफील्ड में इफ वी माइट वांट एंजो टू बी द सप्लायर, तो हो सकता है माउंट एंड लॉफ्टस-चीक यू नो आर योर रनर्स, नॉट लॉफ्टस-चीक, मे बी गैलेगर और माउंट दोनों आ जाए फॉर लॉफ्टस-चीक एंड मडुएके।
Madueke with the ball. Oye, bad pass, gave it away. Did all the hard
थैंक्स
work
यार
and then gave
गौरव,
the
मच
ball
लव
away.
टू यू, शाउट आउट है भाई। मैं भी यार मोबाइल में देख रहा हूँ और लैपटॉप में आपके कमेंट्स देख रहा हूँ, सेम है, एडिटो। आई थिंक
अच्छा तो क्या ये
लॉफ्टस-चीक, इज ही नॉट प्लेइंग लिटिल बिट मोर फॉरवर्ड सेकंड हाफ, ऐसे लग रहा है कॉन्शियसली।
ओए, रीस जेम्स is playing forward भाई.
हाँ आई थिंक both of them in fact conscious लग रहा है मुझे, positioning
Madueke
दोनों
क्या
का ही।
कर रहा है, मतलब कि come on, do more.
अरे Chris in the house, Chris big up bro.
बाईलाइन तक बॉल लेके
Big up.
जाए और वहां से कट बैक करे, देन मजा आए फिर।
Leicester fan obviously wanting us to beat the Hammers right now as things stand the table. Big up, shout out to Leicester Tell and ITV people, brilliant channel for all English football content.
Oh, Reece James on the ball,
Potter
crosses, oh, cleared.
Loftus-Cheek doing his right wing back role for a change and getting a corner, bro. Loftus-Cheek being an auxiliary emergency right wing back in a moment.
That's the run I want Madueke to
Mount
make.
coming.
Go down the side to the byline, cross it in, create something on that side. लो जी,
अच्छा, look,
Mount आ रहा है जी,
माउंट और चुकुमे का भी हो सकता है, लग रहा है
और
मुझे।
चिलवेल भी आ रहा है। So Cucurella is coming off. अरे यार, ये
Yeah,
तो
that is
हैंडबॉल था
that is expected.
एमरसन का, पर ऑन बॉडी लाइन में था। चलो जी, कॉर्नर, फिलिक्स, गोल नहीं अभी तक
भाई
अनाउंस
कुकुरे
किया।
लास्ट मैन होता है, डर लगता है खुद को भी और मुझे भी।
हाँ, वो बताया ना आपको कि
Oh, Felix, well done there, but fell to West Ham, man. Bhai, nice one. Howard said that wasn't a foul, yaar. Come on, was it a foul? Really? Come on, man. वो तो चलता है यार, इतना भाई कॉन्टैक्ट स्पोर्ट है।
he got the ball. अच्छा, वो उसको दिखा रहा है कि तूने कंधा मारा है उसको। So what?
पता नहीं यार भाई,
Kanda is not allowed.
दूसरे करते तो शोल्डर पुश।
He
और
got the
हम
ball. He got the ball, and what? You pushed him with the shoulder. What the hell?
वो तियागो सिल्वा से
If he doesn't get the ball, then it's a problem. But he got the ball. Ooh. Silva with the
Anyway.
clearance.
Chelsea
Cucurella
flying zonal
gets
press,
bullied off the
West
ball
Ham
by
two.
Bowen.
Okay.
Come on,
अच्छा, वो
Cucurella.
लोग भी चेंजेस कर रहे हैं, डैनी इंग्स को ला रहे हैं।
नहीं, कूफा होता।
इंटरेस्टिंग चेंज।
अरे डेंजरस बंदा है ये।
चेंजेस तो आने यार दोनों साइड में, अब देखते भाई। एंजो फर्नांडिस थोड़ा सा सेकंड हाफ में दोनों मैचेस में, इज इट लाइक और एम आई रीडिंग टू मच, लाइक सेकंड हाफ दोनों मैच में जो खेला अभी तक एटलीस्ट ही इज लुक्ड अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ पेस फॉर मी सेकंड हाफ।
कौन?
ऑफ द पेस।
Sorry, who?
Enzo
I guess so.
और
Oh,
मे
interception दे रहा है. I don't like the fact that he gives the ball away. He has to get out of that. वो ठीक है. He tries the high risk pass. I get it, but a bit too easily he's giving the ball away. तो वो थोड़ा सा there's room for improvement there.
Yeah, maybe that's why maybe Mount आ रहे to kind of protect him there. But nice pass, Enzo भाई, सुन लिया मेरा भाई, जितना गाली तो दे दो, सब लोग सुन रहे हैं हमारे बात। Enzo got a beautiful pass to Reece James.
Oh, what a beauty.
Fabianski यार.
Nice pass. Come on, Madueke, do something. Felix crosses the ball. Goalie grabs.
Overpowered है midfield में यार, overpowered। और ऐसे भी नहीं लगा है कि यार Rice and Suchek हार, like beating Enzo to tackles and stuff like that. It's almost like Enzo giving the ball away. Plus I think एक मतलब maybe the fact is that we are so used to that Jorginho Kovacic कांटे वाला चीज ना, that midfield में हम बहुत passing देखते थे, वो नहीं दिख रही। Maybe that is why I'm reacting that way. I don't know.
यार वो एक अलग टॉपिक है।
What a turn! Antonio with a world class turn, Bardeshile with a very important tackle जो येलो कार्ड लाएगा भाई। अगेन ऑपोजिशन करे तो भाई कुछ नहीं, हम तो करे तो भाई पहली बार येलो कार्ड है हमें तो। Bardeshile कैसे येलो कार्ड? हाँ, कॉम्पैक्टनेस डिफेंस में तो लगी है, लेकिन एक्सेप्ट फॉर दिस मोमेंट आई थिंक दैट वाज अ ब्रिलियंट टर्न बाय एंटोनियो, आई मस्ट से। बहुत ही अच्छा टर्न था।
नहीं, Bardeshile shouldn't have overcommitted there.
हाँ, ओवर कमिट हो गया, बहुत ज्यादा क्लोज हो गया था। अंकित भाई मैजिक स्पेल इन रिवर्स नहीं यार, कौन? हाँ यार, वही है मैजिक स्पेल तो यहाँ रेफरी कर रहे हैं यार भाई। सेट पीस डर लगता है मिकाइल।
हाँ भाई, वो तो है, there is a risk there. अभी
लेकिन
ठीक
दूर
है,
है तो
there is enough time to score 3 goals.
yeah, let's लेकिन हाँ, this one I don't know भाई, let's see. Hopefully we don't try and keep a line etc यार, offline offside line, क्योंकि Antonio has that pace. Antonio is मतलब on wide है थोड़ा. I think they might actually just put a loopy ball on the left hand side to Antonio, I feel. देखते हैं क्या होता है भाई। नहीं यार, डायरेक्ट शॉट के लिए गया। अरे यार कॉर्नर दे दिया यार केपा। वाज इट नॉट सेवेबल कॉर्नर? नहीं था, सब मुश्किल था, चलो कोई नहीं। हाँ, बाड़े शिले पर रेफरी भरोसा तो है, लेकिन वो ये येलो कार्ड पर है अभी। याद रखिए 25 मिनट बाकी है अभी। दैट्स विद एंटोनियो स्पेस, दैट इज अ कंसर्न। रिमेंबर सेंटर हाफ कौन है भाई? चालो भाई है अपने बेंच पर। वी डोंट हैव कोलीबाली। ओहो, केपा विद अ सेव यार, ऑलमोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट palming off by Kepa off the corner, and Antonio with the ball. भाई crosses allow क्यों करते यार? Why don't you learn from a mistake? But nice potential counter जो Havertz ने कर दिया है, spoiled, but just about we have won the ball again. What rubbish, man! Referee, get a life.
ये क्या था? They gave them the foul.
How was that a foul?
We had the ball.
भाई Havertz won the ball. What is that? Absolutely, bhai, referee was next to the ball. What did he give? Did he give foul against West Ham?
Two-footed lunge थी, though. I think he just said, I don't like it. He got the ball
Come on,
still.
bro. Acha, Antonio getting subbed off. Danny is, I think, coming on.
Benrahma coming off.
Chelsea, हाँ चेल्सी यूज तो करना चाहिए यार, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है वो विंग बैक सिस्टम खेल रहे हैं ना, तो दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई दे आर एबल टू यू नो।
तो आप कह रहे हो कि आपकी स्ट्रीम फोन पे तेज चल रही है?
मेरा 66-36 है, 66-37। अच्छा, मुड्रिक ऑफ। By people, my Mudryk with a better performance today, I must say, but I must say that is still work in progress. Madueke is still on, interestingly. तो अपना लेफ्ट विंग पूरा चेंज हुआ है। कुकुरेया गोइंग ऑफ एंड Mudryk गोइंग ऑफ, चिलवेल obviously coming on, looks like Mount is also on. तो looks like we might go 4-3-3 with अच्छा नहीं, Ziyech is on, interesting भाई। Ziyech and Madueke दोनों left footed wingers are on the pitch and Mount is on. भाई I like this. Potter making 3 changes in one go. McKyle, how many times have we seen that in the 68th minute?
सही है.
Madueke, Kukurea,
I think we needed some energy, and these
and
guys
Mudryk
will
off.
come bring some energy. So let's see what we can make out of it. अच्छा जी, ये ऑफसाइड ट्रैप लगाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, लेकिन
अच्छा, Loftus Cheek still staying on is a little bit of surprise to me, सच में बोलूं तो, but he's not had a bad game. It's just that मैं surprised हूं क्योंकि यार गेम टाइम नहीं हुआ बंदे को, तो little bit.
अच्छा, what is your comment on Madueke staying and
नहीं, he's not staying, he's gone. तो 3 changes किए basically. Madueke is off, you have what, Mudryk off, तो basically we have taken both the wingers off. We have bought on Ziyech and Mount, तो Mount has become like a number 8, ठीक है। और we are playing Joao Felix as left forward now, Ziyech as right forward, और we have Havertz as center forward, तो it's 4-3-3 now,
ठीक
जो
है
आप
जी,
चाहते थे।
ठीक है जी, let's see.
लेकिन वही जाओ फिलिक्स लेफ्ट फॉरवर्ड जो खेलते हैं, he has done that, लेकिन not as direct as Mudryk of course. I just realized Suchek looks like okay, interesting that Mudryk should have stayed then when Chilwell is on. Interesting point. वही चीज है भाई, we cannot have everyone. Mudryk has, oh nice pass, Havertz to Joao Felix. नहीं यार, should have done better. कॉर्नर मिला हमें, आई थिंक चिलवेल था, सॉरी चिलवेल should have done better. वहां पर आई थिंक एक मोमेंट था बिटवीन हैवर्ट्स एंड चिलवेल मेकिंग एन इनसाइड रन एज अ सेंटर फॉरवर्ड, और वो चिलवेल आते विच कुकुरेया सोच भी नहीं सकते, as much as कुकुरेया is very much our player and we would like to love him in the future absolutely. भाई चिलवेल के रन्स यार, आई मिस दोस रन्स. जो एक काइंड ऑफ थियो हर्नांडेज वाले एक जीन है उनके अंदर. He gets in the forward positions.
Corner to Chelsea.
Corner में West Ham are really good यार, I must say.
Mount is taking
Defending.
corner.
Yeah, now नहीं Mount नहीं था. I think Felix ही लग दे रहा है surprisingly. Or must be James, I don't know. Let's see. Anyway, Mount on the right forward position now. Interestingly.
Ziyech on the ball. Give it to Mount on the right. Mount back pass to Ziyech. Ziyech back pass to James. Loftus-Cheek,
हाँ
Enzo.
ऋषभ, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं ये भी है ना, वी कैन नॉट गेट बीटन ऑन द काउंटर. सो अभी अनलाइक से द फर्स्ट हाफ एन आवर वी आर 1-1 एंड नॉट.
चलो यार,
So,
कम से कम Chilwell and James both on the pitch together again.
yeah, but James losing the ball, यार, and Ziyech giving a foul away.
जल्दी बोल दिया.
Oof. You know, James, यार, again time लगेगा. I know maybe we are too spoiled with Reece James, यार. Reece James is not looking his bit. सच में बोले तो ऑप्शन क्या है लेकिन बेंच पर. As much as Aspi is a legend, he's not, you know, एक impact सब तो नहीं है for sure. Maybe defend करते हैं, करना था तो maybe Aspi को लाते हैं हम. But while we are attacking, I don't think we'll bring in Mudryk. I've not seen him play as a striker, be it at Shakhtar or be it in the Ukrainian side. I think Mudryk is someone, मतलब, in a very strange way, बोलो Chindamar, he is like a Timo Werner with a better one-on-one directness, much better in fact. So that is what he is. And I know Timo Werner लोग हंसते हैं, लेकिन remember I'm talking about the prime Timo Werner here.
SP warm up कर रहा है, so SP might be coming on.
अच्छा वो ये मतलब 90 minutes will be too much for Reece James वाला मामला है. But ideally we would have kept him on and got, you know, maybe a midfielder like Gallagher maybe for Ruben Loftus-Cheek, नहीं?
दो sign दो.
अरे नहीं यार, नहीं मत यार, गोल होने वाला वेस्ट हैम का लग रहा है. बचा लिया भाई साहब. What a tackle. Reece James has also hurt me, I think. Bhai, what a tackle by Reece James. Brilliant tackle.
Wow.
Fantastic. World class tackle था भाई वो तो. भाई जुमा की याद दिला दिया वो टैकल जो जुमा टैकल करता था.
फिर आ रहे हैं बॉल के साथ.
अरे यार बाड़िया शिले क्या कर रहा है तू? इतना भी काम मत हो जा कि टेंशन दे दे हमें. Chilwell is the beauty. यार अगेन he is also coming back from injury, remember.
अरे भाई बॉल ही नहीं निकल रहा अपने हाथ से.
नहीं भाई. Reece James, don't tell me it's a foul. Don't tell me it's a foul. Reece James हाँ बचा लिया. फाउल नहीं दिया, रेफरी ने नहीं दिया फाउल. भाई बवन उठ जा यार, बहुत ज्यादा गिर रहा आज. ओ भाई एक सेकेंड. Felix बॉल रख. Felix बॉल रख. एक सेकेंड भाई. रेफरी हैज लॉस्ट इट ब्रो. कम ऑन. How did he call this game back? People are watching. Why facial injury? It's not a head injury. Why did he stop the game? It's a यहाँ की इंजरी यार, facial injury है. Felix was on counter. What was that?
पेनल्टी दे देंगे. मौका मिल जाए उनको कुछ देने का. और
मोइस रेफरी पर ही चिल्ला रहा है. एक्चुअली आई कैन हियर दैट. या तो आप फाउल देते, ठीक है, बवन के अगेंस्ट, आप वापस गेम क्यों रुकाए? इट वाज नॉट अ हेड इंजरी राइट एज पर द रूल्स.
ड्रामा है यार सारा, पता ही है.
अच्छा उसके बाद भी चेल्सी आर आस्क्ड टू गिव द बॉल बैक टू वेस्ट हैम. व्हाट रबिश इज दिस? नहीं दिया फिलिक्स ने. नॉटी फिलिक्स. नाइस वन, आई लाइक दैट. अच्छा बहुत ही फ्लोटिंग फॉरवर्ड्स खेल रहे हैं. हावर्ड्स प्लेइंग ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड अभी. नहीं यार
गो टू द बाय लाइन. ये तो कट बैक होता है, मुझे नहीं समझ आता है क्यों नहीं ट्राई कर रहे. एवरीबॉडी बैक passes. व्हाट्स द पॉइंट ऑफ ऑल दैट?
एक्चुअली वी नीड Ziyech ऑन दैट विंग ब्रो. Ziyech को वहां रहना चाहिए. वो पता नहीं कहाँ है. दिख नहीं रहा है Ziyech in the game after coming on, which is very strange.
Back to Kepa. What's the point, man? You go from an
they are playing. हाँ चलो Ziyech आ गया राइट विंग में अब वापस. अच्छा नाइस वन भाई. चिलवेल विद क्रॉस. ओह नो यार, मुझे लगा गोल है हावर्ड्स का. नहीं यार, जस्ट वाइड. चिलवेल भाई नाइस man. Even 50% Chilwell is better than Kuku. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Ankit, you're right, man. 50% Chilwell is better.
हाँ यार भाई, मतलब देखिए यार, कुकुरे अपना ही बंदा है, सपोर्ट करना पड़ेगा. बट लेट्स बी रियल, ही इज नॉट चेल्सी लेवल.
ये नहीं है अनफॉर्चुनेटली. ये बात नहीं है. गोल होना चाहिए था, पता नहीं ऑन टारगेट होना चाहिए था कम से कम. हावर्ड्स चलो गुड ट्राई. It was a positive move.
मुझे यार शाहरुख आएगा पॉजिटिव भाई. चिलवेल के 2 मूवमेंट्स हुए फॉरवर्ड और दोनों इफेक्टिव थे ऑलमोस्ट.
लच्छन कौन है भाई?
नहीं लच्छन मतलब साइंस अच्छे नहीं लग रहे. शाहरुख बोल रहे
मैंने कहा बंदा है।
हाँ, साउथगेट इज इन द स्टैंड्स, यस गौरव। फेशियल इंजरी पे भी रोकना पड़ता है गेम, रियली? ओके, मे बी आई एम रॉन्ग देयर, लेट्स चेक इट अप।
कबूतर भी फिर रहे हैं पिच पे, वो भी खेल रहे हैं। आमतौर पे देखने को नहीं मिलता कि जनाब ग्राउंड में कबूतर भी खेल रहे हैं गेम।
वो उसकी याद आ गई, मतलब एशेज क्रिकेट। साउथगेट हैज कम, या वो तो ले लिया था। फफाना शुड कम इन, आएगा यार लास्ट में तो आएगा, लास्ट 10 मिनट्स में तो फफाना हैज टू कम। भाई एक पेनल्टी शाउट है, एक पेनल्टी शाउट थी यहाँ पर भाई। एंजो फर्नांडिस हैज बीन प्लेइंग सम रिस्की पासेस, बोलना पड़ेगा थोड़ा। लेकिन मे बी
West
दैट्स व्हाट
Ham is
मेक्स हिम डिफरेंट।
driving towards our box with much more intent than we are driving towards them. हम बैक पास कर देते हैं, जैसे ही हम उस पोजीशन में आते हैं टू ड्राइव इनटू द बॉक्स वी स्टार्ट बैक पासिंग। थोड़ा सा ये अभी तक हमारे में वो बैड हैबिट्स जो है ना चल रही हैं।
अभी ये भी हुआ ना सब्स्टिट्यूशंस के बाद में, वी आर मोर ओल्ड चेल्सी देन न्यू चेल्सी ना। फैक्ट इज मुड्रिक इज ऑफ फॉर एग्जांपल। नहीं,
मगर मुड्रिक को भी चांस नहीं मिल रहा था टू ड्राइव इनटू द बॉक्स एज मच, बट अब
फफाना लो गेम बचाओ Tiger Beach is like, भाई आई डोंट नीड वन मोर ड्रॉ मैन, कम ऑन वी नीड अ विक्ट्री।
नहीं, इस वक्त तो लग रहा है कि वेस्ट हैम विल गेट अ गोल, दे आर प्लेइंग विद मोर इंटेंट देन वी आर। their threat to our goal is greater than our threat to theirs.
So maybe that is why I see us playing not at fifth gear. We are playing literally in second or third gear only. Is that the reason? West Ham are
यार वो अब जब हमें बॉल मिलता है तो we're just jogging around. There's no intent. We're just
nice
jogging
one
around.
by Ziyech is a nice attempt. By Reece James और Ziyech की tuning is अलग यार, we know that. Oh, nicely defended here by Ogbonna. Loftus-Cheek, Enzo almost giving the ball again. Enzo again second half में
Nice cross.
बहुत lose किया
We still
यार
have the ball. Don't give the ball away. Come on, Enzo. Better by Loftus-Cheek at least retains the ball for Enzo, basically.
Score is 1-1 gadget. Score is 1-1. I'm not putting score in the timeline here because of a reason. By Mount to the cross. Oh, bhai sahab. Reece James Mount almost at a moment and a shot by Enzo Fernandez which goes wide. भाई Fabianski एक तो सारा हर एक गोलकीपर बन जाता है प्राइम बुफॉन यार चेल्सी के साथ एक तो ये भी हो जाता है कहीं ना कहीं। लेकिन रीच जेम्स एंड माउंट हैड अ प्रॉपर मोमेंट यार। हाँ, यू कैन आर्ग्यू दैट मे बी हावर्ड शुड हैव गॉटन अर्लियर, एंटिसिपेट ज्यादा करना चाहिए था, लेकिन क्या मैं हार्श हो रहा हूँ वहां पर? हाँ नहीं, इंटेंसिटी बढ़ाना है लास्ट 10 मिनट्स नाउ तो डेफिनेटली कीप काम एंड ट्रस्ट एंजो। चलो दात्रे फफाना नीडेड, दात्रे फफाना हार जाओ लेकिन नो मोर ड्रॉज। अरे लॉफ्टस-चीक ऑफ गैलेगर ऑन, ये तो एक्सपेक्टेड था ना मिकाइल, क्योंकि बंदा 90 मिनट्स खेला ही नहीं है। नहीं अभी गैलेगर आया ना गौरव, तो मुझे लगता है यू कैन सी मिडफील्ड बैटल्स प्रॉपर अभी। मेसन माउंट गैलेगर कमिंग, तो मुझे लगता है वाइड में पता नहीं, शुड वी जस्ट गिव Ziyech द बॉल एंड आस्क Felix to get in behind? मतलब we haven't tried that, very surprisingly. Ziyech का वो एक गेम है kind of predictable, लेकिन Ziyech hasn't gone on the byline on the right hand side or made his crosses from the left foot. वो हुआ नहीं है very surprisingly, despite कितने 11 मिनट हो गए Ziyech को आए हुए। मेसन माउंट का पास तो प्यारा था भाई, अच्छा किया यार माउंट उस मोमेंट में। यस देवेश, थैंक्स यार फॉर सेइंग दैट। भाई एवरीवन इन द चैट, लाइक टारगेट है यार, मैं देखा नहीं हूं टू बी ऑनेस्ट, आई हैव बीन सो इन्वॉल्वड इन द चेल्सी गेम। भाई सब लोग डू हिट दैट लाइक बटन, एंड अगेन इफ यू आर न्यू टू द चैनल कंसीडर सब्सक्राइबिंग टू द चैनल। देयर इज अ सिंपल सब्सक्राइब टारगेट एंड अ लाइक टारगेट फॉर दिस वीक, सो लेट्स गेट देयर एब्सोल्युटली फॉर दिस वीकेंड, लेट्स गेट इन। आई फील कि माउंट और हैवर्ट्स का साथ पिच के बेंच में ही होना चाहिए नहीं I don't know. I'm surprised that Datro Fofana को भी नहीं लाया, लेकिन I understand we have already made 3+1 changes now, right? तो अभी 4 changes हो गए, तो I understand 1 change एक और रखना चाहते हैं, बाई चांस इंजरी हो जाती है, बट आई एम सरप्राइज कि दात्रो फोफाना अभी तक नहीं आए। आई डोंट नो, McKyle is I think trying to adjust his system, but कोई नहीं।
Sorry, यार,
Gallagher will
I'm just trying to see. दात्रो
हाँ
अभी तक नहीं आया, आना चाहिए, 10 मिनट रह गए हैं now. This is the
हाँ
part
यार,
where
मतलब साथ में ला देना था. और you think he's trying something with Gallagher coming in? Why, like, Havertz, as much as I defend him, यार, what has he done to stay on for 81 minutes?
भाई ये तो मैं आपको पहले से ही कह रहा था कि एक बंदे को उतार लो. हाफ टाइम पे मैंने
That's
कहा था कि हैवर्ट्स को उतार लो, किसी और को डाल लो बीच में. तो
ये देखिए गौरव ने सच्चाई बोली है. Chilwell did more in 2 minutes than Kukurea in 1 hour. लेकिन अगेन कुकरे और हैवर्ट दोनों ही, आई नो थोड़ा गाली दी हमने, लेकिन दोनों ही काइंड ऑफ एक अनलकी मोमेंट था. जस्ट हैवर्ट्स ऑफसाइड था, याद है, दैट वाज अ ग्रेट पास फ्रॉम कुकरेया. जस्ट रिमेंबरिंग दैट फॉर देयर सेक. बट एनीवे, Gallagher comes on the pitch like he's KDB, full swag. Gallagher, हाँ यार, वो बॉल कैरियर है, प्लस वो शॉट लेते हैं फ्रॉम फार, विच मेक्स हिम डिफरेंट. एनर्जी लाते हैं लाइक मेसन माउंट, टैकल्स लाते हैं, इन्फेक्शियस एनर्जी है उसमें, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं उनके टैकल्स आर अ बिट रैश, और ही इज येलो कार्ड बाउंड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स. गैलेगर वो एक, मे बी यू कैन क्रिटिसाइज, जैसे हम आम्पडू के बारे में बोल रहे थे ना, गैलेगर, आम्पडू, probably they need to improve the tackling as much as Gallagher is a better player overall, मैं बोलता हूँ. Yes, absolutely. भाई हमने फ्री किक दिया है वेस्ट हैम को. McKyle, आपका कैमरा नहीं दिख रहा.
यार मैं आया, 1 सेकंड.
ओ अच्छा अच्छा, तो कूल है.
1 सेकंड, वो मेरा फोन पे एक्चुअली मैसेज आ रहे हैं. आई एम ट्राइंग टू जस्ट रिस्पॉन्ड टू
हाँ
दैट.
हाँ, आराम से. पुदिन, यस एब्सोल्युटली भाई, सब लोग लाइक कर दो भाई. यहाँ पर फ्री किक हो रहा है वेस्ट हैम का. डोंट टेल मी एमरसन टेकिंग द कॉर्नर. भाई अगली गोल. ओ भाई साहब, गोल हो गया यार. नो वे. No way, yaar. McKyle called it as well. Emerson with a pre-assist. Again, हम हकते हैं क्रॉसेस में. We suck at set pieces. Emerson cross, world class save almost by Kepa. राइस का हेडर था, बट ऑफसाइड दे दे मेरे भाई. राइस को ऑफसाइड दे दे प्लीज भाई. हैवर्ट्स को एल्बो दिया तो ये भी ऑफसाइड दे दे कहीं ना कहीं से. प्लीज आई एम कॉलिंग, आई एम बेगिंग फॉर एन ऑफसाइड.
ऑफसाइड था वैसे, उसका शोल्डर भी
ऑफसाइड है,
ऑफसाइड,
ऑफसाइड.
उसका शोल्डर
ऑफसाइड दे
ऑफसाइड
दे
था
यार.
जैसे
नहीं
हमारा
हो सकता
शोल्डर
है.
ऑफसाइड.
चिलवेल माइट बी कीपिंग हिम ऑन. पॉसिबल ऑफसाइड. आई थिंक चिलवेल माइट बी कीपिंग ऑन. चिलवेल ही दिख रहा है जो नियरेस्ट प्लेयर है टू एमरसन. और नहीं, हाँ चिलवेल ही है. आई थिंक चिलवेल माइट कीप हिम ऑन. आई होप सो इट्स ऑफसाइड, बट आई होप सो इट्स
हाँ, वो तो
ऑफसाइड.
क्योंकि कहाँ से चिलवेल इज कीपिंग हिम ऑन, मैन, कम ऑन, दैट्स
नहीं
ऑफसाइड.
ना, वो एंगल एंगल अलग
वो
दिखाएगा.
एंगल यूज
हाँ ये
करेंगे जो उनको फेवर करेगा हमेशा. ये दिस इज ऑफसाइड, दिस इज नॉट अ गोल मेरे हिसाब से.
वो दिखा भी नहीं रहे ठीक से. मेरे
हाँ,
मेरे जो
दिखाएंगे
ग्राफिक में
नहीं
तो
वो, दे विल नॉट शो इट भाई. वो
भाई ऑफसाइड है यार. 100% ऑफसाइड है. इट इज व्हाट पॉसिबल. 100% ऑफसाइड. अभी फाइनली दिखा आफ्टर बड़ी 2 मिनट्स दे हैव शोन इट.
2 बंदे उनके
100%
ऑफसाइड हैं,
ऑफसाइड.
चिलवेल के पीछे 2 बंदे हैं.
अच्छा, बाडी शिले का हाथ है. नहीं फिर भी यार,
फिर
राइस इज
भी
ऑफसाइड ब्रो.
2
इतना
बंदे
क्या टाइम
ऑफसाइड हैं.
लग रहा है?
उनके 2 बंदे ऑफसाइड हैं भाई.
एक सेकंड, इतना टाइम कैसे लग रहा
ठीक
है
है, दूसरा
यार?
बंदा इज नॉट इन्वॉल्वड इन प्ले, आई गेस यू कैन आर्ग्यू, बट दोनों ऑफसाइड हैं. वो
भाई
पक्का ऑफसाइड है यार. क्या आप यहाँ वो
इतना
बेसिकली ढूंढ रहे हैं?
टेक्निकल ग्लिच हो गया है क्या? गोल
नहीं, दे
डिसअलाउड. आई नो सेलिब्रेट करना बनता नहीं था. इट्स ऑलमोस्ट अ रिलीफ भाई, लेकिन इतना टाइम लग रहा था, टेंशन हो गई थी बहुत.
हाँ, नहीं, वो ढूंढ रहे थे कि किसी तरह इसको भी अलाउ कर रहे
हाँ.
हैं.
लेकिन भाई चेल्सी, आई नो वी डिडंट डू वेल इन दैट मोमेंट डिफेंसिवली. वी शुड बी एंटिसिपेटिंग दैट हेडर ऑफ डेक्लन राइस. नहीं हुआ गोल. हाँ, वेस्ट लंदन स्टेडियम इज एक्चुअली नॉट बैड यार. भाई ऋषभ, अब तो मैं बोलता हूँ ड्रॉ ले लूंगा मैं आफ्टर दिस. लेकिन यार कम ऑन, वी नीड अ विन. वी नो दैट द सिचुएशन क्या है. चेदीरा और लुकाकू दोनों ही नहीं. नहीं, ऑफसाइड दिया गया भाई. लास्ट के 7 मिनट्स बाकी है अभी. व्हाई आरंट वी गेटिंग दात्रो फफाना ऑन? भाई पॉटर का यही मैं बोलता हूँ भाई, कहीं ना कहीं आई डोंट अग्री विद दिस.
यार वो हैवर्ट्स का मुझे लगता है कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में कोई क्लॉज है कि मुझे खिलाना है तुमने.
कुछ तो है गड़बड़. लेकिन यार सेट पीस अच्छा था. लेकिन शाहरुख,
ओबा की छुट्टी हो गई, लेकिन हैवर्ट्स का गेम टाइम नहीं अफेक्ट हुआ.
अरे और दात्रो फोफाना चैंपियंस लीग में भी नहीं है मिडवीक में. हैवर्ट्स को खेलना है वहां भी.
हाँ, तो ये पता है, मेरे ख्याल में कोई कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल ऑब्लिगेशन है.
हाँ, एक सेकंड, केपा क्यों ऑफ हुई यार? I don't think Kepa would have come up, and this moment I don't agree with this Gaurav GK. Much love to you, bro. Lekin it was a well taken free kick. It was you can say Declan Rice beat his men, simple as that. और Kepa actually made a decent save first और फिर गया था Suchek में anyway बाद में तो offside गया. Kepa wasn't offside in awful in the moment. I don't agree with this one bit. But generally I agree that वो crosses में he doesn't do well. Come on Chelsea आराम से देखते यार. Stoppage time होगा क्या? क्या लगता है? ज़्यादा knowing अपना fate वो भी
यार
ज़्यादा
अभी
नहीं
भी
होगा.
we can easily concede one more still. So I would say कि we need to score regardless.
Yeah, we need to score regardless. Yeah,
But
that's
कहाँ
so.
से आएगा गोल ये नहीं
Ziyech
समझ आ
cross,
रही
Ziyech
मुझे.
cross, Ziyech cross. Woohoo! Just about बचा लिया. West Ham यार, they're very good in set pieces defending. By the way, I must say, West Ham have defended really well set pieces में.
Bodies in the box, right? So they are organized.
हाँ अच्छा बाय द वे ये एक मैं दे नॉट अ स्पॉन्सर बट आई मस्ट से ये सीक्रेट है मैं पहले रिएक्ट कर दिया क्योंकि मेरे ऐप ने पहले अपडेट दे दिया था बिफोर आई सॉ ऑन द स्क्रीन लाइक टाइगर पीस इज सेइंग वार यूजेस स्लो इंटरनेट गुड वन दिस इज द नाइस कमेंट आई लाइक दैट क्या मिला फ्री किक मिला आपने को हाँ यार गोल थ्रेट तो नहीं लग रहा उत्कर्ष आई हियर यू बट अगेन ये जरूर से बोलना चाहूंगा ही हैड अ बेटर फर्स्ट हाफ दैन रीसेंट मैचेस बट नॉट इनफ आई एग्री देयर ऐसा कुछ किया नहीं उखाड़ा नहीं किया फॉर हिम टू स्टे फॉर 86 मिनट्स एंड प्ले इन द चैंपियंस लीग इन द मिडवीक ये मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रही वो बात आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट हैवर्ट्स इज योर बिग नेम प्लेयर बिग साइनिंग उसके पास स्किल्स है मे बी आप बोल सकते हो बहुत ही रद्दी किक भाई दुनिया की सबसे रद्दी किक थी ये गोलकीपर द्वारा फैबियंस की आई थिंक वाज ट्राइंग टू टाइम वेस्ट आई डोंट नो व्हाट वाज ही डूइंग बट इज गिवन द थ्रो इनटू चेल्सी टुडे वी आर लकी टू कम ऑन पता नहीं लकी बोलोगे क्या मिकाइल आई थिंक सुफाल शुड हैव बीन सेंट ऑफ ब्रो अर्ली ऑन एम आई बीइंग टू चेल्सी बायस यहां पर आई डोंट थिंक सो लकी तो नहीं बोलूंगा ऑफसाइड वाज ऑफसाइड व्हाई लकी
नहीं ऑफसाइड था वो लकी ये था कि उन्होंने दे दिया ऑफसाइड
एक्चुअली वो उन्होंने करेक्ट डिसीजन दे दिया फॉर वंस
या
set piece is a problem Gaurav you're right Preetham has had enough bro Preetham is saying Potter out शाहरुख बोला था ना साइंस अच्छे नहीं लग रहे भाई देखिए
एक्चुअली फॉर दिस गेम आई थिंक ठीक जा रहा है बस ये है कि थोड़ा सा लेट होते हैं चेंजेस थोड़े से जल्दी कर लेने चाहिए थोड़ा प्रोएक्टिव होना चाहिए चेंजेस में तो वो ऑलमोस्ट रिएक्ट करता है हमेशा इसके चेंजेस आर ऑलवेज रिएक्टिव कि अच्छा कुछ नहीं हो रहा अब लेट मी मेक अ चेंज एज अपोज्ड टू प्रोएक्टिवली मेकिंग अ चेंज ये दैट्स माय क्रिटिसिज्म
और was it a fact कि first half में we came bursting out right from the very first minute second half में we did not
we've been bursting on the first half since Lampard days right so
नहीं वो मैं पॉटर पे बोल रहा हूँ
सारी लीग को पता है कि हम
हाफ टाइम टॉक नहीं हाफ टाइम टॉक उस पर निर्भर है ना एक सेकंड गोल होने वाला है होपफुली नहीं Havertz did not anticipate it looks like
nice run come on run through goal oh my goodness
भाई एक हैंडबॉल का अपील है चेल्सी एटलीस्ट फॉर वंस हम रेफरी को घेर रहे हैं भाई हैंडबॉल दे दे यार हैंडबॉल दे दे एक सेकंड
रेफरी कह रहा
नहीं देगा नी को लगा पहले नी के लगकर हैंड को लगा शायद नहीं देगा नहीं है
एक गोल डिसअलाउ कर दिया बड़ा यार अब क्या चाहते हो रेफरी से
नहीं लेकिन देखिए यहाँ पर बोल रहे थे ना शाहरुख साइंस अच्छे नहीं लग रहे सी दैट इज द डिफरेंस मतलब Michael would remember it भाई we would have a Miroslav Stock and a Franco Di Santo come on and them creating a chance for Lampard and Drogba even that was the mentality of Chelsea Ancelotti Kender याद है Michael those are the days
yeah
Chelsea use flank नहीं again बोलना पड़ेगा that second half में Enzo Fernandez has been a little bit underwhelming but again he lost a few balls और हो सकता है इसलिए शायद we are not taking as much risks now because it's 1-1 it's away तो maybe it's just game by game देख रहे Potter बट भाई मुझे विन आते हुए दिख नहीं रही यार, मतलब दैट इज द सैडेस्ट पार्ट। मिकाइल, डॉर्टमंड का फॉर्म मालूम है?
क्या होगा
5
डॉर्टमंड
wins in
का?
5,
नहीं, I haven't 5 wins and 5.
yeah, all competitions.
हाँ, और in quarter
we
in
we
quarter we
can't buy
trust.
a victory with Todd Bowles' money also. We cannot buy a victory.
Yes, we can't buy a victory with 600 million. But again, I don't want to turn it into negativity, but it's the manager, man.
नहीं हैंडबॉल था यार गौरव, मैं क्विकली बताना चाहूंगा वो वाला मोमेंट में। आई थिंक, अरे एक सेकंड, चिलवेल गिविंग अ फ्री किक अवे टू बोवन यार इन अ वेरी डेंजरस एरिया भाई विद 5 minutes ऑफ स्टॉपेज टाइम। अच्छा, इट वाज लाइक बॉल हिट द नी लकीली, और फिर बेसिकली इट हिट द हैंड, तो दैट इज नॉट अ थिंग। ओके बाय बाय, लुक एट द फोकस हियर, एंड दैट
देखो
इज
भाई,
व्हाट चेल्सी, इंस्पिरेशन ले लो
win or
यार।
lose, we are champions of the world. कर लो जो करना है।
केयरफ्री, नाइस वन, नाइस वन।
मैं अब क्या कह सकता हूँ? The thing is कि हमारी फॉर्म इज लाइक दिस।
कमेंटेटर्स बोल रहे क्लियर पेनल्टी था, उत्कर्ष बोल रहे। इंटरेस्टिंग, इंटरेस्टिंग टेक, देखते हैं वापस से। मैं रिप्ले देखा नहीं क्लियरली, लेकिन जहां तक मैंने देखा है इट हिट द नी एंड फिर हिट द हैंड। चलो मे बी रिप्ले में दिख रहा होगा यार, अगर सच में है तो भाई वी नीड टू रीलुक इट दैट 100%।
क्लियरेंस बाय बैडियाशिले, ब्रेक बाय नो ब्रेक, बॉल दे दिया वापस।
वाटर भूल गया क्या कि 5th सब्स्टिट्यूशन है?
नहीं, हैवर्ट्स टिल आई डाई। मैं वैसे मजाक उड़ा रहा हूँ उसका, मुझे कोई मसला नहीं, मैंने हैवर्ट्स की जर्सी पहनी हुई है इस वक्त, लेकिन
नहीं यार, देयर इज कुछ तो गड़बड़ वाला मामला है यार मिकाइल, जैसे बोला ना, देयर इज समथिंग
I think
दैट।
the problem I think is कि ये these are not the manager's signings, so there is no trust in the signings. तो वो आ तो गया फफाना, लेकिन I don't think he's part of signing. वो क्लब की
पिछले मैच में अच्छा किया था, ही हैड एन इम्पैक्ट, देयर वाज अ
हर
मोमेंट
मैच
वेयर ही
में अच्छा है। I
ऑलमोस्ट,
don't think he's had a bad game as yet.
या
But उसको
मतलब
चांस ही नहीं देंगे तो फिर यही है, क्या कर सकते हैं।
अगेन जियेश आई वुड से हैज बीन पुअर यार आफ्टर कमिंग ऑन, आई मस्ट से।
अभी क्लियर आउट चेल्सी में नहीं ना शुरू हुआ, जब क्लियर आउट होगा तो समझ आएगी कि ओ ओ
हाँ,
ओ, ओ यार।
मैनेजर के प्लेयर कौन है एग्जैक्टली?
हाँ, नहीं, मैनेजर के प्लेयर तो कोई भी नहीं है। आई थिंक इट्स ऑल ही इज अ हेड कोच, ही इज नॉट पिकिंग द साइनिंग्स, ही माइट बी एडवाइजिंग देम कि भाई ठीक है, ये बंदा ले लो, ये बंदा ले लो, लेकिन आई
मतलब
डोंट
हाँ,
थिंक he's the one that
अप्रूवल
decides.
वाला चीज हो रहा है एट मोस्ट।
हाँ, वो जो ले आते हैं प्लेयर, वो कहता है ठीक है। सो आई डोंट थिंक ही ट्रस्ट्स द प्लेयर्स, और आई थिंक उसको मेरे ख्याल में इन्होंने बोला था कि फफाना को, डॉक्टर फफाना विल बी लोन्ड आउट, तो वो इसीलिए उसको खिला भी नहीं रहा कि अब उसको रख भी लिया है, और उसको लोन आउट भी नहीं किया। ओबामा यांग का क्या चक्कर है? कोई लड़ाई हुई भी है? मुझे नहीं समझ आ रही।
पता नहीं यार, आई थिंक ऑब्वियसली ये सब इसलिए हुआ है क्योंकि भाई ब्रोया, वी ऑल फॉरगेट ब्रोया भाई, जो अच्छा इंपैक्ट किया था अर्ली ऑन द सीजन, अनफॉर्चुनेटली हैज गॉट अ लॉन्ग टर्म इंजरी, नहीं तो ये सब होता ही नहीं भाई, मैं तो बोलता हूँ। ब्रोया
इंजरी
वुड
एफसी
हैव,
भाई, इंजरी एफसी।
देखते हैं यार, अभी भी यार लिटरली 1.5 मिनट है। वही मैं बोल रहा था, मेंटालिटी मॉन्स्टर अभी दिख नहीं रहा। रीस जेम्स अगर नॉर्मल में होता ना सिनारियो में, भाई देखे गैलेगर लूजिंग द बॉल एट अ वेरी क्रूशियल जंक्चर, नॉट गुड। अच्छा चलो, हमें फ्री किक मिला यार भाई, चेल्सी फैंस सेलिब्रेट अ फ्री किक, चिलवेल विंस अ फ्री किक फॉर वंस।
और रेफरी कह रहा है, मुझे, मैंने तो देखी नहीं, कहता तो साइड वाले साइड लाइन रेफरी ने दी है ना किक, तो जो मेन रेफरी वो कहता है मैंने तो देखी नहीं।
अच्छा अभी रूडिगर होता ना तो सेंटर फॉरवर्ड अपने आप ही पहुंच जाता। यू नो व्हाट आई मीन? या
नहीं बन रहा यार, कुछ नहीं बन रहा यहाँ से, राइट साइड से वी आर नॉट एबल टू प्ले अप द फील्ड, ज्यादा धक्के धुक्के चल रहे हैं।
लास्ट अटेम्प्ट है, लास्ट मिनट ऑफ द स्टॉपेज टाइम इज द लास्ट 35 सेकंड लेफ्ट। भाई एक सेकंड, व्हाई इज रीस जेम्स थ्रोइंग इट बैक? आर वी हैप्पी विद द पॉइंट और व्हाट? लुक्स लाइक वी आर हैप्पी विद द पॉइंट यार मिकाइल।
जब से
ये
आए
क्या,
हैं we're just jogging around the pitch, nobody's
कोई
busting a
चिल्ला
gut.
भी नहीं रहा है कि भाई मैच खत्म हो रहा है, बॉल डाल तू आगे।
अरे भाई, ये बता रहा हूँ तुम्हें, ये वो किधर है वो मेंटालिटी कोच, उसको लेके आओ यार।
Last 20 seconds left. Enzo ball lost by Enzo. चलो यार मैच खत्म. हुआ नहीं है मेरे ऐप में अपडेट दे दिया यार मिकाइल पहले ही.
अच्छा,
One all.
वही मैं देख रहा हूँ कि कौन सी स्ट्रीम में आगे
नहीं
निकल
नहीं
गया.
मैंने कोई फास्ट फॉरवर्ड नहीं किया है. बट थोड़े गेम लगेंगे आई थिंक पॉटर को बहुत. बट यार सेकंड हाफ में इट हैज बीन अ नॉन परफॉर्मेंस यार. लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट. एज मच एज वी वर एक्साइटेड, मुझे लगा था पता नहीं नजर नहीं लग जाए, लेकिन भाई साला नजर लग ही जाता है यार कहीं ना कहीं. एंड यहाँ पर आई नो वी शुड बी रियली बी very very negative, but don't you think that it is basically a point that where you can say that second half में जब आता है team, you need to basically यार मैं can still say कि नहीं we are still till about midnight today we are still champions of the world. Why? That is what the attitude that we need to have. Absolutely carefree, we know what we are. But
बस ठीक है, अब ये चल रहा है. दिस इज अ ग्रोइंग पेन सीजन. It is what it is, man. London Derby, usually London derbies are tough games for Chelsea for other reasons rather than the team's the opposition quality. It's just generally. But yeah, okay, second half में I did not see as much energy as I wanted off, especially off the bench. मुझे इतना नजर नहीं आया. I think West Ham did what they needed to do the whole game. I think they played well. They congested the passing lanes. They defended well in their box. We were slightly unlucky कि वो Havertz का goal was ruled offside. Like it was offside. ठीक है, arm offside था, whatever, shoulder offside था. But there was parts of his bodies that were offside. So we can only hope that we iron out some of this offside drama. Havertz was offside many times this game, especially in the first half. So what I would want to see is that during the game he figures it out and he fixes that. But how many chances can we create really in terms of shots on goal? Did we create enough? I don't think we did.
या बाय द वे रेटिंग से आप थोड़ा सरप्राइज होंगे लुकिंग एट रीच जेम्स एंड कुकुरिया के रेटिंग्स. तो भाई ये पहले बोल देता हूँ, ये रेटिंग्स मैंने नहीं दी है. वेरी वेरी जनरस रेटिंग्स वहां पर जो आपको दिख रहे हैं स्क्रीन पर इन टर्म्स ऑफ कुकुरिया एंड जेम्स स्पेशली. आई डोंट थिंक दे हैड देयर गेम्स इवन लाइक कुकुरिया. तो भाई ही हैज बीन कॉन्स्टेंटली बैड. He had one or two better moments. He had that एक moment with Mudryk, I remember. एक moment with Havertz जहाँ पर Havertz offside था, offside goal आया. But yes, कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है that possession football जो देवेश highlight कर रहे हैं, it has not. वो second half was almost like McKyle going back. मतलब we didn't come out all out of the blocks second half. और कहीं ना कहीं जो substitutions हुए 67 मिनट में we were excited. लेकिन apart from Chilwell, जो Mason Mount, Hakim Ziyech coming on, as much as Mason Mount ने एक अच्छा क्रॉस डाला था, maybe Havertz could have gotten early. Fabianski did well in that moment. But was it a case कि Ziyech and Mason Mount being part of that old school Chelsea ना, जो recent years में हमने देखे, कहीं ना कहीं you think the game slowed down because of that in the second half, or was it the fact कि Enzo Fernandez in the second half was making some missed passes जो वो try करा था, not too bad, लेकिन again those passes weren't coming off, so we were just playing safe. What do you think was the tactic there really?
या मुझे टैक्टिक नजर नहीं आया. मेरा क्रिटिसिज्म पॉटर का यही है, एंड पॉटर क्रिटिसिज्म इज कि आई डोंट सी मच. ठीक है, वो ऑन पेपर he makes the right substitutions, you can argue, but they're slightly delayed always. They're never proactive. थोड़ा सा लेट होते हैं, maybe 5-10 minutes after he should be making them. He makes them. Then I don't see the plan always in how the team is playing. तो बात ये है कि names on a sheet तो मैं भी डाल दूंगा, आप भी डाल दोगे, right? तो पॉटर का job is to basically give them the tactics to play in a way that a Premier League team should be playing, a world champion team should be playing. तो वहां पे I don't see enough from Potter, unfortunately. मैं अब वही कहूंगा कि थोड़ा underwhelming performance था आज, and I would blame the manager for it, the coach for it, because to me Tuchel has shown that you can take the same set of players and change them overnight with the right tactic. तो tactic उसको नहीं मिल रहा इस वक्त. He's struggling to find the tactic. थोड़ा सा उसका हाथ forced है क्योंकि the owners have bought all these new players in, and there's a certain expectation to play a certain way probably. So maybe that forces his mind, लेकिन his hand a little bit in terms of tactics. लेकिन उन players के आने से पहले भी we were not playing well. That's why the owners spent all this money to try to give him better players, to try to give him something, a new dimension maybe that wasn't there in the club. आपकी बात अंकित बिल्कुल ठीक है कि the minute you put the old players on, all of a sudden they're back to the old habits, right? तो
वो
कोई
गंदी
यानी
आदत
कि
पड़ी हुई
कोई वो मेरा एक गट फीलिंग, आपने पूछा था कि सब्स्टिट्यूशन करोगे तो इम्पैक्ट किसका आएगा, तो मैंने आपको एक गट फीलिंग उस वक्त दे दिया था कि मुझे नजर नहीं आ रहा इम्पैक्ट, क्योंकि are these the personalities that will come off the bench and electrify the game? Probably not, right? Usually we come in and do, you know, the tried and
See, but
tested.
that is the point. और by the way, हम आने वाले पेनल्टी डिसीजन पर अभय एंड एवरीवन इन द हाउस हम धीरे धीरे आ रहे हैं. एब्सोल्युटली सूर्यांश, नाइस टू सी यू. मैड्रिड पंडित को शाउट आउट. एब्सोल्युटली भाई, ऑलवेज गुड टू सी यू ब्रो. भाई सब लोग जो भी यहाँ पर है, सबसे पहले मिकाइल ओपी इन द चैट. यार मिकाइल हमें जुड़े थे भाई 6 बजे सुबह से, और अलार्म 5:30 का डाला है मिकाइल ने सुबह. पार्ट ऑफ द कंट्री ही इज भाई. इट इज रियली अर्ली, आई नो इट. मैं विंटर में वहां स्पेंड कर चुका हूँ टाइम, मुझे मालूम है कैसे होती है भाई. इट्स नॉट इजी. And he has stayed
Thank
for the
you.
game. By Michael
Thank
OP
you for
हो जाए.
having me as always, Ankit. And by the way, chat, big up to our host who is untiring. मैं तो 5 बजे उठ के चूचड़ा करता हूँ, ये तो 5 बजे तक जागा रहता है. So
वो भी सही है. वो भी सही बात है.
it's crazy the amount of effort you guys put in as a community, Chelsea community.
See, that is the thing ना. We are logging for that victory. अब we are मतलब जो हम जा रहे चैंपियंस लीग में with that kind of thing. भाई लास्ट 4-5 गेम्स में हमने खाली एक विक्ट्री लिया, वो भी 1-0 अगेंस्ट क्रिस्टल पैलेस. करेक्ट मी इफ आई एम रॉन्ग चैट. एंड दैट इज व्हाट इट इज. और आई नो यहाँ पर बहुत रिएक्शन आने वाला है इन सोशल मीडिया एंड ऑल दैट. आई नो एट द सेम टाइम वी हैव टू बी केयरफुल, बिकॉज हमें पता है कि इतने सारे प्लेयर्स के साथ इज पार्ट ऑफ द काइंड ऑफ कैरेक्टर विच काइंड ऑफ बिकम्स अ टूकल एंड चेंजेस देम ओवरनाइट. आई डोंट पर्सनली सी दैट. ऑनेस्टली, ऑनेस्ट ओपिनियन है. मिकाइल एग्रीज विद मी. लेकिन सब्स्टिट्यूशंस वही है ना. आप बोल रहे मिकाइल देयर वाज नॉट एनीवन इन द बेंच पॉसिबली जो वो लाई इम्पैक्ट. लेकिन आपने दाविद दात्रो फफाना को ट्राई कितने बार किया है लाइफ में अपने. मैं वैसे बोल रहा हूँ कि व्हाई आर वी इवन यस
Yeah,
ही मे नॉट बी साइनिंग.
I think थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है. एक तो I don't know फफाना कहाँ से आया है. Is he English speaking, French speaking? I think there might be a language barrier.
He is coming from the Norwegian league और आइवरी कोस्ट से, तो आई एम गेसिंग फ्रेंच स्पीकिंग होगा.
तो ये I think there might be some issue with communicating tactics, right? तो थोड़ा सा वो young भी है, so he might not understand all the tactics, right? तो थोड़ा सा ये होता है. You can think of Batshuayi का criticism throughout his career यही रहा है कि वो he cannot follow instruction. He doesn't take instruction well. He doesn't follow instruction well. So with young players, I think थोड़ा सा ये हो जाता है कि when the coach gives you a job to do, you have to be able to understand what he's saying. So I think थोड़ा सा वो maybe he's not a polyglot like Tuchel was or Mourinho was, or all these European managers were that can speak many languages and get their point across to the whole squad. तो थोड़ा challenge है वो. अब I don't know.
Kyle, I think press the wrong button and he's back.
Sorry, am I here still? Can you see me?
Yeah, perfect. You can.
Yeah, so I think थोड़ा सा वो maybe he doesn't trust them just as much as yet. वो तो young player है. लेकिन at the same time, I didn't see what Havertz was giving for 90 minutes to have earned 90 minutes. ठीक है, he could have played 60 minutes, 65 minutes, and that would have been a fair shift. I don't think he offered anything really in the end. He didn't make the difference, and I think that it's strange कि after all the money we've spent, we still don't seem to have impact off the bench. अब मुझे नहीं समझ आ रही कि कहाँ से impact आता है. It's one of those question marks.
Yeah, by the way, Darren, bhai, big up your language, bro. Lekin I know, Darren, this is a passionate rant coming from Darren. Thanks for super chat, bro. It helps, but definitely the fact is the frustration is there. I can focus on that being a penalty. I can focus on the referee not giving Soufal a yellow card early, a second yellow card early, and then finally giving a yellow card. जब बोले भाई दे ही देते भाई, नहीं तो लगेगा फिक्स मैच, तो दे ही देते. मतलब आई अंडरस्टैंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स. मुझे ये भी पता है देयर वर मोमेंट जहां पर हैवर्ट्स और फेलिक्स के अगेंस्ट फाउल दिया गया था. दे वन टैकल्स क्लियरली. रेफरी मुझे लग रहा था दैट ही वाज बायस्ड टू द होम टीम, जो लगता है बहुत दूर. So I think we have spoken about it. But can we focus on that, McKyle? Because यहाँ पर the thing is we don't score enough goals, and that is what Gaurav बहुत सा point बोल रहे. Yes, of course, penalty, handball, quite possibly. Again, जहां तक मैंने देखा था, मैंने रिप्ले नहीं देखा अभी तक. मुझे फर्स्ट इंस्टेंट में लगा था 100% दे तो हैंडबॉल. लेकिन जब रिप्ले पहला, मैंने एक ही रिप्ले देखा है, उसमें जहां तक मुझे लगा है, अगेन हार्ट से टच हुई थी बॉल जब आई थिंक सूचेक वाज डाउन इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, एंड बट उससे पहले नी को लगा था, देन हाथ को लगा था. जस्ट एक there was a diversion. I don't know if I maybe saw it wrong. Again, इतने लोग बोल रहे तो I'm kind of trusting you all and saying कि नहीं Chelsea के against हुआ है और वो penalty नहीं, बहुत सारे decisions गलत थे. लेकिन Mikhail, it is about that mentality. It is about basically that cutting edge. जब आपके पास नहीं मिल रहा है with a plan A, what's your plan B, or is there a plan B?
यार that's the question, right? कि plan B क्या है? Plan और होता ये है कि आमतौर पे this game was better. I think we started okay, we started well, we showed a lot of threat in the beginning, but then West Ham kind of got used to what we were offering, and they were able to kind of deal with us the rest of the first half and start of the second half. We didn't really impose ourselves throughout the 90 minutes, right? So there was a time in the second half, I think, that West Ham had a good 10-15 minutes of pressure on Chelsea's goal. So that's probably, the takeaway for me is that you could see it coming, right? When we scored the goal, it was too early in the game. So you could almost see they have now, they will try to come back. And what did we do? Did we try to sit back and try to absorb some pressure? No, we overcommitted again and ended up giving away I would say a soft goal. Like we should have been better, could have been better, or defensive organization basically lapsed. Right, so that's something
we don't learn, Mikhail. That's the saddest part. क्योंकि यार देखो, not just for that goal जहां पर we allowed that cross to come in, even for the disallowed goal. Technically, yes, it was a free kick, but you know that is the moment वहां पर हम strong नहीं हैं. So have your men properly marked. Declan Rice was unmarked, bro.
Man, I have no answers, man. I have no answers because to me this is all on the coaches. So I like ठीक है. I'm not on the Potter out wagon, but I'm on the fence and almost in there because I am also resigned to the fact कि जब तक manager change नहीं होगा, team की performance कोई drastically change नहीं होगी. ठीक है, 19-20 का फर्क पड़ेगा with better players and having slightly different dimension. But if we are just hoping कि magically everything starts working, magically नहीं होता यार. We have कितने managers देखे? I think कि world football में nobody has seen as many managers as Chelsea. We have been ruthless in terms of chopping and changing managers, right? So हमने देख लिया managers make a difference. एक new manager bounce होता है, वो खत्म होता है, साथ ही manager की छुट्टी हो जाती है. Tuchel नहीं रहा with 3 international trophies, 3 European trophies. So he was out the door. तो ये Potter, I don't know. अब ठीक है, वो Potter को अपने खुद ही हमने we have painted ourselves into the Potter corner because of a huge contract that we have given him.
An investment of 600 million over 2 windows.
By comparison, Tuchel का contract क्या था? 18 months. 18 month contract पे लेके आए थे उसको. And what did we learn from him? We gave this guy 5 years before we even signed him, right? So yeah, these are mistakes the new owners will make and learn from over time. क्या करें? But again, I'm not saying it's all doom and gloom, but it feels like that because मेरे हिसाब से I haven't seen anything remarkable from Potter still. अभी तक कोई ऐसा मैंने game management, in-game management नहीं देखी.
It's more of individual players and moments, right? Enzo
He's waiting for the players to do it. He's waiting for the players to do it. So in that mind, I think right there we have our answer. He's this is what we're going to get from him.
देखते यार, मतलब मैं खुद I was like almost inclined towards Potter out just जब window शुरू हुई थी. लेकिन now the fact that we have signed so many players, I'm somewhere basically with Sunny here more because I know that Potter hasn't impressed me. ये भी मैं directly बोलता हूँ. He hasn't impressed me. Let's be honest. Be it on the sideline, be it on the changes. लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं I think positives की हम बात करें तो Mikhail, from today's game, I think the fact is हम direct खेल रहे थे through the middle, which we lacked in the second half. Why? Because हमारी जो midfield in the first half लग रही थी वो second half में नहीं लग रही थी. और कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लग रहा है that is where West Ham took the game to Chelsea with the physicality in midfield, and that is where we need to build on. But a Joao Felix and Enzo Fernandez doing their thing in the first half, I think it is a welcome change for me. Can we sustain that for 90 minutes? Should we do something else in the second half? These are all questions हम बोल सकते हैं, but I don't know. मतलब अगर कल को आ जाते हैं, just say I know we are again going back to the same thing. लेकिन अगर N'Golo Kante March 1st में आ जाते हैं for the second leg of the Dortmund say tie, do you see us changing formation? Potter क्या लगता है? मतलब maybe आप बोल सकते हो that Potter still doesn't have all the players. इसलिए I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate. हो सकता है that with Kante he'll play us differently.
आप assume कर रहे हो कि Kante is going to be available?
Finally.
For what? I don't think he's
by end of this month, as per the reports.
अच्छा, तो डॉर्टमुंड का मैच कब है हमारा?
हाँ, एक लेग में तो अवेलेबल नहीं होगा, सेकंड लेग में अवेलेबल होगा एज पर द
Again, right, वो he hasn't played a game in 6 months. आप expect कर रहे हो कि वो आते साथ ही he's going to beat prime Kante, right? So a little unfair. But the thing is कि prime Kante even a single man cannot win you games. He'll help. Gives us a different dimension. But I think के बात वहीं पे आ जाती है कि how many shots on goal do we create? And what type of shots on goal? Are they going to be the simple dinky shots जो कि Pulisic और Sterling कर रहे थे कि ball pass कर दिया into the goalie's hand? Yeah, is it actually going to be something that tests the goalie, right? Like आज Madueke की far corner shot थी, the full stretch पे goalie ने palmed it away. So that was, I consider that to be a shot on target, right? Okay, that took something from the goalie, tested the goalie.
Which Ziyech should have done more of in the second half, considering उस समय हम chase कर रहे थे game.
Ziyech, I think, was not allowed to come into the game at all.
Yeah,
West Ham completely neutralized him.
McKyle उससे याद आता है मुझे, by the way, अंश का भाई कमेंट बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे, हंस पड़ा मैं. It's funny भाई, वही है, मैं कितना गाली दूं, कितना रैंट पर जाऊं यार, कहीं ना कहीं it is a work in progress, but does it excite me? Not really. First half में जरूर बोलूंगा अंश, लेकिन first half में which अंश missed, I know that उन्होंने मैसेज किया था, majority of it, I must say पहला half an hour of the match I was excited. I did see a lot of positivity. लेकिन जो मिकाइल ने पॉइंट बोला ना, उससे याद आता है अगेन हैवर्ड्स क्या किया उसने to kind of play the full match, I don't know. फर्स्ट हाफ में he did better, but second half में he was absolutely trash. ठीक है, हैवर्ड्स क्या माउंट का क्रॉस आता है, अब पता नहीं वो दिखाने के लिए फैबियांस्की ने पकड़ लिया, उसके बाद में ऑलमोस्ट डाइव मार रहा है.
Even उसके पहले जो क्रॉस आया था where Fabianski collected the ball, he should have gone across the across Fabianski to blur his vision, at least if not get to the ball. लेकिन वो he just kind of shied away and stayed on the outside of the pass. But ठीक है, the thing is कि again he's not a forward, he's not a like a by positioning he's not a forward, like a center forward. So हम उसको खिलाते हैं as a false nine, kind of a role, roaming role. He can be silky, quote unquote, the silky German. But end of the day, it was screen. The game needed a dedicated number 9 up there at some point to kind of just show some physicality in and around the goalie and try to get a header, maybe on target or something. But Badiashile had at least one header that should have been a goal, or at least a shot on target. He had 2 opportunities. Second one, wasn't that great. But I see some promise there. Ki chalo theek hai, he's physical. He can at least give us some strength in the future in those areas. But between now and Dortmund in the Champions League, I think we have a lot of work to do, and I am expecting a little more of the same. If we get joy from our 2-3 early chances in the game, and we get 2-3 goals on the game, then I think we have a chance. But I think as the game progresses, we seem to wane. We lose our energy, we lose our intent. It's just about seeing out the minutes at that point.
मिकाइल, लास्ट अवे विक्ट्री हमारी थी अक्टूबर में, एंड डॉर्टमंड इज एन अवे गेम, रिमेंबर इट्स अ चैंपियंस लीग गेम, आई नो, बट यहाँ पर चेल्सी हैव वन जस्ट 2 गेम्स फ्रॉम द लास्ट 13 प्रीमियर लीग गेम्स. अमनदीप इज रिमाइंडिंग अस. एंड रिमेंबर एक और चीज मिकाइल ने जो बोली थी ना अबाउट से हाउ आवर फॉरवर्ड्स वर नॉट रियली नंबर 9s, एक बात पता नहीं मैंने नोटिस की जरूर से, that as much as Joao Felix is definitely a positive aspect, वो एक creativity रखता है, and I know Mudryk, we are not playing to his strengths, वो भी है और कहीं ना कहीं उसको भी अपना गेम बदलना है थोड़ा बहुत. बट आई वुड से Joao Felix, एक चीज मैं देख रहा था लैकिंग, जो शॉट्स ऑन टारगेट थे. भाई Joao Felix is someone that I saw him take more shot generally in Atletico Madrid shirt, और even in that short span जो था फुलम के गेम के अगेंस्ट. तो आई थिंक आज Joao Felix not taking shots, I don't know, मतलब कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगता है are new players getting बुरी आदतें from our old players, with Joao Felix not taking enough shots in the second half, with Enzo Fernandez maybe playing a little bit safer in the last half an hour. I don't know, मतलब पता नहीं यार, 4-3-3 बोल रहे लोग. I know that अभी we don't think that we can probably change something. Potter out होगा, I know a lot of it होगा, and probably it comes from the manager. But if at all for Dortmund, if you are telling, I know थोड़ा सा जल्दी कर रहे हैं, हम वापस से बात करेंगे Monday Tuesday, लेकिन looking at today, considering Havertz has played 90 minutes and हमारे पास कोई forward है नहीं, तो वो तो pretty sure is playing again. Or would you say नहीं, play Joao Felix up front, have more like a defensive thing क्योंकि वहाँ Jude Bellingham में होगा in the midfield. मतलब are you going to compact midfield थोड़ा सा वो करोगे because Tuchel, remember he did that in Europe, make it difficult to beat वाला चीज.
Yeah,
What
Tuchel had
नहीं
a
लगा.
plan. Usually Tuchel would have a plan. ठीक है, end में Tuchel was not good either. But the team wasn't responding to him. The owners weren't responding to him. He wasn't responding to the owners. So, and I'm not going to talk about that. But if you think about early Tuchel with Chelsea, he had a plan. He was playing to a plan. But with Potter, it's more like hope. He has hope, and that's it. Like I don't see the plan necessarily. A plan that is for 90 minutes. He has a plan for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. He doesn't have a plan for 90 minutes. And I think that's the problem with that. The question mark is still on Graham Potter. Does he have what it takes to be at the top of the game? I don't see it right now, and we can keep buying more players to distract from that problem, but it's showing very quickly that it's not going to solve the problem. You can't just buy yourself out of this problem. You have to have the right people in places.
Yeah, and again, a lot of clear out will happen. मतलब beat including Potter. गौरव जो बोल रहे हैं, I think summer तक तो by default I think that time दिया जाएगा. As much as I know that what is the point अगर eventually sack होना ही है, but वही यदि मटेओ का जो हुआ था at the end of the day वही होने वाला है. कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लग रहा है that big game mentality is something that is not yet got it. I know कोई सीख कर नहीं आता, लेकिन that is something that it comes across from him. Kukurea maybe is trusting a bit too much, maybe Chilwell in coming back from injury, Gaurav, but I'm just hoping that Chilwell and James kind of come back soon to fitness, and again going back to the same thing. अगर आप उस पर ही जा रहे हो बार, तब हमने चेंज किया क्या यार इतने देर में, and again false 9 जा रहे हो, Chilwell James पर आप डिफेंड कर रहे हो, and ये मैं देखा नहीं यार प्रीतम, अगर ये हुआ है तो I'm not one bit happy about this. And I know I tend to be staying on the fence when it comes to Mount and Havertz.
Tic tac.
This is not acceptable to me, at least, Pritam. I don't know what
it is. Mentality नहीं है भाई, नहीं है mentality. वो किधर है mentality coach यार, वो भी नजर नहीं आया आज.
भाई seriously man, देखिए honestly, as much as Mount was, I would not say very terrible after coming on, or in fact had an impact also, did not have. लेकिन आप अगर बेसिकली मैच के बाद ही यार ये करते हो, एमरसन का एग्जांपल लेते हैं, मिकाइल एमरसन, he wasn't never say a proper starter in Chelsea, never, maybe Sari का under आधा season maybe, right? लेकिन the guy's attitude man, he always fought for the match. मतलब मुझे लगता था Alonso, yes maybe he was shit at times, लेकिन he was a winner, he was like pro Chelsea all the time यार. That is something that I would like to say. एमरसन आज गोल करने के बाद सेलिब्रेट नहीं किया. For me, those things sometimes, the fact is Mount is English, I can see that now why people are saying, but again, we don't know exactly. मैंने देखा नहीं अभी तक Sagnik or everyone in chat. I'll be definitely wanting to see what exactly happened. The 2 wins in 13 games and it's over to giggle around opposition. What kind of knobheads do that? Yes, that's Mason Mount who did that. Supposedly Abhishek, which has to be questioned. I don't know. Bhai, what do you think is thinking? यार Mason Mount इतने सारे conversation चल रहे हैं about. While I was like नहीं, बहुत ज़्यादा conversation चल रही है around Mason Mount. ऐसा नहीं है कि यार it's not Mason Mount FC, right? But what do you think is happening?
So I'm just gonna say that I think everybody's seen the clip in the social media from this past week. Emma Hayes roasting the dressing room, completely telling them off. You think this is good enough? This is not good enough. You think this is permanent? This is not permanent. You better wake up. She's telling this to a team that goes and scores 7 and 8 goals a game. Compare that to what you're seeing here.
Emma Hayes for manager.
We are enjoying our London Derby draw. We are so happy. We were meeting our friends from the other opposition team and having a good laugh. Mentality है ही नहीं भाई.
नहीं मुझे पता है exactly people are asking यार.
कोच से आती है.
यहाँ पर वही double standards हो रहे हैं यार. डबल स्टैंडर्ड्स भी है. मैं लेट्स गेट इट राइट. ओबामेयांग, एज मच एज मैं खुद स्लेट किया था ओबामेयांग को, वो भी सेम चीज कर रहा था विद बर्ट लेनो, क्योंकि उसका एक टीममेट था.
का नाम ले रहा, मैं जनरली टीम की बात कर रहा हूं कि टीम में मेंटालिटी कहां है,
प्रॉब्लम है.
वेयर इज द मेंटालिटी? वो कोच से आती है, वो और किसी से नहीं आती. You have all stars on the Chelsea ladies team, women's team. जिसको you saw the clip of Emma Hayes, the way she was talking to them.
Right. भाई Havertz again बहुत ही surprising that he was staying on the pitch. I have no idea. Again हमें तो पता नहीं यार, पता नहीं क्या तो वीडियो शीडियो है, या तो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, मतलब we are still scratching our heads कि what made him stay.
The point is कि how is he being used? अगर आप उसको persist कर रहे हो in a role where you know he's only not really doing much, so then what's the point? उसको अगर आप deeper खिलाओ, maybe he can offer you something different, right? But deeper नहीं खिलाते हम उसको. We just kind of have pegged him into that role कि नहीं, he will play the false nine. False nine आपको फिर वो क्या production दे रहा है? वो is he creating goals for other people? Is he creating goals for himself? You can argue that yes, he's semi-effective, but at the end of the day, we need goals and we're not seeing them, right? Whether it's from him or from somebody around him. ठीक है, आज Felix was, I think, an impact player. Throughout the game, I think Felix had some impact. He was part of everything. He was dropping in deep. He was found in the box. He was in the set pieces. He was, off. He scored from the great chip by Enzo. Enzo also had a off game, I think, apart from that assist. Not too much to talk about for Enzo either. So he's just getting used to the rhythm of the game. I think कि वो Kovacic के साथ खेलेगा, वो Kante के साथ खेलेगा, तो then it'll be a good experience for him to understand how we expect that part of the pitch to perform. But आएगा with time. It's too early right now. You put so many new faces on the pitch and we expect miracles. I think थोड़ा सा unfair है.
But at the same time, McKyle, मैं थोड़ा सा worried भी हूँ यार. मतलब I know बहुत अभी chat में मेसन माउंट के अराउंड बोल रहे हैं, but I know again if that's happened,
या तो you're worried, या you write off the season. Which one are you? Because if you're worried, then you have to change the manager. And if you don't want to change the manager, you have to write off the season. ये जो बीच में हम बैठे हुए हैं ना कि नहीं season भी जीतना है, सब कुछ करना है, ये I think is unrealistic. इस तरह नहीं होगा. तो या तो you write off the season and just I'm not upset right now because I've written off the season already. So I'm doing this a favor to Potter. Yeah, I've written off the season and I've said, Potter, take your season, do what you need to do, but come back stronger next season. अगर तब तक इसकी नौकरी है, I will support that. ठीक है, being a club person, supporting the club, I'm willing to trust the process in that sense, but I don't have expectations in the meantime. Right? अभी तक I don't see anything changing. From here to the season, end of the season, we are going to play like this.
देखो यार, मतलब मेरा the reason I'm worried is because McKyle, there is no physicality in midfield. अगर आप एंजो को बोल रहे हो कि आप DM रहो, तो firstly he's not that physical guy. ठीक है, imagine West Ham, like they are very good at set pieces, they have the strength element. मतलब we have bought so much, I don't think हमें कुछ मिलने वाला है अभी season में. So for me, even say talk about a Kovacic thing. I know Kante पर depend नहीं कर सकते, it'll be unfair for us to even depend on him. लेकिन talk about Kovacic. मतलब who's that physical guy in midfield? अगर आप expect कर रहे हो Joao Felix to be that third midfielder.
I loved that first tackle that Madueke made because Enzo fluffed his line and got beaten on the break. So Madueke realized, sensed the danger right away, came in for the challenge, bodied the opposition player, or wo bechara, he went off 5-10 minutes later, because that's the physicality you need, that's the awareness you need in your team. But the same Madueke for the West Ham goal was asleep. So it's a work in progress, right? We did good in parts, we didn't do good in parts. So that's a job for the coach now to take away and say, okay, you cannot be half awake. You have to be awake the whole 90 minutes. And I even say, okay, 90 minutes is also wrong. You have to be awake from start whistle to final whistle. Final whistle could be in the 95th, 97th, 98th, 100th minute of the game. You have to be awake for all of it. ये नहीं कि 90 minutes हुए हैं and now we're gone asleep again and opposition scores again in the injury time. So वो अभी नहीं है. We're not playing as a unit. I am still of the belief that playing defensive organization is on the coach. It's not on the team. So if we are letting goals in, if we are letting soft goals in, I think we cannot blame individual mistakes all the time. It has to be on the planning, on the tactics of the coach. And if he's seeing that his team is not playing to his instructions, then he has 31 players to choose from. He needs to figure out what he's going to do, make changes. He made some changes today. He tried to dribble off his cheek after a dismal performance by Mason Mount and Gallagher in the number 8 role the previous game. But I would say that yes, he should have intervened in that game and told them what they're doing wrong, instead of taking this kind of a reaction that he did today, which was, okay, let me gamble and see what Ruben Loftus-Cheek can give me. It could have backfired too. So I would rather he persist with Mason Mount and Gallagher and coach them to do it differently, to drop in deep, resist that urge to just go and sit in with the front line too high up the pitch, leaving Enzo exposed. Why couldn't they have done the same rule? ठीक है, वो Loftus-Cheek is slightly more physical. You saw in the midfield, he won a few 50-50 because he was taller. He got his head on the ball and just kind of bounced the ball out of a challenge. So he does bring that ability, and that's why I keep saying I prefer Zakaria in the middle as well.
Zakaria is the answer to that. Yes.
वो भी थोड़ा सा लंबा है. He can also bring that other dimension compared to, let's say, Enzo in the pitch, right? कि वो थोड़ा सा लंबा है. He can power his way through a few situations. Injured अभी मेरे ख्याल में वो भी, so he's not an option right now either probably.
Yeah, he's just started I think individual training. वो I don't think he'll be back for Dortmund either. लेकिन I think Zakaria I think probably is the best bet अभी.
So when you say कि और क्या चाहिए हमें, players क्या चाहिए और, तो we need to address the physicality of the team. Right now physicality में lacking है हम, जिसकी वजह से हमारे set pieces are also weak both defensively and offensively. आज Badia Shele was in the box. He got close to the header to the ball from corners. Right away you felt the difference, right? कि having a physical personality changes the dynamic, right? So we need a little more physicality in our game. Madueke is, I think, the right type of profile. Badia Shele is the right type of profile. We need a few more like this kind of body shape, right, in the team. And of course, Reece James is like that too, but Reece James is injury prone, unfortunately. So we need somebody that can consistently be in that midfield that gives us that McKyle, Obi McKyle, and Matic type of presence in the midfield, where you can't be messed around with. They're not gonna entertain nonsense, right? Well, the thing I saw in Zakaria was he's not being closed down by oppositions because he's capable of brushing them off or making them pay for trying to come and overcommit. So they hold off against him. They give him a little bit of room. So वो एक intimidation factor होना चाहिए midfielders में कि you're going to take me on, you better be ready then to be exposed, right? तो वो अभी आहिस्ता आहिस्ता आ रहा है. With Enzo they're sensing कि इस बंदे में there is an interception in him. तो वो passing lines में they are still showing interest कि ये pass निकालेगा तो I'm going to try to block him off, right? तो ये player oppositions start reading उनको, they can sense the energy around a player, right? So they can sense the mistakes in a player. So we have to kind of find that balance with our new players. Okay, how are we as a team going to get past this? आपसे मैंने पहले हाफ में बात की कि I think Mudryk should have done more with Cucurella. Okay, we can't just say that Cucurella played bad. I think Mudryk should have played better too. He was not doing the right
both
right
defensively and offensively. I think they both need to play as a team.
आप उसको, you're not even helping him. So what's the point? Then why are we a team, right? Then let's just call it individual 11. So maybe usko instruction thi. Maybe the instruction was to try to stretch the game and run forward. Lekin Cucurella couldn't do anything with that tactic. So that goes on the coach then. He needs to point out to Mudryk कि नहीं, अच्छा, you pull yourself back, try to do an overlap with him, right? Instead of just running off with towards the front line. So ये छोटी-छोटी चीजें हैं. My disappointment with Potter remains कि ये in match, I don't see it being changed enough. Like he doesn't react as much as maybe he does. Maybe we don't see it on the cameras. I don't know. But I just get the sense that the team doesn't necessarily
team doesn't react. वो दिख रहा है.
I would say first, the first plan A, is it always effective? Not always. Usually we are adjusting our plan A right away in the first half. Adjustment करने की जरूरत पड़ जाती है. You can argue that that's the level of the team of the league. Any plan you have to counter. You have to have a counter. It's just about showing your cards, right? So the minute you show your tactics, the opposition will react right away. So then the game begins. It's like what sales में कहते हैं ना कि the first you have to take the objection. The objection is when the game begins, right? That's when you have to start selling. So it's the same thing. When you go out with your plan A and they counter it, now the game begins. Now the manager's tactics and preparation and the team preparation come in. Okay, now they're doing this. How are we going to get past it? The ability of the manager to anticipate those adjustments and have a plan B in place to take advantage of whatever that adjustment is, or to counter that adjustment. That's what I expect from a manager. जो कि मुझे अभी तक, I don't know. Maybe it's there. Maybe the team isn't delivering on his instructions, which is why I'm saying कि मेरे हिसाब से We are champions of Club
World.
World Cup still.
Till tonight.
I'm willing to lower my expectations this season. Give Potter the breathing room to get the benefit of the doubt and try to do better. I just don't see him reaching the next season if this is how we're going to play for the rest of the season.
मतलब again, that is also just to be fair to him and just to be realistic in terms of जो Todd Bowley ने डाले पैसे, and that's the reality. Reality है
Too much
कि
money,
neither of
actually.
us are convinced with Potter.
Too much money.
We've never been
600
convinced.
million to get a draw at West Ham.
Hmm.
I don't know what to say about it, man. You said it right. We can't buy a win.
We cannot. We just cannot. मतलब वो है भी नहीं कि एक होता है नहीं कि यार मतलब आई नो पेनल्टी लोग बोलेंगे आई नो रैंड करना चाहिए पॉटर को खुद दोस थिंग्स आई अग्री लेकिन इफ वी आर काइंड ऑफ वही है निट पिकिंग होता है इफ वी आर गोइंग विद दैट मतलब एज मच एज रेफरी वाज टोटल शिट लेट्स गेट इट राइट but I don't see why this is basically the case anyway but bhai people again a lot of people have joined hopefully bhai sab log ne like button daba diya yes not good for Chelsea right now but wahi hai draw that is what the name of the game is. We have become basically a good evening Emery who used to be the draw merchant once upon a time Premier League में सब लोग जानते हैं and उस समय यही criticism था Emery का a lot of times that he does not look that kind of aura नहीं है to manage an Arsenal etc. लेकिन we are Chelsea Football Club, we are champions of the world, we should be doing better, reacting better. अब let's just hope and pray कहीं ना कहीं जो लक फैक्टर कम रहा है इन द रीसेंट गेम्स एंड इट गोज डाउन टू दैट यार चैंपियंस लीग में हमें देखने को मिले अभी के लिए द रियलिटी इज दैट वी आर एक्चुअली प्लेइंग लाइक अ मिड टेबल क्लब मिकाइल आई डोंट थिंक हम डिफेंड भी कर सकते उसको मतलब प्लेइंग गुड फॉर 30 मिनट्स प्लेइंग नॉट गुड फॉर 60 मिनट्स basic errors repeating
if
again.
we expect better this season, then we have to stop dilly-dallying, then you have to change the manager. If you want to persist with this manager, then do not have expectations of Europe or anything. It's a season of learning, and for him to learn the league or the expectations at Chelsea's level and the squad that the owners have collected during the window. So there's a lot of new faces. So we have to also be like hum bhi beech mein na, we are also Jekyll and Hyde. Suddenly we want to be in top 4 too. But make up your mind. What do you want to do, right?
नहीं
You cannot
मेरा तो
support
एक
Potter
clear
and
है.
then expect to also be in top 4.
Correct.
Unfortunately, it's not realistic, my friends.
Yeah,
Not in this
he's
season.
not a two color contest. Let's get it right.
नहीं
वो
होगा.
नहीं दिखता
He's a
है.
long haul type of manager. You have to persist
Right.
with him, and maybe a year or two down the road he'll deliver. But you have to be
Let's
patient
see.
for the year or two, and I'm willing to be patient because मैंने इतनी trophies देख ली हैं in 20 years कि I'm willing to be patient because we have complained for years about the chop and change approach of our owners when it comes to managers at Chelsea. So ठीक है. You know what? I'm willing to be patient, but I've written off the season. I don't have the expectations. Yes, I would love to have a win on match day and get 3 points more often. And I would like to have some exciting football being played, but not at the cost of getting a result. So if we need to be a little more pragmatic and time the 90 minutes out, okay, we cannot just go and play explosive football for 90 minutes. You can start explosive, but then change and draw the other team out. Now we have the legs in our team to actually break and play on the counter. So maybe we can try that. Maybe start off strong, then pull back for after 15-20 minutes. Let the other team come in and try to hit them on the counter again. These are called tactics, right? You change what you're doing, make the other team constantly figure out what we're trying to do.
Right.
थोड़ा सा reactive है हम अभी. थोड़ा सा अभी we are kind of looking at players to do something brilliant as opposed to the system doing something consistently good. तो इतने changes होते हैं within a game. इतनी changes substitutions होती हैं within a change कि I don't see the consistency in the system. The substitutions are usually to try something different. They're not to play the same system. Which is good in a way, but it's also not necessarily working every time. So ये सब कुछ है. Ankit, before I go, thanks for having me on again. Super big congrats to you for making 7K subs. It's been a while.
Thanks,
coming,
man.
but you're already on to the road to 7.5K. Everybody like, subscribe, and we have a long way to go with this channel still. Lots of good things to come. Exciting times at Chelsea. We have lots of new names. Today wasn't the best result, but I think we saw flashes of brilliance, and I'm hoping to see more of that week in, week out.
चलो देखते हैं यार भाई, वही है अभिषेक, वही है। मैं हर हफ्ते हम तो रिएक्शन ये है, मतलब वी आर टू ऑफ द पीपल इन द कम्युनिटी, आई नो एटलीस्ट आई मे नॉट बी नोइंग एवरीवन, कि भाई वी हैव नेवर बीन कन्विंस्ड विद पॉटर, और मैंने खुद बोला है दैट आई एम मोर इंक्लाइन टुवर्ड्स आउट देन इन। लेकिन अभी यार आपने इतना पैसा दे दिया है और आपको क्या ही तो मिलना है इस सीजन से, तो दिस इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि राइट नाउ, हाँ, मोर देन अस बीइंग रिएक्शनरी, I think it has to be the players and the manager who needs to be reactionary.
भाई उसको
I think
उसको
that's more important.
अगर रिएक्शन चाहिए था तो जनवरी में मैनेजर भी नया लेके आना चाहिए था, रिएक्शन नहीं
हाँ
लेके आए तो
एग्जैक्टली,
बस
जो हम
अब
बोल रहे, मैं तो बोल ही रहा था, हम दोनों अग्री किए थे एक्सट्रीम, आई रिमेंबर वी डिड
तो
दैट
अगर आपने
फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ
मैनेजर नहीं
जनवरी।
बदला तो फिर अब ठीक है, व्हाई आर यू हैविंग एक्सपेक्टेशंस? अब ठीक है, यही चलेगा जो चल रहा था,
Yeah,
जो
but
नजर आ रहा
yeah,
था।
we are missing a lot of people, but it's what it is यार। सफर जैसे कॉन्टे ने एक बार बदुआ दी थी, पता नहीं क्या बोला था बोला ही थी कॉन्टे ने कि एज चेल्सी वी नीड टू सफर,
यार
इट्स
देखो,
पार्ट ऑफ द गेम, हंस रहे बट
Arteta
वी डोंट वांट
Arteta could have been fired 2-3 times in the last 3 years, right? उसको they persisted with him, and the gamble paid off. Okay, finally he's created a system and a group of players that are performing well. It could have failed too. He could have failed the third season in a row or whatever, right? So it worked in the end, or at least for this season. हो सकता है I'm Arsenal are fully capable of coming back next season and being crap again,
बीइंग आर्सेनल।
right? So, but at least this season, it seems like that persistent has paid off. Jabke ye when Lampard was sacked, so that Boxing Day game, everybody was predicting that he was going to be sacked. Arteta was going to be sacked if he loses this game, right? So this is the game. The game is of those kind of margins, and it's paid off for them. Maybe we need to persist with Potter for a little bit longer, and it might pay off for us too. But I'm not going to put pressure on Potter to go out there and win us trophies or win us Champions League or Europa League this season, because unfortunately I don't see it happening the way we're playing. What I see is the owners are putting a lot of faith in him. They're putting a lot of money behind the squad. So generally, we're trying to do the right things. Is it the most pragmatic approach? If this was the last season that Chelsea were ever going to play, this was the last season of football, I would think we would change the manager if we were trying to get something out of this season. We are not trying to change the manager. We're not trying to get something out of this season. We're just hoping that things start clicking with all the new players. Experience of watching the Premier League for 15-20 years now, buying players is not enough on its own. You have to have the right managers in place.
इनफैक्ट बहुत बार तो यार आई नो वी आर चेल्सी, लेकिन काफी क्लब्स का हुआ यार। आई रिमेंबर स्पर्स ने इतना इन्वेस्ट किया था, लिवरपूल एज मच एज दे हैव बीन ब्रिलियंट इन लास्ट 5 years, देयर वर टू मतलब प्रॉपर लिवरपूल टाइम्स यार, व्हेन वी रिमेंबर अंडर आई थिंक राफा बेनिटेज, व्हेन दे वर डूइंग वेरी वेल, बट even like a Torres, a prime Torres, I'm saying, they couldn't win stuff. You have to say that as much as Champions League they won,
Point
right?
is कि जब
Premier
हमने
League is not
Champions
easy.
League run पे गए हम with Tuchel, we already had a system that was working in the Premier League that we took to our UCL games, which was that we were defensively solid as a back five, back three unit. We were playing with possession, and we were not going to give the opposition time on the ball to get into dangerous areas to create shots on our goal. That was our strategy, and then maybe we get one goal on the other end and call it a win, right? And we were so confident in that we went into every game with the plan to put the plan into play again. What's working, we will do it. Right now, there is no 90-minute plan that's working. We are not seeing any plan throughout the game that's working for 90 minutes. We keep chopping and changing the tactics throughout the game.
Correct.
And until we find that that chemistry, that tactic that works for 90 minutes, how can we go on a run of games? We're just being hopeful that every game will come up with some magic combination that will work every game. Well, sometimes तुक्का लग जाता है. You try something different, put a loftus
वो
cheek in the
गैम्बल ही
pivot.
है यार, वो गैम्बल ही है।
वो gamble ही है, right? वो 50-50 gamble होता है, वो कभी चलेगा, कभी नहीं चलेगा. So it can work, it may not work. But do I see a 90-minute tactic that's working end to end? अभी तक नहीं नजर आया मुझे.
नहीं,
It's a work in progress, and you can argue that we are still missing players to implement a back four properly.
correct.
Maybe pivot में we still need reinforcement. या वो काइसेडो होगा, या वो राइस होगा, या वो यही लोग वापस आ जाएंगे, या वो जकरिया होगा.
एक जकारिया दिखता है होप इस सीजन का तो मुझे वो, लेकिन अगेन इज इट द राइट थिंग? probably not in long run.
I think
But
वो थोड़ा सा lack of commitment है with the club versus Zakaria, कि वो I don't know if the club feels like they're going to go in for him in the summer.
yeah,
So वो
at
थोड़ा सा
least
question mark
links
है.
तो ज्यादा नहीं आए।
I
देखते हैं यार
think
क्या
he
होता
is one of the better options, but injuries are a concern. Like whatever the criticism of Cucurella is, which are quite a lot, and they keep building up every game. At least वो injured तो नहीं हुआ अभी तक. At least I don't remember.
That's
So
McKyle
to
looking at
me,
the positives.
unfortunately, this is my yardstick. कि कम से कम play fit to be available, and then we can talk about what they bring to the game. तो ये थोड़ा physicality अगर squad में आ जाए उससे that will help. Enzo, I think had a testy game. ठीक है, उसका एक assist था that kept us in the game eventually. But थोड़ा सा वो wasteful था with his possession. थोड़ा सा he needs to understand कि Premier League में maybe the ability to close down passing lanes is slightly different than other leagues that he's coming
और
from.
someone was mentioning that Enzo is slow तो मैं believe नहीं करूंगा, लेकिन he kind of tapered down. होता है ना, मतलब आप as the match went on
I sensed
वो
कि he
दिख
was
रहा था.
playing with his head down. तो वो थोड़ा सा
Yeah.
he's trying to come to grips with the intensity of the closing in the Premier League. So वो
And again, it's early days, यार. I
हाँ
would
हाँ
still
नहीं
say
अभी
there are
I'm
a lot
not
of
worried. I'm not
positives.
worried at all. But ठीक है, time लगेगा. थोड़ा सा वो ऊपर से वो he's not the tallest, he's not the strongest player on the pitch. So थोड़ा सा वो factor है कि he'll have to find his rhythm. वो Kovacic is not the biggest player or the tallest player, but
Exactly, मैं वही
he's
बोल रहा
pretty
था.
press resistant. तो वो अभी it'll take time for him to. But Kovacic wasn't always like that either. He grew into that role. ठीक है, उसमें ability थी from beginning, but he's over time to become better at that kind of consistency. कह लो.
Yeah.
So
If
Enzo
I'm being
अभी
honest, I'm McKyle among the new signings. Before we end, I think I'm a little bit getting concerned about the Mudryk usage and the way Mudryk himself is applying. Hopefully, Potter kind of as in communicates that and the team behind him, because for me, there is a player, and yes, I might not have seen every game of him anywhere close. लेकिन आप 6 चैंपियंस लीग में आप स्टैंड आउट करते हो, एंड फॉर मी ही इज दैट स्पार्क दैट probably we saw in the Liverpool game.
he
Are
had
we playing to his
he
strength?
had a very nice 1-2 with Felix
Kukre.
in the first half, where both
And
of them
Kukre in the second half.
burst forward through 3-4 West Ham players. They just muscled their way through
Correct.
1-2 passes and drove through. The ability to drive through that kind of pressure or drive through opposition players, run at goal, run at the players. He's bringing that. So good things will happen. It will come. थोड़ी सी chemistry between the players चाहिए on both flanks. वो अभी थोड़ी सी missing है क्योंकि इतना सारा chop and change है ना. There are so many rotation, squad rotation इतनी ज़्यादा है for out of necessity probably, because injuries हैं इतनी कि you're just trying to try everything through and see what sticks. तो टाइम लगेगा. अभी मोड्रिक की भी ये दूसरी तीसरी गेम है, so we have to give him time. Let's be patient.
Second start.
Hopefully the coach will go over the game and point out the areas that we can improve in, and they actually are able to learn from it. So that's my take. But whatever it is, at least we got a point out of the game. It could have been worse. The West Ham did have a goal disallowed, so let's call it what it is. Fair point.
अच्छा, एक चीज मैं बोलूं while finishing the stream, यार, only I know I'm trying to keep it funny, लेकिन यार it was an ex Chelsea player. I would say the man of the match. I would say Emerson. मैं तो बोलना चाहूंगा Emerson has had a brilliant half. जो Madueke करे the first half में, the fact that he came back and Madueke in the second half did look bad was also one of the reasons. मैं तो बोलता हूँ Emerson also with the goal.
I think they were
So let's give
overloading that side of the pitch. So Madueke was and Ziyech both were neutralized more or less on that flank. What's his name? Reece James was drifting in to midfield and driving up the pitch just to kind of break up that overload, but it didn't really work. I think थोड़ा सा मुझे disappointment था. What Madueke is what, left-footed?
left-footed, yeah.
तो that's why he's not driving down to the byline. मेरा expectation from a right wing is always KG drive down to the byline and then cut across. वो मुझे Chelsea में नजर नहीं आता कभी. I don't know, maybe inverted wingers are a better way to go, because
and surprisingly, McKyle, Ziyech was doing more of that, लेकिन then he forgot his main thing, or whether or maybe West Ham को देना पड़ेगा credit, they didn't allow him to do that.
West Ham in the box were solid. They had a lot of bodies in the box when they needed them there, and then they cleared most of the dangerous situations out. But you're right, Ke, Ziyech showed more in that final corner of the pitch where he was crossing balls once or twice in from, than Madueke was able to. So I would argue that Madueke, I want to see more from him in that sense. I know he's left-footed, let's say, but he should have a little bit on his right foot too, or the ability to just run around the defender, and at that point come back onto your left foot and try to cut across. And aista aega uski bhi first 1 or 2 games I love the physicality the guy brings. Sorry, I love the physicality that he brought, and we basically sent the West Ham player to the dressing room to that challenge. But वो Enzo की गलती थी that he was trying to cover. So there's some lessons to take from that too.
Yeah, by the way, I like this comment as well, Sunny. But again, कहीं ना कहीं वही है सफर. But again, great to have everyone on. भाई करीबन 4 घंटे. Again, I'm saying, McKyle OP in the chat. सब लोग like कर लीजिए अगर नहीं किया है. Let's reach this subscribe target as well as like target soon as this weekend. By the way, any cricket fans out there, अगर हो तो बता देना, because I know I think earlier than expected cricket match complete हो गया. वहाँ कहीं ना कहीं खुशी है as an Indian cricket fan that we have at least beaten Australia. But we might do a review. I don't know if you guys want it late night. It might be midnight tonight Indian Standard Time, or do you want a video tomorrow? Do let me know in the chat. We might be live on Almighty Sports Plus, or we might come up with the video. So hit that bell notification icon as well. And I know Champions League के बातें करने हैं. A lot of football still left today, as well as basically in the coming days for Europa League as well. तो हमने करना है बहुत सारे live streams in the next couple of days. So watch out for all our live streams as well as shorter videos. And again, McKyle, thanks a lot, bro. I know up the Chelsea always, but work in progress. Suffer. Let's hope for the best. And bhai, some miracle is needed, I think, against an informed Dortmund. By the way, who are playing right now, I believe.
Big up, bro. Big up. Big up to the chat. Big up, Blues. Keep your chins up.
Chalo.
Good things to come.
See you guys. See you soon.